this morning.
And wearing a summer dress. Not me, obviously, but Bex.
It's only because it's really warm.
It's lovely.
Thank you.
I think she looks great, don't you?
Thank you very much.
But we are live this Sunday morning. We're with you for the next 4 hours. We've got an amazing show. We've got some really... Look, let's be honest, Bex. We've got some absolute steals of deals, haven't we?
Totally. What we've done is we've separated our two tables. So Shaun's got the favourites table over that side.
Well,
and
I call mine the £4.99 table, actually.
So everything on that table, £4.99. And over here on my side, everything is a buy one, get one free.
I mean, honestly, so lots of plants are working out about £5 each, which is amazing value. Got some really big things as well, lovely palms for you.
Love it, yeah.
Calistemons.
Some bay trees.
And we have got the deal of the week on the pampas grass. And you get 3 for less than £10.
I know, isn't it $7.99
Yeah.
or $8.99 or something? That's incredible.
And you get a free gift.
Yeah.
Yes. Now this is a Nautica. What did we call it last week? It's a Macedonica, but what did we?
Macedonia.
We kept calling it Macedonia. Yes, but it's not. It's the Macedonica.
The Macedonica
it's a
Melton
scabious.
pastels. Yeah, scabious, absolutely beautiful flowers, and it's a live plant. We started doing live plants as our free giveaway just a couple of weeks ago. We started off with the lavender hidcot, and now we've moved on to the naughtier Macedonica.
Yes.
So every single order that you place, you will get one of these. So if you place multiple orders, if you place 2 or 3 separate orders, you will get 2 or 3 gifts, free gifts.
And these are a perennial that come back every single year, and it's a type of scabious in this gorgeous kind of mauvey purple colour. Absolute delight.
I think I've got some of these opening at the moment, actually, in my garden.
So I've just got these
sure
sort of
I've got some.
paley blue ones.
Yeah, no, mine are definitely... You know me, I never know what I've planted where. I have
That's
no
the fun
idea.
of gardening.
And it's an
like,
exciting time when they start poking up out of the ground.
I'll tell you what, Bex, though, if it is the Nautica Macedonica, you will have actually bought yours.
Yeah, no, I definitely did. Yeah.
Yes.
It won't be free.
These are free with every single purchase. Now, if you are new to the show, what you need to do is use the offer code, which is YGTV3024, and that will give you a free gift, but also it will unlock all the other promotions, and one of the extra promotions is this one here.
Absolutely, yeah. Free postage if you get your order to over £40. Super easy to do. If you're struggling, add in some compost. We always need that. But if you are shopping on a budget and you're not going to get your order to £40, we still have a deal on postage.
So I've just had a flashback. Last Sunday we had a technical problem. So do you remember we had to write down the offer code on that?
Yeah, that doesn't count anymore.
Yes.
Don't use that one.
No. So
it's my wonderful artwork.
It was great. Stu's back, by the way, from his holiday.
Yay!
Yes, he says greetings. We are expecting perfection on the technical side of things.
Absolutely, always.
Yes, but he's had a lovely holiday and says hello to everyone. But as ever, we want you to come through, chat with Bex and I. We love it when you show us pictures of your gardens.
Yeah.
I've said, look, you've got to send in pictures because I've just sent Bex about 5 from my garden. You don't want to just be seeing my garden.
Yeah, I've got the emails here, so I've got the inbox is filled with Shaun's pictures at the moment.
Yes.
I know I've got a couple of others for you. Tony, if you're watching, you've been asking a question on size of pots to plant things in. We'll try and cover that for you later on. Neil, Grimmy, good morning. You're in the YouTube chat already. I'm sure Elaine's not far behind. If you do want to get involved, then you can join the chat on YouTube, which I'm looking at. You can join the chat on Facebook, which Stu is looking at, but there's also the email address you can see on the bottom of the screen to send your pictures to.
And I know a lot of you have been asking about my wonderful tan, and it is...
His t-shirt tan.
It's a proper gardener's tan. There you go. So
yes. So bright.
It's dreadful.
Sunglasses.
It's shocking. I was getting ready this morning. I looked at myself in the mirror and I thought, my head and arms do not match my body anymore. But I have been out in the garden a lot this week, and I hope you have too, because the weather's been amazing. Right, shall we begin then? Do you want to see some of the great deals we've got coming up?
Shall I go this way?
Go on.
Yeah, come on.
Go on, you go first.
No, you're going first. Stu says you, go.
See, I'm old-fashioned. I was going to say, you know,
bless you. No,
ladies first.
You crack on.
I don't mind. Right, so all of these plants on my table over here are only £4.99. And they're all in 9cm pots. They're all perennials that come back year after year, and they're absolutely gorgeous. So we've got the Tulbagia Purple Eye, which is absolutely stunning. Class that as a tender perennial, actually, but really, really pretty. And then Lady in Red, and this one is all about this exquisite foliage. Absolutely beautiful. One of my favourites, I've got this in my garden, it's the Euphorbia, and it's the Miner's Merlot. It has the most gorgeous yellow flowers in spring and summer, but it has this fantastic foliage all year round. All this is on our website, plus other deals as well. well. Then we've got buddleia. Now, buddleia, they're known to be the butterfly bush. They are rich in nectar, they attract the pollinators. I think every garden should have a buddleia, but they can look a bit boring. This one, I say boring, but you've got the Davidii, you know, the traditional purple one. This is a little bit more special. It is called Butterfly Candy Little Ruby, and it grows a lot smaller than a lot of the other buddleias out there. It's only about 80 by 80 centimetres, but it has the most incredible ruby red flowers, and it's those that the butterflies are going to absolutely adore, and the bees, of course, as well. And then something that I have got in my garden right now, and I have to say, it is looking magnificent, is the Verbena bonariensis. I bought these from YouGarden last year. I planted them in the kind of March time, and I can honestly say they are stunning. And they've all self-seeded as well, so I've got lots of free plants as well. So I totally recommend this particular plant for every single garden. And we call it a transparent plant because actually, wherever it is in your beds and borders, you can actually see through it. So it doesn't dominate, it doesn't interfere, it just fills in the gaps very elegantly and very beautifully. I'm a massive fan of Verbena bonariensis. I like to say it as well. It's got a lovely ring to it. But that one is only £4.99. So this is the £4.99 table, less than a fiver for all of these perennials. But Bex has got a whole table of buy one and get one absolutely free. She's got her hands ready. Go on, Bex.
Yeah, I love this. This is all about gorgeous foliage, okay? So every single plant that you can see in front of me here has got the buy one, get one free offer. That means you put one into your basket, you enter the offer code YGTV3024, and another one will appear in your basket along with free gift, which is the Nautia Macedonia. We've got the absolutely gorgeous painted lady fern. The colours of the foliage you get here is super, super pretty. Lovely kind of purples and silvers and stuff as that starts to mature. We've also got the copper shield fern here as well, which has these lovely sort of coppery pink tinges to the foliage. It is the compact version, so it's just that little bit smaller. We've also got, and this is one I've got in my garden already, I do want another one though. In fact, I do want to order everything on here. This is the Fortunes fern. I really love the difference in the shape of the foliage that you've got here. Then we've got my favourite name of all time, which is the hairy lip fern. Not mine, but it is really, really beautiful. And ferns are just so easy to look after, aren't they? And they are problem solvers. They work in those gorgeous shady spots that we've got where we struggle to put other things in there. And if you get a whole mixture of these, I know Shaun's got some pictures and we'll show them in a little while. He's got a whole area where he's got loads and loads of ferns. That's what I want to create in my corner, my shady corner of the garden. These are amazing problem solvers. And we've also got another one that works well in shade. Not a fern, but this is our gorgeous wide brim hosta. You've got wonderful variegation on the leaves there. Of course, they do create those beautiful sort of lavender spike of flowers on there too, but it's very much about that foliage. Do think about slug control though when you're planting hostas. You are going to need to get some strolch or something to control those slugs because they do like to eat those. But every single thing, buy one, get one free, put one in your basket, enter the code and another one will magically appear in there. Absolutely adore these two tables, aren't they fantastic?
Yeah, I mean, just incredible value and beautiful plants. You know, Bex and I, we regularly go out on the nursery, check the quality of the plants, and they are absolutely exceptional. Including these. Now, we've got the Washingtonia cotton palms next, and there's a choice. They're exactly the same, but do you want a slightly more mature one, or do you want one that's going to take a little bit longer to grow? The one that I've got here, which comes in the 14 centimetre pot, is only £8.99, which is amazing value. And this is one of my favourite palms. I just think the way that the actual palm leaves open up is incredible. And the more mature, the bigger these get. Are you all right?
Yeah, it's a bit spiky.
Yeah, they are a bit spiky.
Tiny bit, just along there, be careful.
Yes. But they call the cotton palm, because actually, as the palm leaves open up, they leave behind, they look like tiny little bits of cotton. They're just beautiful. And I don't know you, Bex, but I love the sound of these when it rains. And I've got quite familiar with that sound over the last few months.
Yeah, last few months, yeah, absolutely.
But it is like, it's true, but it does that lovely kind of pitter-patter.
Yeah, it's gorgeous, and it creates lovely shadows on the ground as well. And actually, it's a great one for the birds, because the birds will come and they will pick these bits of cotton off.
Yes.
And they'll use them for their, in their nests and things. So it's a really good one, actually, because it'll attract birds into the garden. But it is that gorgeous shadow that it creates on the ground as they mature and get bigger. And of course, it just gives us that beautiful holiday.
Yeah, because if you're regular, you'll know that Bex cannot afford a holiday abroad this year. She hasn't gone on about it. She's hardly mentioned it. But
next year's my year. I'm doing it. Next year we're going on a plane.
Jokes apart, you do need to. It's difficult when you've got kids.
It is. It's hard. It's tricky.
So expensive.
It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. But I'm fine with it.
Yeah. Of course she is. She's fine. But
I'm fine.
I don't need to go abroad. But you can create that lovely Mediterranean look in your garden. And that's what I've done. I've done a whole corner of our garden with all Mediterranean plants. And it feels fantastic. On a sunny day like this, to sit surrounded by palms, fantastic.
Yeah, who needs to get on a plane? It's absolutely
fine. But over the years, this actual trunk part gets thicker and bigger. The leaves get glorious. I've never had to give mine protection, but mine are quite mature. But I say about -5.
About -5, -6. Obviously, as they get a bit more mature, then they can look after themselves a little bit more. But super easy to look after and give them that extra winter protection if you need to. I mean, they're not going to get massive either. Obviously, in their native, Canary Islands and places like that, they can get really big. Like that. And actually, maybe if you're on the south coast, in those warmer areas, or maybe central London, you might get them a bit bigger. But in most areas, they're not going to get bigger than a few metres, are they?
Most people do grow them in pots. I mean, I grew them in pots for many years, and then finally I did put them in borders. And I must admit, once I got in the border, they did grow quite a bit faster and bigger.
Yeah.
But they are beautiful. And at $8.99, that is fantastic value for money. They do look good in pairs, obviously, or even in threes as well. Or 5s and 7s.
At $8.99, why not?
Yeah, or you might just want to go for one, not a problem. But there's a slightly more mature one over here.
Yeah, so exactly the same details as far as, how it's going to grow and all the rest of it, but this one is in the 20-centimetre pot. So it's up to you, really. It depends on your budget, it depends what you want from your plant and your garden. So this one is going to be up to 90 centimetres tall in that 20-centimetre pot, and it is £19.99 with a £10 saving on there, which you access with that code.
And just thinking back, you can see the base of that is a lot thicker.
Yeah.
And that, I say, as this ages, you just take off the dead leaves with some sharp secateurs, and that forms this lovely kind of base. I mean, mine must be, I think mine are about 5 foot high now.
Yeah?
Yeah, but they're really old.
Yeah.
They're like me, Bex. They're very mature, very old. $17.99 is your club price. Don't forget, if you are a member of our discount club, you will save 10% on all the plants and the compost and the pots as well. Do you know what? I just feel happy standing by these, don't you?
I feel like I'm on holiday. Which is just the best feeling. Yeah, give me a pina colada, I'll be very happy.
I've got some Ribena.
I don't care that it's 10:15 in the morning. It's midday somewhere. That's what my dad says. It's midday somewhere.
That's what my mum says as well, bless her. But they are, I think, a great, fantastic value for money. Right, let's go over to our under £5 table.
Yeah, let's do it, shall we?
Got some lovely perennials here. I mean, something for absolutely everybody. And do you know, I love it when you get a really low price plant. It means that you can maybe go for 2 or 3 or all of them.
Yeah.
Or if there's a favour, like, you might think, I love the Verbena bonariensis, but I want 3 of them. Under £5, you can do that. And don't forget, postage is free if you spend over £40. But if your order is under £40, the maximum we charge is $6.99, so we cap the postage at $6.99, and you'll get your free gift, of course, which is the
Macedonia. Macedonica.
We kept saying that last week. Macedonica.
Thank you.
Just count how many times either of us say Macedonia this year. This show,
year.
rather. Yeah, this year. Yes. Keep counting. Be 100. But that is your free gift. It's a type of scabious. That's easy to remember. Right, now this one, I've never grown this one.
No, and I think it's really pretty. This one I think is one that you might want to go for multiples of in actual fact.
Because
it's
quite
dainty,
delicate,
and delicate. And if you go for multiples of these, obviously you'll get a fuller display a bit quicker. It does have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, which we love pointing out because that just means it's garden worthy. It's been trialled and tested. It's met those rigorous trials, and the Royal Horticultural Society have deemed it garden worthy. worthy. It is slightly scented as well. I just had a little sniff, and it's a very light floral scent.
It's delicate, isn't it?
It's not like your lilies that will be like, wow, gorgeous smell. But it does have a beautiful light scent to it.
I think it's so pretty.
I know, and it's got that kind of lovely chive-like foliage at the bottom there as well. Masses you'll get of these sort of delicate, star-like sort of pink flowers on there. Lovely tall stems. Really easy to grow perennial. It can flower quite early as well, in actual fact. It can start sort of around April, May time, and it can keep going through the summer for you as well. If you deadhead, that will help to prolong that flowering period. It's not fully hardy, though. I'm going to point that one out. Mild winters, it might get through. Best to protect it, though. So good layer of mulch on there. Get yourself some strulch, and that will help to make sure it comes back for you.
Or just, grow it in pots, and then bring those pots in the greenhouse or the garage during the winter. I'm trying to work out what I'd plant it with. I don't know.
No.
Because it is delicate. You want those flowers to rise above things around it, don't you?
Well, there's a question to our lovely viewers. What would you plant it with? Well, I'll have to have a little think about it. I've never done it. I've never grown it, so we're going to have to work out. Because I think we should
Yeah, I love it. I think it's really pretty.
Well, we had it planted, didn't we, in some rectangular planters. Do you remember?
We did.
And it looked really pretty.
Yeah, I think it's gorgeous. I'm going to give that one a go. Love
it.
But so you will need to protect it over the winter. It's like classed as a tender
perennial, yeah.
But brand new and only $4.99 if you want to give it.
It will spread a little bit as well, so I think you'll be able to divide the clumps. So it'll get to about 50 centimetres high, and it can spread by about good 40 to 50 centimetres as well. So it might be one that you can actually divide up later on. Yeah.
I just love the fact that it flowers, for such a long period as well. Right.
Pretty, aren't they?
Every time we have our next plant, I want to sing Lady in Red.
Yeah, I know.
Christy Berg.
Your days of being in a boy band are long gone.
Thanks, Max. Can I just point out, I was in a very unsuccessful boy. Well, it wasn't really proper. I mean, we did a few road shows and things, but it wasn't. And I wasn't very good at singing.
Is there footage existing of that?
Yeah, we did play at Alton Towers actually.
Really?
Yeah.
I'd love to see that footage.
I think I've got it on my.
I'd love to see that.
It is hilarious.
You were a young man, weren't you, at the time?
Yeah. All right, it was a while ago.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning, Alwyn, by the way. Stu says you're here.
I'll be honest, I didn't actually enjoy being in a boy band because it wasn't really my thing.
It wasn't your thing, no.
Well, when you can't sing, you're an average dancer. It's probably not,
I mean, Take That made a great career out of it.
Yeah, but they're actually quite talented, aren't they?
Well, they weren't at the start. I think they've learned over the years. Yeah. They weren't great back then.
Well, if you didn't think they were great back then, you should have seen us back because we were really bad. But the great thing is in life, sometimes it takes you on these journeys.
Exactly.
But one thing I've always loved is gardening. I mean, since I was a child, and the pair of us love being with you in the potting shed. This makes sense to us, doesn't it?
It totally makes sense, yeah, absolutely.
Right, let's talk about Lady in Red. We digress.
Yeah, Physocarpus.
What amazing foliage.
Totally beautiful foliage, but you also get gorgeous flowers on here as well. It's definitely a foliage plant. Adam, who comes into the potting shed, he's talked a lot about this one, and it's one that he's used in planting schemes. He really enjoys this plant. It's a fabulous foliage plant, and it's really quite easy to grow. Plus, you get flowers and you get berries on here as well. So there's lots of interest with it. It does have the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so again, another proven performer. And it's those sort of, I think it's the rich colour of the leaves of the foliage that you get.
I can't believe I've never grown this either.
No, I know. Well, we can't grow everything, unfortunately.
No.
I mean, we'll give it a go over the years.
Do you think, Bess, because my garden's quite exposed, do you think it'd be all right?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, Adam was saying it's quite a tough, hardy plant. It can grow to a good sort of 1.5 meters, and it'll tolerate fairly hard pruning. In actual fact, it's probably wise to cut it back by half every couple of years, every few years, just to sort of maintain the size of it and keep it looking nice and bushy.
I'm going to give it a go. It's only $4.99. So the Physocarpus Lady in Red, as I like to call it, and that's 51565. Now, something both of us have got is the Euphorbia minus Merlot. Cannot recommend this one highly enough.
I should have done another video
Is
of
yours
mine.
surviving?
There's a few flowers on it. It is looking absolutely incredible. It's really filled out. I did that silly thing earlier on in the year where I moved it.
I remember.
It was in full flower. Absolute worst time to move it. I thought it was going to die, but it has come back, and it is absolutely incredible.
I mean, we all know it's not the best time in the middle of summer to move things, but sometimes you have to.
Sometimes it has to be done, but that's how tough and resilient this plant is. That was it before I moved it. That was it covered in those beautiful lime green flowers, and that against those beautiful burgundy Merlot coloured leaves is incredible.
That contrast really works, doesn't it?
It works so well. I mean, it works well just on the plant on its own, but when you mix it in with other plants, it looks amazing. A big thing as well, if you want to invite ladybirds into your garden, which is a really good thing to do because the ladybirds will feast on the aphids and all the things that destroy your plants. I can't believe how many ladybirds were on that plant.
Yeah.
They seem to love it.
Since you said that, Bex, I paid a bit more attention to mine. You're right.
Loads of them.
And actually, it really has, because my lupins were getting really, really hammered by aphids, and it has certainly made a difference. Clump forming, I mean, I love U4 because they're neat, they're clump forming, they're evergreen as well.
Yeah.
Very easy to look after. Now and again, you might just want to tidy them up. If you do tidy them up and just trim them back, the sap can cause a little bit of irritation on the skin. So we always say just to be careful, wear gloves, because that white sap can cause a little bit of irritation.
Yeah.
I'll be honest, it hasn't with me, but we always just recommend, if you are cutting them back, tidying them up. Why I tend to do like early spring, some bits might have been a little bit damaged by frost, I just trim them up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's winter hardy. This will have our lifetime guarantee on it. My experience with it is that it's kind of bulletproof. You know, I did the worst thing to mine, and it's absolutely fine. Yeah. It's drought tolerant as well, so it's not when you need to be out there watering a lot. It's a fantastic plant. It's definitely up there in my top 20 of plants to have in your garden.
And when Bex says bulletproof, some of you know that me and my half bought a house, knocked it down and rebuilt, and we tried to save as many plants as possible in the old garden. But it was difficult. Some I dug up and put in pots, but some did get destroyed, sadly, by the builders. But the euphorbia, there were some that had been there years, and you're right, it survived.
It survives. It's a survivor.
Yeah, I'm not being funny, but some of it got a little bit crushed and things like that. So it is a true survivor. And that variety, I mean, I love a Merlot, as many of you will know, but that variety, in terms of colour, is quite exceptional. It really stands out.
Yeah, there's lots of different types of euphorbia, but this one, I think, is definitely one of our favourites. Yeah. And only £4.99, along with everything else that you're looking at on this table.
We love our under £5 table. Right, we've got a buddleia for you next. And I was thinking about buddleia yesterday, and buddleia, every garden should have a buddleia because they are they're known as the butterfly bush, an absolute magnet for butterflies and pollinators. But let's be honest, Bex, the traditional buddleia, the Davidii, isn't it? The purple.
The big one.
It's a little bit, it gets a bit big, but also it's a bit commonplace, isn't it?
Yeah, you do see it a lot. It grows, I mean, you often see it if you're on a train. You'll see it
along
the railways and things, and you do see it all over the place. This is a beautiful colour, plus it stays that little bit more compact as well. So this should only ever get to about sort of maybe 80, 90 centimetres, 3 feet, but you've still got all of those amazing benefits of a buddleia, which is going to invite those pollinators into your garden. You know, you'll get loads and loads of butterflies in there as this established. Nice formation to it. You know, those big buddleia, they can get unruly, as you say. They can become a bit straggly. They just take over. They can. And this one is going to stay that little bit more compact, a bit more neat. And of course, you've got that gorgeous colour.
Yeah, and very easy to look after. You know, part sun, well-drained soil. I always normally cut mine back sort of like end of February, early March. Yeah. Sometimes I cut them back quite hard as well.
You can do with buddleia. This is the beautiful thing because they will grow fairly rapidly, so they'll fill that space, and it does them good basically to chop them back.
It's quite hard to kill a buddleia, isn't it?
Very hard to kill a buddleia. I know we've all tried.
It is great, honestly. It's. I mean, I did a similar thing. I moved one of my mum's buddleia in July because she really wanted it, and she said, I don't care if it dies, but it survived. But this one, it's a lot prettier than some of the other varieties out there. I think that ruby red is magnificent. It will grow quickly, and it will be, so it's called the butterfly bush, an absolute magnet, rich in nectar, so those butterflies and bees will absolutely love the buddleia in your garden. I like that one.
Yeah, it's really pretty, isn't it? I think if you've got a smaller garden, definitely go for the little ruby, the more compact one.
Now, my favourite plant in my garden right now is It is. When I walk around my garden, the area that stands out the most at the moment is the area where I've got Verbena bonariensis.
Along your patio bit?
Yeah, that bit there.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that was last year though, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did say I've got you. I've sent you a new one.
It's on the iPad. I'll grab the iPad.
Yeah. So, but that was in the first year. I did plant those in kind of March time, and that's what they look like in the first year. They are even taller this year, and they all self-seeded. I was literally, I was doing some weeding down that border about 6 weeks ago, and there's loads of look like little weeds coming, and I looked closer and thought, hang on, they look a bit like verbena, and they are. So I reckon I've got about 50
extra verbenas.
Yeah.
So that's the shot from the other side. And that is so pretty, isn't it? And this really highlights what you were saying about it's a plant that you can see through. If that was a big bushy plant, it would really restrict the view, wouldn't it? It
would, and I didn't want to lose the view. But you can put that in any kind of borders where you've got plenty of sunshine, and they are called a transparent plant because they never block, they never overcrowd, they fill in the gaps beautifully. They're great, as I said, self-seeding, and they do flower for a long period. Mine started flowering in June, they're well into flower now, and they did flower. I actually left them all over winter.
Yeah.
I only chopped them down in spring, so that's why I got lots of, seeds and plants. But
and they grow to that full size in 1 year, don't they?
That was the first year.
Well, I planted some little verbena earlier on this year, so they were, they were this big when I planted them. I don't know, maybe 8-10 weeks ago. They are now my height.
Yeah. It's amazing.
They will fill out over the years, but they've grown to my height, so you can chop them back.
They almost grow overnight as well.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's amazing how fast they are growing. And I call them like little purple pom-poms. You get them all the way up, these gorgeous stems. What is interesting, I always look at this plant and it's like it does Pilates, do you know what I mean? Because it's like, anyone that does Pilates, we always think of that sort of like long, lean. And that's exactly what this is. But what is surprising is the stems, even though they're really slender, they're actually really tough.
They're really strong, they're weatherproof. They stand up to the weather, and they do invite those pollinators in. The bees love them.
Yeah, they do.
They do, absolutely. They really enjoy these. They're a great plant.
Very easy to grow. They are. I just think they're superb. They're my favourite plant in my garden right now. So, and everyone's got space for these, even if your borders are really crammed full, just because of the way these grow, that you can put them in the smallest gaps and they just allow you to, I mean, look at that, sorry, it's so pretty, but they allow you to see through and they just complement other plants. I mean, I'll be honest, I would probably never put them in a pot by themselves because I think they're too willowy. I mean, you could do, but I think they look really well with other plants.
Absolutely, yeah. Can I just show a picture, Stu, please? Grimmy sent in a picture of his Miner's Merlot. If we could just come back to that. He said he got it from us earlier this year at YGTV, and it is still flowering. Yeah, it should be. It should start in around April time, which is when mine did, and it should keep going right the way through to September and October. Not if you move it like I did. There's a few flowers coming back on it. Beautiful foliage, but yeah, that is Grimmy's there.
Thank you,
absolutely gorgeous.
Some nice pots there from YouGarden, I suppose.
Yeah, lovely. What's that? Look, he's labelled it. Hibiscus starburst in that pot there.
That should be in flowers soon, I would hope.
I would like to think so. Mine's flowering.
Mine's in bud.
There's the euphorbia, which is absolutely beautiful.
Well, thank you for those lovely pictures, Grimmy. Really appreciate those. And keep those pictures coming in. So we're going to go to the buy one get one free table next, but let's remind you of our under £5 table. You can go on the website, get ahead of us right now. Don't forget you need to use the offer code today, YGTV 3024, and our free gift is the Nautica Macedonica. It's not a Macedonia, it's a Macedonica, it's a scabious, it's absolutely gorgeous. So you might want to multi-order on these. So that's Euphorbia, fully winter hardy, evergreen, yellow flowers, spring through to summer, and clump forming. Really, it's a gorgeous colour. That for me is all about that Merlot colour. Absolutely amazing, and a very easy one to grow. 5 to 1's 385. And as we saw, they're happy in a pot. Then we saw something that I've never grown, but this is definitely on my list. The Tulbagia Purple Eye. So we class it as a tender perennial, so it may need a bit of protection over the winter months. Bring it in the greenhouse, put some a fleece over it or some mulch, but really worth having. And these gorgeous, you get these masses of tiny little pinky purple flowers. I say tiny, they're probably about the size of I'd say your small fingernail, something like that. But you get masses of them on these tall stems, and the leaves are a little bit like chives. Really lovely, really delicate, and they're only $4.99. Let us know what you would plant those with. Give us some ideas on that one. 561-285. Then we brought you the Physocarpus, the lady in red. The most stunning foliage on this one. But don't forget, you do get those kind of off-white flowers. There's a little kind of blossom, around a bit of apple blossom those actually, and grows to about 1.5 by 1.5 metres. Might try that one myself. It's only $4.99 as well, but beautiful, beautiful foliage on the say lady in red there. 5-1-565. Now I went to talk last year all about pollinators, bees, butterflies, and it was enlightening. I mean, I knew quite a fair amount about them, but it just really hit home to me how important it is to get those pollinators in your garden. It's really essential. Some of my friends will only buy plants actually that are magnets for pollinators, and the buddleia is known as the butterfly bush because it does exactly that. I know Sandra's got this one. She just messaged in. So this is it's a lovely buddleia, and it's a bit more exciting than some of the other ones out there, the traditional Davidii, the purple ones that you see growing kind of everywhere. This one is this gorgeous, proper ruby red. But it's called Little Ruby because it will only get to about 80 by 80 centimetres, so it's compact, great for a smaller garden. Flowers kind of July, August, very easy to maintain. Always trim my buddleia in kind of like end of February, March time. Never trim them in the middle of winter, but just say early to late spring, chop them right back, and they do flower on the new growth, so don't ever be scared of that. All the flowers come on the new growth, so you can actually chop them right back and you still get an amazing display that very same year. 5-1-280 for the buddleia butterfly Candy Little Ruby. And then my personal favourites, honestly, if you haven't got Verbena bonariensis, buy a few of these. They look great en masse. And they're only $4.99. They're actually well established as well, so really strong plants in 9cm pots. And again, another great one for pollinators. But they just look so good amongst other plants, and they are so easy to grow. Just a nice sunny spot, well-drained soil. And if you leave the flower stems on over winter, yours may well self-seed like mine did. And I must admit, I've ended up with dozens of free plants, and who doesn't love a free plant? Right, we love it when you're part of the show. We are live today. Apologies, I know we had to record Thursday's show. We had to give Stu a holiday, didn't we?
We've got to give him a holiday every now and then, I'm afraid.
Yeah. So we did record Thursday's show, but we are live right now until 2 o'clock this afternoon. So you can interact, you can join the group chat. We would love to hear from you.
Yeah, there's loads of people in the YouTube chat. So Neil, Grimmy, Anne, Olwyn.
Morning.
Elaine.
Oh, all our regulars. Morning.
Everyone's chatting to each other, which is lovely. So thank you very much for all the messages on YouTube. I want to go to emails if we can, please, because the lovely Vivian has sent a picture and asked a question. And I love this. So what we've got is pictures of her pansy cool waves.
Oh.
Hi Stu, could you ask the team when
They're still going?
Yes, this is the thing. So what she's asking is when my pansy cool wave, which I bought and planted last October, will stop flowering. At this rate, it might be October. As you'll see, there are still buds opening. Sorry, the picture is a bit blurred. It's fine, don't worry. So This is Vivian's pansy cool wave. There's one picture right there. We do have another picture as well. So basically, there's loads of buds.
They should have stopped.
It's still in flower, and there's loads of buds about to open. So they should stop now,
hang on,
basically.
October, November, December, January, February, March, April, May, June, 10 months.
10 months. So normally pansy cool wave are, winter flowering. They go quiet and they stop flowering over the summer months. So we would expect those really to have stopped flowering certainly by now.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's because we've not had the best of summers.
Yeah.
But, next time we sell those, normally Bex and I say, oh, they flower up to 9 months. We're now going to change that editorial to they may flower up to 10 months of the year.
Yeah, it's just one of those anomalies. Look, it always happens, and it very much depends on the kind of weather and things and where you place things in the garden. But I would imagine they'll slow down soon because we're getting some lovely warm weather, and they don't particularly like the warm weather.
And what we'll say, if they do start to really die back, what you can do is chop them right back. Don't be scared. Chop them right back to a few inches or so. Put them in a shady position. Just keep them watered, and then they will bounce back in autumn time. Yeah. But you know what? They just keep going. They look amazing. Yeah.
Absolutely. Neil has sent us.
Morning, Neil.
This is different Neil though.
Oh, is it?
Neil.
Well, still morning. To the new
Another
Neil.
Neil. This is a Neil Evans.
Neil
Evans.
Evans.
Hollyhock and sunflower looking great. I'm going to go to the hollyhock picture first because I am absolutely enamoured with hollyhocks at the moment. I haven't got any in my garden and I definitely want to get some because they are fabulous.
Again, it seems a good year for them as well.
Really good year for hollyhocks.
These are doubles, aren't they?
These are really pretty.
Oh, my word.
Can you see it, Stu?
There!
Oh, get rid of that. There, look at that. Look how pretty that is.
Stunning.
I adore hollyhocks.
do.
I want to get. I'm going to plant loads for next year because I'm loving them this year.
Do you know, I saw some literally growing out of a wall in the middle of Stamford, a little town near where I live, and they were literally just growing out of the bottom of a wall.
Yeah.
I mean, and
there's loads of them.
And I went
around
to
where
the
live.
coast last week. It rained all the time. It was horrendous, but the hollyhocks look great by the coast. They're great. They're a lovely coastal plant, but they pretty much grow anywhere actually.
Back to our other Neil, just so I'm not missing anybody out. He's got some lovely flower picks going on. So here's a lovely osteospermum that's growing through there. That's looking really pretty.
That's really lovely colour.
It's cute, isn't it?
I've got the purple sun. That's the only ones I've got.
Oh, the purple sun's looking amazing at the moment.
I love osteospermums.
What else has he sent us? He sent us another picture. Hang on, it's loading. Oh, it's having a moment. Ooh.
Oh.
What is that?
Is
that a lily?
Yeah, but I don't know which one. Is it just a daylily? Let us know.
I don't know. That's really pretty though. Like the colour, Neil.
Yeah.
Yeah, looking really good. So yeah, thank you very
Neil.
much for sending your pictures in. I'm getting loads of them, so we'll keep showing some. I've still got loads of Shaun's to show. In fact, we've got Shaun's ferns, which we'll come on to, because we're onto our buy one, get one free table, which has all the ferns coming up.
I went a bit crazy before the show. I was like, oh,
send this.
But we all love to share pictures of our gardens, don't we?
We do.
Right, lovely to have your company. So Bex and I are with you. Millie's there, Eleanor's there, and Elaine all watching.
Eleanor.
I love you all, Win.
Anne, hello. Hello to you all. It's so nice to be here live with you this time.
And don't forget, we've got some amazing deals. You can never buy enough plants. Never. Don't ever feel guilty.
Nope, never.
I don't. I never do. My other half sometimes like, oh, more plants. Like, yep, more plants.
And how much was that car you bought?
Exactly. So true. You know, we've got and even if you're on a budget today, we've got so many low-price plants. But don't forget, if you spend over £40, you get free delivery. So you might need some compost. We've got some great pots on the show. If you just want to spend a fiver with us, we've got plants as little as £4.99, and you get your free plant, don't forget, with every single order. Postage is £6.99 per order if you spend under £40. But we just love the fact that so many of you are watching today. That's your free gift.
Yeah, I was just looking because the roots are growing out the bottom there. I don't know if I'll get this.
And it's the Nautica Macedonica, don't
there we
forget.
go. Yeah, look, absolutely. These are really nicely established, and it is the free gift. I think it's £9.99 normally, isn't it?
Yeah.
And that is what, lovely rooty bit there, and that is what that is going to grow into a beautiful flower there. And lots of them.
Do you know, I love it as well. I don't know about you, Anne, but I love sharing plants. I mean, Bex and I share plants sometimes.
We do.
Bring things in, and if you know, it's so nice, isn't it? When you can share plants.
I've got loads of aloe veras. If anybody needs any aloe veras, my one aloe vera had loads of babies. Now the babies are creating babies. I've got to separate them
The
all.
one you gave me has done really well.
Honestly, I've got so many of them.
If
anybody needs an aloe vera, I've got loads.
I spent last week getting rid of spider plants.
Did you?
I'd potted.
I can't get rid of them though.
I've got like 20 spider plants. I'm like, hey, take some spider plants. But it's lovely to share. We're going to move on though to the Hosta wide brim, and this whole table is a buy one get one free. I've got this variety of
I think I've got this one, or maybe I've got the Patriot. I can't remember, but they are beautiful. Every variety of Hosta I absolutely adore. Lovely, lush foliage, gorgeous variegation on here. Love the shades of green that you're getting. Of course, they will flower, and I know we grow hostas for those beautiful leaves and the beautiful foliage, but the flowers really are quite impressive, aren't they? Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, wonderful plant for shady areas.
They do die down in the winter, so don't panic. They will die down, have a good rest underground in the winter, but they do come back bigger and stronger every single year. You will need to protect your hostas from slugs. Slugs do like them, so we have got Strulcia variable on the show. We've got the twin pack back, and if you're trying to be an organic gardener, Strulcia it's a mineralised straw, and it's brilliant It's an organic way of really making sure that the slugs do not go near the plants that you want to protect. And all you do is literally spread it around the base of the plants, and the slugs, for some reason, they don't like the texture, so they just clear off and go somewhere else. Great at suppressing weeds as well, so always dig your weeds up first, but then put a layer of straw over there and it stops the weeds coming back. But also, Bex, I mean, you've got a clay soil.
Yeah.
And this is active for about 2 years, but after that time, you can actually just dig it in.
Yeah, it enriches the soil, loosens the texture of the soil as well, so it's fabulous for so many different reasons. I mean, it's a multi-use product, which is brilliant.
Now we're going to move on to our ferns, and a lot of people have been complaining about slugs this year because it's been wet, and the slugs.
Yeah.
I mean, the slugs.
So many snails in my garden. I've got so many snails, loads of
them.
them.
I'm lucky. I don't get many at all, but I live in the country and there's lots of birds around and hedgehogs and things. So I don't really get slugs or snails. I did in my last garden and it was a nightmare. But the great thing is, slugs are not interested in ferns.
They're really not for some reason, are they? I think it's because they've been. I heard you saying earlier. You know, these are one of the oldest living plants. They've been around for, wasn't it, over 300 million years or something or other?
360 million.
There's
some of them.
So many different varieties in there. So I think they've just evolved to be resistant to these things. This one is evergreen. It's called Calanthes lanosa, or the hairy lip fern.
It's quite a mouthful, isn't it? Calanthes lanosa.
It's so...
Should we stick with hairy lip?
Just call it hairy lip, shall we?
Yeah.
Super easy, no pruning required, pretty much works in all areas of the garden. It can work in a sunny spot, but I think most people get ferns to go into those shady spots, don't they? All year round, drought tolerant in the summer, just easy gardening. And this one doesn't get too big. This one's the front of the border. This one's 30 by 30 centimetres. Or even in a pot, you know. These look absolutely fantastic on their own in a pot.
And evergreen as well.
Yeah.
So it's going to stay looking good all year round. Some ferns disappear in the winter. This one doesn't. Great for sun as well as shade. Relatively drought tolerant, this one as well.
Totally, yeah.
Not that you've had to worry about that lately, but...
A lot of them do like those more sort of wet areas, but this one is quite drought tolerant. But I think if you're putting them into shady spots, you don't really need to worry too much about that anyway.
And I think it's something to do with the texture of the leaves that the slugs just don't like.
Yeah, maybe.
Which is great. I'm just thinking a bit like strulch. This is when you actually feel it.
Yeah.
There's a texture to the underside.
Yeah, well, it's called the hairy lip fern because it's got these little hairy bits on it, which actually helps to retain moisture.
So if you've, and I'm just being, perfectly honest with you, if you've got that shady area and maybe you've not had success with hostas, maybe you just can't keep those slugs off them, go for ferns instead. Yeah. Brilliant alternative.
Absolutely.
Now we've just heard from Elaine. We've had a news flash.
News flash.
Elaine, her kiwi Jenny is beginning to. Is it beginning to fruit?
Beginning to fruit, I think she said.
Did she say fruit?
Oh, shoot up. Sorry,
shoot. Got me extra excited there, Elaine. That was fruiting, but shooting's good.
Shooting is very good.
It'll shoot first and it'll fruit, won't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, but thank you, Elaine. Love everyone's comments coming in. So, love those ferns. And look, they're buy one, get one free. So 2 for $12.99. But you do need to use that offer code YGTV 3024. Right, I think we've both got this one, haven't we?
Yeah, I've definitely got Fortune's Fern. I really love this one. I think it's a slightly different foliage. Like, if you looked at the foliage of the others, even though you've got different colours, it's sort of similar shapes to the foliage. But this one, I love the shape of the foliage here, and it works brilliantly when you mix it in with those other ferns in your garden.
Ferns do look good on mass, I think, don't
they?
They do.
Yeah. So I've only got I've got 3 in my shady corner, but I've got so much space, and that's why I need to order all of these, basically, and it will really fill that up.
Yeah.
And this one's slightly larger, so this one can get to a couple of feet height and spread, so I'm going to go mid-border with this one, and maybe the hairy lip fern in front of it, because that one's that little bit smaller. Same deal as we've got with all the others. The buy one, get one free. Put one in your basket, put the code in, another one will appear along with your free gift. Totally low maintenance. All you're going to need to do is maybe remove some of the old fronds in sort of springtime. I haven't touched mine since I planted it, to be honest with you. Haven't needed to, but if you do, it'd be in springtime. You'd remove some of those faded bits.
Joe, I once read that you want 70% of your garden to be low maintenance, and I think there's a lot of truth in that, because if everything needs a lot of love and attention and fuss, it's exhausting, isn't it? Sometimes it can become a labour of love, but ferns, they just get on with it, don't they?
They do indeed.
Yeah, they're say slug proof. They come back every year. Many of the ones we've got are evergreen. They need very little tidying up, but they just have a beautiful look and feel to them, and great for the difficult shady spots.
Absolutely.
Did it bring you fortune, this one, Bex?
Not yet, but you know, I'm ever hopeful. This one is classed as semi-evergreen. Mine stayed evergreen all year round. Mine's been fine, but it very much depends on where you plant them.
Yeah, mine are in a kind of a very sheltered border that's quite warm, but yeah. But they may die down in the winter months. Right, I'm loving all of these so far.
I know, right?
So Copper Shield is next.
Yeah, compact Copper Shield. So, I mean, the other varieties can get a little bit bigger. This can probably get somewhere between 2 and 3 feet height and spread. So I'm going to go back of the border with this one. So back, middle, front so far is what we're doing with these
three. It's almost like we planned it for you, isn't it?
I know, right? And it's called the Copper Shield fern. In actual fact, here is the perfect one to show you. So that one there, can you see the colours that we're getting on that one? That's what you're going to get as this plant matures. You're going to get those lovely greens, but you're going to get those gorgeous copper colours as well. So as much as this is about all the foliage, you're going to get different shades, different colours going on.
When I look at the fronds on a fern, they're just fascinating.
I love them. I love the way they unfurl. Look, there's one back here that's just sort of unfurling. And it's got those gorgeous copper tones to it. It's a small one, but you can see how it's unfurling. It's really, really beautiful. This one has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It is classed as semi-evergreen as well. So, like with the Fortune's fern, you might keep the leaves on over winter. Again, really low maintenance, just super easy to look after, and obviously filling those shady spots. Though a lot of these ferns will work in more sunny areas as well.
We sometimes forget that.
Yeah, I mean...
And they do work really well in pots as well. I think they can look fantastic in pots with, you know, the grasses and things like that. But for me, it's all about the colour in that one. It reminds me of my beard, that one, Beck.
The copper colours.
Yeah. Doesn't have any grey in it, though, that one.
No. It's a good job you're not trying to cut the grey out of there as well, isn't it?
Oh, no, I'd have to...
Actually, your beard's not going very grey.
Is it not?
No.
That's because your husband's been home. And his has gone quite grey.
He's silver now.
Yeah. No,
the beard's proper silver.
I don't care.
Who cares? It doesn't matter.
I
do.
It doesn't.
I've been thinking about going grey lately. I don't know if I should or not.
Have you?
Yeah. I've been considering it. I have to dye my hair every 3 weeks now. It's going so great.
Really?
I should just let it go. I don't know if I can yet.
I think it can look really good, but it's that in-between stage.
I know.
That's the worst bit. I can't imagine you. What do you do with it? How do you...
You just let it go, or you dye it. I don't know. Anyway, it's not a show about hairdressing.
Yeah, because we're not here to give hair advice, sadly, but we can give you plant advice if you've got any questions about plants. Do you know? I was just thinking about the value of those. I mean, look at the size of them.
Yeah. Okay.
You are getting a buy one get one free, and these are not little ferns. These are in 2 litre pots. They're huge.
They are big. I was going to take one out of a pot.
Do you know? I'm not being funny. I remember a couple of years ago buying some ferns for my garden before I was working here at the nursery. I would expect one of those in certain garden centres to be $12.99 maybe for
definitely.
One. They're working out £5 each. Club members, you're going to get 2 for £8.99. They are incredible, and you get your free gift as well.
Yeah,
they're really good. The nursery always has great plants, but what we try and do on YGTV is just really highlight what's looking good right now, what's amazing value right now, and those are.
Ferns pretty much look good all year round, so we could probably bring these to you for most of the year.
We could.
And these are going to look absolutely fantastic.
Do you not think the quality at the moment is exceptional?
Yeah, it's really good.
Really good. And ferns this year are really popular. I think... because of wet climate, certain plants are doing really well. Like hydrangeas have gone crazy this year, but ferns and grasses have done really well with that wet environment. And we've got our final one, the painted lady.
Well, we were talking about silvers in hair, but let's talk about silvers in plants, shall we? I know this is looking very sort of greeny coloured at the moment, but you can see on some of these fronds where those gorgeous colours are going to come through. Can you see those purples to the stems, the silvers to the fronds, to the foliage that you're getting? It is a lovely sort of colour changing display that you get here. You get silvers, you get purples, you get greens, you get reds included in here. This one is all about ground cover. So this one's going to be front of border. It's going to be about 40 centimetres height, but it's going to spread. It can spread by up to 3 or 4 feet. So this one's really fantastic at ground cover.
I think it's one of the prettiest, don't you?
I think it's gorgeous. It's definitely one of the prettiest of all of them.
I have got one in my garden. Now, I'll be honest, it needs a bit more space at the moment. It's getting a little bit taken over by some of the ferns.
Now this one is deciduous, so this one's not going to die down. This one's going to die down for you. So the other semi-evergreen or evergreen, this one is deciduous, but even still, I think it's totally worth it for that colour-changing display you get in there.
I spent a bit of time wondering whether to get that one when I planted my board up a few years ago, because, as you say, it is deciduous, but it is worth it because it's extra beautiful.
Extra stunning,
What I did, I planted it amongst the evergreen ones, so I don't have massive gaps, but it really works.
It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well, so another award winner. In fact, 1, 2, 3, yeah, they've... not that one.
I don't know why Hairy Lip's not got
I don't know why Hairy Lip hasn't got it, but these 3 definitely have.
Yeah, I'd give you an award
as well.
But really take advantage. I mean, this offer is only for a limited time, don't forget. And it is exceptional too. Even without the buy one, get one free, you know, £9.99 for one of these or £12.99 is really great value. But you're going to get a free one if you order today. But say, you'll know if you're regular, offers come and go. We've got a really good supply of these, really good stock right now, so we're doing the buy one, get one free, but I would order today. And you'll love those, you really will. Now, we just need to remind you of our gorgeous Washingtonia cotton palms. I did send you a few pictures of mine, Bex.
Oh, did you? I'm not keeping up, am I, today?
No. Have you noticed I let Bex do the technology now? Although you're away, is it next Sunday you're not here?
No, I'm here next Sunday, it's the midweek. And you've got Adam.
So I'll have to do the technology.
You'll have to do the tech.
I'm fine with the tech.
I mean, it's more a picture of you than it is of your
not
ferns,
that one.
isn't it?
Not the ferns. Go to the.
What am I looking for?
Palms.
Oh, palms. Oh yeah, this is your tropical area.
So
of
mine,
your garden,
I had mine in pots
it?
for years. I mean, mine are about. I think they could be about 15 years old.
Wow.
But
I want to sit in those chairs. Look how cosy that looks.
They're only 20 quid, them chairs. They're not quite as comfy as they look.
That looks amazing.
But yeah,
though.
I mean, and you know, say I've had mine many years, but I really wanted to create that kind of like tropical area, and that's what they can look like.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love that corner of the garden.
I could just see you sat there with your glass of Merlot on a nice summer's evening.
Yeah, it is lovely, but I've always done that. I mean, I've had a lot smaller gardens previously, and even when I had like little balconies and stuff, I always used to like having a couple of palms there.
Yeah.
Right, so we've got an amazing deal on the Washingtonia palms. The large one is about up to 90 centimetres tall, comes in 20 centimetre pots, 99. You can tell it's older, more mature. The leaves are bigger, but if you actually look at the base, it's a lot thicker. And and over the years, you sort of mind, that just gets thicker and stronger. And actually, the older the palms are, the more winter tolerant they are, the more hardy. We say to -5, but mine I never protect now.
No.
And it was like it must have been -8, -9 last winter.
Yeah.
But they are mature. So when they're young, you do need to maybe give them that little bit of added protection. And then the one that I've got here, I was going to call it a baby, but I'd say no, this is a teenager.
I mean, it's still
No,
beautiful.
it's not a baby.
I love the way the new leaves come out. Look, you can see this is a slightly smaller one, and it's just starting to open up, giving you those lovely sort of cotton tendrils coming off, and then they open up into these lovely bigger palm-shaped ones. I like the way that they open up. Of course, we were talking about how these are great for birds, because birds actually will come and they will pick these cotton tendrils off and take them back to their nests and things. So it's a great one to invite, you know, wildlife into your garden as well.
And all you need to do in terms of maintenance, I mean, obviously like a sunny spot, they're like as warm a position as you can get, but as the palm leaves, as they age, just chop the bottom ones off. Nice pair of sharp secateurs. By the way, the stems, these are a bit spiky. The leaves are not spiky at all, so they're really, really soft. But the actual stems are a little bit spiky, so just be careful. But chop the old ones off, and then that base will become bigger and taller. And eventually, these can be, I mean, God, in their native countries, these can be like meters and meters.
10 metres.
Yeah.
They can get really, really tall. They probably won't get that tall here in the UK. I mean, they might.
Mine are getting there.
If you're in a nice sort of sheltered area, then maybe. But obviously, if you keep them in a pot, if you're worried about how tall they can get, keep them in a pot, and that will restrict their size.
But apparently, I was out of the nursery recently.
Were you?
Apparently.
Oh, let's have a look, shall we?
I remember.
In this shirt.
Oh, well, wasn't I? Do you know?
What's your favourite T-shirt?
I think I've worn this T-shirt 3
weeks in a row.
Oh, I haven't.
I think you have. It don't matter.
I've got other clothes I can change into.
No, it's fine. We like that T-shirt.
So do I, obviously. Anyway, yeah. Have a look in the nursery. I'm incredible palms. Well, I'm back in the Med House. Love it here, actually. And we've got such an incredible selection of Mediterranean plants and a huge selection of palms, including these. These are Washingtonias, often known as the cotton palm. The reason being, as the palm leaves open up and divide, can you see it's almost like they've got little strings of cotton attached to them. So they're really attractive. And as these mature, and you've got a choice here actually of either the 14 centimetre, which is a little bit less mature, or the 21 centimetre pot. But as these mature, the palm leaves just get bigger and bigger and more beautiful. And I tell you what, when it rains, and you probably know the sound of rain by now this summer, but as it rains, they make the most gorgeous sound as the rain just kind of pitter-patters on the palm leaves. Really attractive, really suitable for the UK, great in beds and borders, but equally just as nice in pots. So it's called the Washingtonia, choice of either the 14 centimetre or the 21 centimetre, and often known very aptly as the cotton palm. So they do look amazing, those palms, they really do. I was just thinking, in terms of price per wear, by the way, it's my T-shirt. It's been, I know you girls sometimes talk about price per wear.
Absolutely, always.
Yeah,
That's how I justify anything.
Well, this is really in its place in my wardrobe. But yeah, do not miss out on those palms. I can honestly totally recommend them. They are gorgeous. But got some brand new plans for you right now. I mean, we've got to do this deal, haven't we?
For sure, yeah. It's the plant of the week. Is that what we call it? I can't remember. Deal of the week. It's brand new. I'll get it.
We need some graphics, don't we? Boom, deal of the week.
Deal of the week. I like that.
Oh, yeah. That was quick, Stu. Thank you. You made that really quickly. Well done. But it is a deal of the week. And jokes apart, we could not believe that you're going to get 3 Pampas grasses for $7.99. Club members, $7.19. That works out on about £2.40.
Yeah, it's almost a buy one get two free. Very close to being a buy one get two free here. Almost. £21.98 saving. It's not far off it.
It's amazing. Sorry, I'm just like, I don't know how. I mean, Peter is our wonderful head gardener, supported by Jenny and William, the whole team, and Ryan. How they've done this price?
I know. Mental, right?
It's a bit crazy.
Pampas grasses, you've got a couple of these, haven't you?
I've got 3 now, yeah.
Look at the roots on there. It's a really well-established plant. We call the Pampas grass the king of the grasses because it is quite incredible, isn't it, once it gets going?
The
pink one's the queen of the grasses.
Oh, that's what you call the queen.
This one's the king.
Oh, no, I like that.
Yeah. I know, it's a bit sexist, but why not?
I've called them both queen of the grasses. They are. King, queen, they have that...
They've got the head of the family,
they've got
basically.
That status in the garden.
Totally. And they're ridiculously easy. Obviously, they are a grass, so that means that, I mean, a lot of people plant grasses in their garden for low maintenance, gardening, and this is definitely low maintenance. It's one that you plant, you leave it alone, you let it do its thing. It does need a little bit of space, and you were saying, actually, if you wanted to, you could probably put it in a large pot.
It has to be a really large
big
pot,
one,
and it needs to be well watered. But yeah, you could do. But I put mine in my ground. I actually put mine against the patio, so it can only grow in one direction. But mine started flying year 2. It's been there 3 years now, and I have to say, it looks fantastic. And actually, funny enough, I was in my garden centre at the weekend, and there it is. So that was within 3 years, Bex.
That's amazing. Look how many feathers, the plumes that you've got on there.
And I was in my garden centre at the weekend, and they were selling individual plumes for £9.99 dry.
Whoa,
yeah, they looked
really?
amazing though. Yeah, they really were. But you can actually, I didn't do it last year. I left it too late, and they went over a bit. But if you take them off just before they begin to shed, put them upside down, dry them in a well-ventilated room, then you can have those for many years, and they look fantastic.
They really do.
Yeah.
They used a lot in interior design.
They are.
You can, of course, just leave them on the plant, and lots of people do, and I saw them last year. They were left on the plants all around, and they just look fantastic, pretty much all the way through winter. They start to look a bit straggly at some point, but
most of the way up to about, I'd say, February, March.
Yeah.
Now, what we will say is they need space. So these really suffer from being, well, they need a lot of space. They do not want to be totally confined. So, because it can go to about 2 metres, 2.5 metres. You sometimes see them in the middle of gardens.
Yeah, I really like it if you've got the space in the middle of a garden. It's a real sort of focal point, and then you can plant things around it, can't you? It's just super easy, very, very simple gardening, but really impactful.
And they are evergreen, so you've got all of that lovely foliage. So they do really fill a lovely space in the winter time, but late summer, autumn, you get those incredible plumes. And if you're thinking 3's too many, maybe give one to I bought the 3 pink ones, but I only needed 2 of them, so I gave you one, didn't I?
Yeah, it's growing away happily in my border.
I think mine is about to flower this year.
Yeah, mine's a bit slower.
Yeah, but
it'll catch up. I do find with my clay soil, certain things just take a little bit longer.
But honestly, the value today on the deal of the week is incredible. That's the best we've ever done here at YouGarden TV. Amazing value. And honestly, they are the most wonderful grasses. They're like sunny position, well-drained soil, pretty drought tolerant. They're easy.
Leave them alone.
Yeah.
Thrive on neglect.
So this is the king of the grasses. The pink one's the queen. I like that. Yes. But I love them. I really do. And they were actually in Victoria times, they were a sign of wealth.
Indeed, they were.
Yes.
And in the 70s, the sign of something else.
They were. But they're really back on trend now.
Back in trend.
They are.
Absolutely.
They're back on trend. And honestly, I would love you to get those at that price. Incredible. Now, something that I've been meaning to get for quite a long time, bay trees. And I'll tell you why I've not bought them, Bex, because, I'll be honest, they're really expensive nowadays.
They are really expensive, or they can be. Not here at YGTV. No, you can get a pair of these for $54.99.
That is really good.
With your club discount, of course, that brings it down under £50, $49.49, to get a pair of these.
And with that discount code, the offer code today, you get free postage.
And if you've got a fiver of your, your vouchers that you get from being a club member, if you added that on as well, it just brings that price down that little bit more if you've got any of those to spend.
And the reason why I've wanted bay trees, for me, they're just really classy. They look elegant. You often see them outside restaurants, gyms.
Yeah, I think they have a sort of stately look, don't
they?
Of course, they're evergreen as well, so they look good all year round, but they're functional as well because, I use bay leaves all the time in my cooking. I've got bay growing, I've got rosemary, I've got thyme. Those are my 3 most used herbs. I love going outside, picking a bay leaf off my bay tree. Actually, I've got a bay bush. I haven't got the standard. I wish I did. And then just...
the
smell is gorgeous.
Yeah.
And using that in my cooking. They do create these sort of flowers on them as well. They're kind of a limey green, yellowy colour. They're not overly significant, but they are perfect for pollinators.
Yeah, you often forget that.
Yeah, the Royal Horticultural Society have given in the badge of perfect for pollinators because they do adore them. It's also got the Award of Garden Merit as well.
So, it's well awarded, isn't it?
Well awarded, yeah, absolutely. And just ridiculously easy to look after. They are, I think they're classed as winter hardy. Stu, would you mind just checking if it's got the badge? It says winter hardy down to about -5, -8. So they might need a bit of extra winter protection. I haven't had to protect my bay bush at all, to be perfectly honest with you. It is growing phenomenally this year. I've got loads of new growth. You can see loads of new growth coming on here. It does have the winter hardy badge on it, so it's got a lifetime guarantee. Which is fantastic. I love them.
I'm going to buy them. I was waiting to see what the price was, to be honest.
There you go.
I said to Stu, who's in charge of our technical, I kept saying, because we've got had a new conservatory built last year, and I've got 2 pots outside it, and they're really boring, I'll be honest. They've got if you love Unanimous, close your ears, but they've got Unanimous in there, and they look fine, but they just, I don't know.
I'm not a fan of Unanimous.
No, it just looks a bit boring.
It's got its place.
Yeah.
It's got its place. Adam tells me off for this because Adam's like, it's a great plant, and I'm like, it's boring.
I just think these look so much better, and so they look good all year round. I'll tell you what I like as well, in winter, these look great with little lights on them.
Yeah, they're perfect, honestly. I love the fact that we're doing them as a pair because I think this is definitely one that you want in pairs. It's one you want either side of something.
And some standard trees are a bit more seasonal. We've both got holly, but I don't know, to me it just doesn't look quite right in the summertime.
No, I have to hide my holly standards during the summer.
It just feels
Bring
wrong.
them out in winter, but they're hidden the rest of the time.
But I always think bays just look good every single day of the year. They really, really do. And as Beck said, They are perfect for pollinators when they have those little flowers. They have the Outchester Award of Garden Merit. They're a proven proven winner and tried and tested in the UK. And that is really good value. Standard bay trees are expensive, but we've got an amazing price. Under £50 for club members there, $49.49. But also, you will get free delivery because they're over £40 for the pair.
Oh.
Now, a lot... that doesn't matter.
Oh.
Now, I like that look.
I really like
that.
So these are the olive green planters that we've paired these with, and I quite like that matching colour.
Yeah, I do.
That's pretty, isn't it?
Yes, I'm just
And
going
we've got some other deals on pots, but I do quite like that one in particular. Oh, you can double up on this one as well. You can get two for $19.99, so £10 each on the pot. That's a really good combination there.
I think they look gorgeous.
Beautiful.
And instantly, your front door, I know you hate your front door,
I do,
Bex,
I hate it.
But when you've got really nice plants outside your front door, your back door, your patio doors, it just makes such a difference. It looks so inviting to see those.
Definitely.
So if you want the planters on that double up deal, they are amazing. I know they look like they're ceramic planters that are glazed, but they're not. They're man-made, but they are frost-proof. They're UV resistant. They've got drainage holes in there as well. They've got one
They've got one drainage hole, so you might want to consider adding some extra drainage holes into the bottom of there. But super easy to do with a plastic pot. In actual fact, get your drill some holes in the bottom there. Much more difficult if you're doing it in glazed ceramic, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Ooh.
It's like cross your fingers and hope for the best.
Absolutely.
Or you could, if you're not good with the drill, just put some gravel in the bottom or something like that.
That's got a price tag of $19.99 on the bottom, by the way. So these are
which is right, yeah. That's
$19.99 each, but you're getting two for $19.99. So it's basically a buy one get one free on there. Love those.
We have got lots of pots coming up on the show, and you can check them all out right now on the YouGarden website. Right. Let's remind you, because we've got loads to show you, but a lot of people are definitely going for the big offers today.
Good, I'm glad.
Yes.
Pleased to hear it.
Particularly those ferns. So build up your baskets, and if you do get it to over £40, then you will get free delivery. What else you got to show us, then, Bex? What else
we've got loads of colour coming up. So next we've got eucalyptus, we've got Bowls Mauve. Oh, I love Bowls Mauve. We've got Rudbeckia, we've got some Syringa, we've got Hibiscus collection, and we've still got banana plants and Star Style and mallows coming up. Lots of colour.
I've got a citrus collection over there as well.
Yeah, very good.
But keep those comments coming, keep those messages. But let's remind you, we've got a whole section on the show that's under £5. So this is the Tulbagia Purple Eye, brand new actually, only £4.99. It's a perennial, but we do class it as a tender perennial, so it might need that extra bit of winter protection. Got a flower all through the summer, and you've got these lovely, delicate kind of like pinky mauvey flowers on the tall stems, and the foliage on this one's a little bit like chives as well. It's really pretty and a little bit different. That's 561-285, only £4.49 if you're in the club, £4.99 if you're not, but that is a half price offer today. Then we brought you the Psychocarpus, the Lady in Red. Amazing foliage on this one. I mean, the colours are absolutely spectacular, but then you get the blossom, reminds me of a little bit of a apple blossom there. Very easy one to grow, goes about 1.5 metres, and I think we'll just add such a wonderful colour when it comes to foliage in your garden. I'm quite magnificent, that one, isn't it? You know, sometimes when I look at my garden, when certain areas are all too green, it can look a bit boring, plants can get lost. So just by having other colour foliage in your garden, getting these kind of rich burgundy tones can really make such a difference. And it looks gorgeous with the flowers. The flowers really stand out against that dark foliage there. £4.99 for the Psychocarpus Lady in Red. Now we have got a euphorbia next, and it's actually one of my favourite euphorbias. I love euphorbias. I remember seeing a whole programme on them a few years ago. Many different varieties. They clump form, so they naturally grow into a really nice shape. They are fully winter hardy. They do flower, so this one flowers kind of spring through to summer, and it's got these lovely yellow flowers which really stand out against that foliage. In terms of pruning, if certain bits get a little bit aged looking, sometimes if they've been hit by hard frost, you might want to just trim back a little bit of this. Just wear protective gloves because the sap can cause a little bit of irritation. I mean, that's just to be cautious. But just do that if you are someone with sensitive skin, and basically just put them in a sunny or a part sunny position, and they will just look good all year round. I'll be honest, I do think euphorbias look good grouped together, and also these look really nice when they're planted in threes as well. Absolutely stunning. 5 to 1, 385. That is one of my favourite euphorbias that we've got on the show today. Then we brought you the beautiful butterfly bush, the buddleia, which is actually called Little Ruby. Now, as keen gardeners, we all know the importance of getting those pollinators into our gardens. It is crucial. It really, really is so important for us. And buddleias are incredible. They are very nectar rich. So butterflies, bees, they adore buddleias. I mean, you will see sometimes hundreds of butterflies dancing around these. But this variety, it's a little bit more, I think it's a bit more showy than other buddleias. It's this gorgeous ruby red, and also it's a little bit more compact as well, so it only grows to about 80 by 80 centimetres. Loves a sunny position with moist, well-drained soil. Pruning a doddle, just prune it back sort of like end of February, March time. It flowers a new growth, so you don't have to worry too much in terms of pruning as well. 5 to 1, 280. Because that's smaller, it would be fine in a nice sized pot as well. Then we brought you my favourite plant in my garden right now, and it is the Verbena bonariensis. So I only grew this for the first time last year, planted it in March as a small plant. It already reached, I would say, 5 foot last year. This year it's more like 6 foot. And that was it last year, it's even better this year, really is. It's a little bit taller. And what happens is they die down during the winter. I left all of my old flower stems on, and what happened is they all self-seeded. So I got dozens of free plants this year as well. So there's a lot more verbena going around my garden right now. And I just love it. And what makes them really special is that you get these long, tall stems that have these like pom-poms of purple flowers. Again, great for the pollinators, but you can actually see through the plants, so they never get too dense. They never overtake or invade, but what they tend to do is really complement all the other plants in your beds and borders. They kind of, I always think, when you watch a West End show, a theatre production, you've always got the lead roles, but sometimes the chorus, they're the ones, those supporting roles, they're what actually bring the whole show together, and it's a little bit like that with verbena rather. They support the main players in your garden, they bring it all together, and they make such a huge difference. They are amazing plants, fully winter hardy, 560, 169. Love those, really do. Now also, very quickly, we've got an amazing buy one, get one free on our ferns. Now this one is known as a painted lady fern. Some of you are buying all of the ferns, and I don't blame them. They look great en masse. This one does die down during the winter, so it will die down. It is herbaceous, but when it is in full growth in spring and summer, it looks magnificent. Gorgeous colours on this one. So it's called the painted lady fern because you get these lovely kind of silvers and greens and almost like a bluey tinge to those with a little bit of red in the stems. Absolutely stunning. Smaller that one, so it won't grow too tall, but it does spread. And it is a $9.99 price for 2 because it's a buy one get one free. Amazing value. Loads of you have been going for these, I know, this week. 569.31. Then we brought you the Copper Shield fern. Now this one is semi-evergreen, so depending on where you live, it may die down, it may not, but what you will get is the most extraordinary copper tones to those fronds, and they are incredible. They are breathtaking. When you see those in your beds and borders, they have an absolute wow factor. And I mentioned earlier, ferns, God, they date back, some varieties date back to about 360 million years old. They are very slug resistant as well. Slugs don't like ferns, they just don't like them. So if you've got that damp area, that shady area, and hostas don't do well there because of the slugs, go for these ferns. 561, 201, and again, it is a buy one, get one free. Then the other fern that we've got for you is the Fortunae, the Fortune's fern. Different fronds on here, very different foliage. This one, again, it can stay evergreen throughout the winter months. Might not be, just depending on where you live, but it is amazing value at £9.99. Grows a little bit bigger, that one as well. 561203, working out £5 each. And then finally, we have got the Calanthus lanosa, which is commonly known as the hairy lip fern. Now this one is evergreen, really compact, beautiful foliage, very dissected fronds on that one. It really is a stunning, stunning variety. And actually, it's, most ferns like to be damp. This one can be really quite drought tolerant as well. So if it's in a shady area that's a little bit dry, maybe I'm thinking under a tree, when I've got a big eucalyptus that gets very dry, this one, when established, can be quite drought tolerant as well. Buy one, get one free, 561204 for the Calanthus lanosa there. And then finally, on our buy one, get one free, we did bring you the incredible hosta. Now this is a hosta that's called wide brim, and what I love about it is the variegated leaves. So you've got the lovely green centre. Almost looks like an artist has kind of just taken a brush and just swirled that green around. And then you've got the gorgeous kind of creep margins to the leaves there as well. Hostas, again, they love a shady position. They're fine in sun as well, but they love a shady position. But the slugs do love hostas, so bear that in mind. If you've got problems with slugs, then definitely get a slug deterrent like the Strulch that's on our show today as well. Now, good morning. Welcome to YouGarden TV. We are live in the Potty Show. Do you know we're coming up to our first anniversary?
It's going to be very soon. It's mid-August, isn't it? I think
is.
Officially it was August the 17th was the first live show. That was with you and Peter. I joined right a couple of weeks later.
You
I
did?
came at the end of August.
So I'm thinking, yeah, because we're thinking of having what does my mum call it? A shindig.
A shindig.
Think of having a shindig. Yeah, on the 16th, that would work well, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well,
so
really well.
We just want to say thank you for all of you that have been watching us for last year. And I know we constantly get new viewers and new customers, but we do really appreciate it. And we just love, Bex, I love working at the nursery. We're here a couple of days a week and we learn about the plants, we get out and about, we obviously meet up with our head gardener. It's great, it really is. And both of us also, we're putting a lot more online content.
Yes.
So social media, most of the regular plants have now got little online videos as well to give you a bit of extra information. But we love it when you interact, don't we, Bex?
We do indeed. Excuse me. And Elaine has sent in several pictures of the kiwi
Morning, Elaine.
Jenny. She sent in pictures of the purple eye that's on our $4.99 table. But the one I want to show you is the Rudbeckia, which is coming up in a moment. So Elaine's got the Rudbeckia gold stem, which is the one that we're bringing you today. Elaine's is just a little bit further on than mine is. I was showing the guys this morning. If you're on my Instagram, by the way, I did do a little video and showed the Rudbeckia. It's got loads of buds coming, but yours are just starting to open, Elaine. But 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. I can count 20 flowers on that one plant right there.
That is going to look amazing.
That's
well, it
going
looks
to
nice
look
now. It looks
so
really good now.
Thank
you, Elaine.
Thank you, Elaine. I'm going to go to Eleanor's now. Hang on, let me find the right one. Because Eleanor's got some, I mean, this is brilliant. She says, hi, I spent yesterday making a water feature out of the Diablo planter and bought some champagne and rhubarb and custard primroses I bought last year from YouGarden. So the first picture is the Diablo planter. And she's turned it into a water feature. You can just see the little water feature bit going on in the background there. Look. So she's turned it into a beautiful little water feature. That. So I love that.
Yeah.
And the primroses are obviously going to come through very soon as well.
That looks really lovely.
Doesn't it? I love that.
I need a water feature.
And then I'm just showing you this other picture that Eleanor has sent us because it's got a furry friend in it.
Yeah.
That's looking really pretty.
If you want to guarantee your pictures get shown when Bex is in charge of the iPad, then just send us some
I do try and show everybody's pictures. Are we showing it, Stu?
And apologies.
Show me a picture. Oh, look. Hello, furry friends. I don't mind any furry friends. I mean, I don't have cats. I have a dog.
I've got cats, but I love dogs as well.
All furry
yeah,
friends.
I do.
It's looking really pretty, Eleanor, so well done, yeah. And I love the fact that you've taken one of our planters and turned it into a water feature as well. That's brilliant.
And we love seeing your gardens because it always inspires us. I think we all share ideas as gardeners, don't we?
We do try, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about. I'm just going into the YouTube chat just to see what anyone else is saying in here.
Just while Bex is doing that, quick reminder to get the best offers on the show. The offer code this week is YGTV3024. You will get a free gift with every single order today. And we've only recently started doing this. We've always done a free gift when we can, but we are now giving you live plants. And this is the Nautica Macedonica. It's a scabious basically, but it's that colour. And it's a perennial, come back year after year. That is free with every order. And if you place several orders, you'll get several free gifts. So some of you place orders separately. And then just really quickly, I know a lot of you know this, but if you spend over £40, you get free delivery. And I appreciate you might not be able to spend over £40. You might be thinking, oh, Shaun Bex, I've only got £20 I can possibly spend today. But we always cap the postage at $6.99 per order. So that's the most that you'll ever pay on YouGarden TV. So don't ever worry about paying lots of individual postage charges. You will not do it with us.
So Neil's pictures that he sent earlier, and there was a lily. It was a day lily, he says.
Yes.
So well done. You spotted that. Elaine, yes, your kiwi Jenny has started to shoot up. You did send a picture. Sorry, I haven't shown that one. Neil's saying his aquiledias are beginning to flower nicely.
I like aquiledias.
But my aquiledias flowered and then went.
Yeah, mine have flowered.
They haven't kept going.
I'll be honest.
I did deadhead, but
I
stopped.
didn't because I wanted some free seeds.
I was a bit late deadheading, that's probably why.
There's still time.
Well, they might come back. Elaine has got the painted lady, a bit like when she was painting at home. Brilliant. Yes, Elaine, I've just shown one of your pictures. I will try and show some of the others as well. So, yeah, it's lovely to have you all in the chat. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
In fact, let's go to one of your ladies. Oh, Tony, here we go. Tony.
Morning, Tony.
Morning, Steve. First, apologies, I was looking through old recording, looking for the fern deal. And guess what I found out? I'm talking about my osteospermums. Fabulous. Yes, Tony, you did send an email in on Thursday. Right, let me scroll back, because Tony, here we go. You sent a few pictures and a question that we didn't get time to answer. Also, could you please... Right, so could you please advise me on how I know the pot is big enough for the plant?
Do we know which plants?
By the way, Bex, I'm beating you in pots. I have 120 and more to do. Yes, you are beating me for sure.
120.
So,
wow.
Tony, I think the question that you're asking is how you know the pot is big enough for the plant, and is that a general question or is there a particular plant? If it's a general question, it's quite a tricky one to answer, isn't it? Because it very much depends on the plant.
It is.
But as a general rule, I would say you never go too much larger than the pot it's already in. Maybe
totally agree.
Up to 5 centimetres larger than the existing pot, as a general rule. But if you've got a specific plant in mind, email us again and we'll see if we can answer it.
Because some plants will tolerate being put into a far larger pot instantly, some won't. But I agree, you know, like the way the nurses work, if they've got something growing in a 2-litre pot, and then they want to put it in a bigger pot, they'll go to the 3-litre and then the 4. And that's what we do here, actually, because what we have, we maybe have, say, 500 plants in 2-litre pots, and if some of them don't get sold by the end of that season, we'll move them onto a 3-litre, then a 4-litre. But we don't normally take something from a 2-litre pot and put it in a 5-litre pot. So it's like steady sizing in terms of, you know, most of your plants.
Yeah, and Tony, I know you sent loads of pictures in, but here's the one that I've selected, and those are those gorgeous. They are the easy fills, aren't they?
Do you know, I love
like
the colour choices there.
I love that against that brown fence as well. That looks absolutely beautiful.
And I love the fact that all of those hanging baskets look pretty much identical.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
See, I planted up my 2 hanging baskets to be identical, but they are not.
Same here.
They have not grown identically.
Yeah.
Well, never quite identically, but yeah.
But I try, because I do the hanging baskets for our pub, and I always want the front 2 to look identical.
You want them to look like that, don't you?
And I planted exactly the same plants in them, in exactly the same positions. One side's decided that the white petunia is going to grow massive. The other side, the white petunia is really small, but the bacopa is taken over. But, you know, so yours look very, very even at this moment in time, though.
All right, and a quick one on pennies, if we can.
Penny.
The pictures have come through a bit small, so when I zoom in, it goes a bit blurry, but you get the idea. Look at the colour. Look at the amount of pots that are in there.
Do you know, that really works for me.
It does, doesn't it?
Because it's a low maintenance garden. Begonias this year have done fantastic.
Yeah, mine are looking so good.
And do you know, somebody messaged me during the week, and I think they're a bit disappointed in the petunias because we've had a lot of rain. Honestly, we get such wild weather nowadays. Begonias are just such warriors, whatever summer you get.
They're brilliant, and this is why I put them into my hanging baskets, because I just knew they were going to be amazing, and they really are looking amazing. So
bear that in mind.
Thank you for the pictures.
If your hanging baskets and pots are not good this year, next year when we've got begonias on,
get them in your pots.
Yeah, you just can't go wrong with them. You really can't. But thank you for all of those. Right, the details for the Rebecca on the screen, we'll come to that later. But we're going to move on to a very special eucalyptus called Gunnii azura. Now, I'm in the process of trying to get a quote to get my eucalyptus cut back a bit.
600 quid, I reckon.
We've had a higher quote.
Really?
800, and I think it was 800. Including that, it was 800 and something.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you know.
I mean, when you think about the kind of the work that's involved in doing that, because it's a big tree.
So
and
my eucalyptus, it must be. Oh, it's huge. It must be. Oh God. 20 metres, something like that.
Yeah.
It's massive. So eucalyptus can grow too big for lots of gardens. This is a very special variety that's a lot more compact. So the maximum, we kind of say 4 to 5 metres on this one.
Absolutely. And the thing is, if you were to keep this in a pot, you can actually restrict the size even more. You wouldn't necessarily be able. Well, I mean, you can restrict the size on this one. So it shouldn't get that big, or as big as Shaun's will anyway. So even if you were to plant this out in a border, it's not going to get that big. But if you keep this in a pot, you'll even be able to restrict that even more.
And this one, I mean, eucalyptus is hard in the UK, but this is exceptionally hard. We're talking about -20. Fully evergreen. I mean, I love the foliage on eucalyptus, and this one has got gorgeous foliage. Slightly smaller than some of the other varieties out there, but it is a lot more compact. It will never grow more than 3, 4, 5 metres over many, many years, but grows very nicely in a pot as well. And one of the things that I use my eucalyptus for, I use it for, I love cutting flowers in the garden, bringing them in, but I use eucalyptus as a bit of a filler as well. I think a lot of florists use it, you'll know that. They use it in beautiful bouquets to really complement other flowers. But the smell is divine. I know you've had a bit of a cold recently, Bex.
I have, it's going.
I know it is.
It's taken a while, but it's going.
Does at our age.
It's kids, they bring the germs in.
Yes.
I seem to catch it all, but you never catch my colds, which...
I don't. I really
crossed.
don't. You watch next week a bit. But we were very lucky. We actually were joined by a social media icon.
Dave the Plant
Dave
Man.
the Plant
I
Man.
didn't get to meet him. I hope I get to meet him next time, because he's hilarious. I love him. I've been following him on Instagram for ages.
Well, you get to meet him hopefully next time.
Hopefully.
It's just like he is on Instagram.
Interesting facts.
Yeah, but here he is with the eucalyptus Gunnii azura and an interesting fact. So we're here at the YouGarden nursery. It's a busy day, lots going on, a bit of noise in the background. We don't care, because we've found this gorgeous eucalyptus. Bit different, this one, isn't it, Dave? This is Dave the Plant Man, by the way.
Oh, you do? Right, this is Eucalyptus Gunnii azura. What's different about azura is it's a lot hardier than normal Eucalyptus Gunnii. It says it's hardy down to -20. So if you struggle growing Eucalyptus Gunnii, the normal one, in Scotland or some of the more exposed places, this is a better one for the UK climate. Now, the other thing about it, it's more compact. It has a lot more shoots on it than a normal Eucalyptus Gunnii. You find that Gunnii tends to just put 3 or 4 shoots on, where this is really busy. Now, if you want to keep these little, what we call penny foliage, you keep trimming it as a bush, and you can actually cut those penny foliage and use them in flower arranging.
Yeah, they look lovely, don't they?
Or you can even trim this one into almost a ball, because it's such a compact plant.
It's a beautiful colour, isn't it?
Near a jet.
Oh, it's all happening here.
We're getting everything.
But I love the fact, super hardy, -20, and very easy to grow.
Very easy to grow.
I'm waiting for it, Dave.
Interesting fact.
Thanks, Dave.
It's the little head tilt he does. At the same
We need a
time.
catchphrase, don't we?
I'm working on them. I've got Rooty Beauty, Raring to Grow. Bex knows best. I'm not using that one. I'm not
Bex
using that
knows
one.
best.
Because that's
fun.
not true.
I like that.
It's not true.
Bex knows best.
Could you imagine if I signed it? Bex knows best. And then I've said something wrong.
Yeah. No, she doesn't. No, that's a little bit too presumptuous, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, dear. Anyway. Interesting facts, as David Plattman. We're going to move on though to. By the way, if you want the eucalyptus, jokes apart, we all love eucalyptus, but I was moaning about my eucalyptus during that clip of film. I said it's too big. It's going to cost a fortune to cut it down. That is a lot more compact. 3, 4, maybe 5 metres, an absolute push, which is actually very small for eucalyptus. And wind's harder down to -20. Now we're going to move on to something that we both discovered. Oh God, what, 5 years ago? Would you say?
Yeah, a few years ago now, and I adore this one. Okay, this is one of my absolute favourites. I will always have it in my garden, and that is because it flowers forever. It just keeps going, and it looks absolutely incredible. Honestly, mine had flowers on it every single month of the year last year and into this year. Admittedly, in the winter months, it was only 1 or 2 flowers, but honestly, it has so many flowers and it is so ridiculously low maintenance. That is mine. I can't remember when that. Oh, I can see the tulips. They were just going over, so this is probably around May time, and that one was in June. Then I gave it a good prune back. I deadheaded it, and it is still looking fabulous. All the flowers are starting to come back on there again. It flowers for a good sort of, a reasonable amount of flowers for a good sort of 8, 9, 10 months of the year.
And I went to a talk. Nick Bailey, a very famous gardener, I know many people know him. He does a whole talk about 365 days of colour in your garden. It's how to get colour in your garden every day of the year, which we'd all want, wouldn't we? And that was one of the plants he actually mentioned. Yeah. And I'm with you, Bex. I've got it as well. It just doesn't stop flowering.
It just keeps going.
And I sometimes forget about it. I just sometimes forget to feed it, forget to deadhead it. It still keeps going.
It just keeps going, yeah, absolutely. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. They've also given it their badge of perfect for pollinators. Even on a dull day, the colour, the purple colour that you get on here really does illuminate a border. I've got mine planted next to my geranium Roseanne, and on the other side I've got the Rudbeckia, the yellow of the Rudbeckia coming through. It's winter hardy, just evergreen, super easy to grow and very reliable.
And do you find yours does well in kind of like part shade?
Yeah, so it's in the slightly more shady border, and that one is doing better than the one in the full sun border.
So if you're I don't want to say lazy gardener, but if you just want an area that just looks after itself, that is low maintenance, that has an abundance of colour. Yeah, Stu's just said easy gardening. That's better, not lazy. But like my mum's 83 and she still gardens, but she struggles. So she needs things to be a bit easier. So having plants like that just get on with it, that flower for months and months and months, are just going to be absolute winners. And on today's show, these are normally nearly £10 each. You're going to get 3 in 9cm pots for £9.99. And I can pretty much guarantee they will arrive in flower and bud, and they'll just do their own thing. I nearly planted the whole of the pub garden that I look after in our village. I nearly planted all the big containers with these. Yeah. I haven't, but it's something I might do.
I think it's well worth doing. It stays nice and compact as well. So we're talking, the flower spikes will reach a good sort of 50, 60 centimetres in height, and each one of those plants will spread by a good sort of 40 centimetres. So it's really good at filling in those gaps. Just an absolute winner.
It really is, and such a lovely colour on the bowls mauve. I love purples and mauves, and I think they look great with yellows and whites. But yeah, it's another one that both of us 100% recommend. Ben, buy it today. I mean, what it's like on YouGarden TV. We have offers for a few weeks. Some offers are for 1 week, some offers are for a couple of weeks, some are for the month, but those offers do come to a close. If you order today, this lovely Sunday, you get 3 of those for just £9.99. Club members, £8.99. If you're not a club member, by the way, you can actually join today, Sunday the 28th of July. Just proving we're live. Because we did have to record Thursday's show, so apologies, but I hope you still enjoyed it. But this is our discount club. So basically, for £5 a year on auto renewal, you will get 10% off every plant and accessory. That includes compost, includes pots. You're going to get 5% off every outdoor living and gifts order. You're going to receive £20 worth of YouGarden vouchers. Now, you can actually use those, we discovered recently, on the same day, but just not on the same order.
Yeah.
So there's one per order.
But they have dates on them. So we thought it was one every 3 months that you could spend. But actually, our head gardener was in the potting shed and he confirmed you can spend them all in one day. If you placed 4 orders in one day, you could use all of those vouchers.
But it is like getting £20 worth of cash back, basically, pretty much, isn't it? And you'll also get exclusive offers, competitions, and expert advice as well. So do bear that in mind. If you don't want to go for the auto renewal, there's a one-off 1-year membership, which is £10. You get all the same discounts. But to be honest, most people, I think about 90% go for the auto renewal because you can cancel at the end of 12 months. And one other thing, if you go for auto renewal, that price of £5 a year is held for life. If you look at the small print at the bottom, plus the price will never go up, which is absolutely amazing. So, yeah, we both joined the club the first week we worked in.
Yeah, definitely.
And we've saved a
Why
fortune.
wouldn't you?
We really have. So if you're not a club member, you can do it with your first order today and save that extra 10%. And we all love saving money, don't we? Right, from the Erisium Bowls Mauve, we are going to move on now to Rebecca Goldstrom, another absolute favourite here at YouGarden.
Adore it.
What's not to like about this?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a clump-forming perennial, so this is going to come back for you year after year. You're going to divide those clumps up probably every 2 or 3 years. You can divide those. I would recommend probably in autumn time, and then you can get free flowers, which is fantastic. Really reliable, this one, because you get these lovely clumps of flowers that happen on here. And each plant, as we saw with Elaine's picture that she sent through, I don't know how old that one was, but I counted 20 flowers and buds on her plant. Now, previously I've been seeing between 10 and 15, but as Elaine has proved, you can get even more. In the first year that I planted my Rudbeckia, I had a good 15 flowers, and that was in the first year. Mine is starting to come through. I will go home and I will count those buds later on. Stu's shouting at me, stop talking.
Well, we honestly didn't realise that it was a buy one, get one free.
Yeah, we've only brought one plant in to the potting shed, but it is actually a buy one, get one absolutely free. Put one in your basket, put the code in YGTV3024, another one will appear.
I mean, that is amazing.
Isn't it?
So when you look at that basket there, you've got your free Nautica Macedonica, which is type scabious. That's worth, I think it's worth £10, £9.99. Rebecca Goldstrom, buy one, get one free. And I'll tell you what, the ferns are also on a buy one, get one free. So let's pop one of those in there, and there's your freebie. But to get those free plants, you do need to use the offer code today. Do bear that in mind. You always need to use the offer code. Changes every week, but today's YGTV 3024, and that will unlock all of those extra promotions. Now, Rebecca, again, if you're looking for pollinators in your garden, the bees love this one.
They absolutely adore it. It's got the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's a low to actually no maintenance plant. You plant it, you leave it, you let it do its thing. The fact that it's a buy one, get one free is absolutely incredible. We should have had it on our buy one, get one free table earlier. We've got a whole load of ferns on buy one, get one free. We've got the hosta on buy one, get one free. We've also got the Rudbeckia on a buy one, get one free as well.
I know we're really busy today, lots of you watching.
Ah, that's my one. That's last year, and honestly, it's double the size this year. Yeah, I bought mine as a 9 centimetre, so it was a smaller plant, and that was in its first year. So it's going to be even better this year.
I think it needs a friend.
It does need a friend.
But yours will have a friend because it's a buy one, get one free today.
Two of those.
They are. Did you ever see Adam Wilcott? Is one of our other garden experts. Multi-award winning. He's won 4 golds at Chelsea.
A couple of silvers that he doesn't like talking about.
Yeah, but he actually filled a massive part of his border with Rebecca, and en masse. Have you seen the picture, Bex?
Yeah, it looks stunning, doesn't it? Absolutely. So, I mean, I've got that one plant which is in that mixed border, and it looks pretty, but I can imagine loads of those.
They really work.
And it's a late flowering one as well, so this is just starting to bloom now as we're heading into the end of July, early August, but it keeps going into September and into October. So this is one of those transitional ones.
And one thing that I'm sort of learning with my garden is that you really need that constant colour coming through, don't you? There's nothing worse than a garden that's... I mean, I have one of my friends, Lynn, hers looks great in spring.
Yeah.
And that's it. It's over. You know, she and that's her garden. It's a spring garden. But I'm sure a lot of you are the same, I want it to look good all through the year if possible.
That's the aim, isn't it?
You do need, as certain things die down, I mean, my lupins have gone over now. I mean, they might fly again. But Rebecca... late flowering, so just coming to it. So now, as we head into July, end of July, through to August and September. Now, we just need to remind you of these fabulous pots.
Stu's noticed something here. That should be £19.99 on its own, but it's £17.99. But if you put 2 in your basket, you get 2 for £19.99.
That's good, isn't it? £10 each.
Which is great. So if you're a discount club member, that's the same price as one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, because you'll get £2 off.
That is really
That's
good, isn't it?
That's such a good deal.
Yeah. But they are lovely. So if you're buying lots of plants today and you're thinking, I need some pots, then we have got some fantastic deals on our pots. Do check out the website, do check out the show. Got lots of pots. If these are not your cup of tea, we have got terracotta style, we have got some
You've
smaller
got the helix.
pots. They're good at the helix, aren't they?
Yeah, you get 4 sort of terracotta coloured ones.
Yes.
Olwen always shares her freebies with her daughter. That's nice, isn't it?
Yeah. I think it's lovely to share plants.
Me too.
I love walking around my garden, and some of you remember, for many years, we worked with a lady called Angela, and she said to me, when she walks around her garden, every plant tells a story, and I'm a bit like that. I walk around, not every plant, but a lot of them I think, oh, I bought that from YouGarden then, Bex gave me that, my mum gave me that moved from my old house. It's just lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, I love it.
I see my plants as friends in my garden.
Yeah, definitely.
They've all got their own stories and personalities, but it is great to share. So, the Rebecca, it's a buy one, get one, absolutely free today at $14.99. If you use the code, don't forget you will get that extra free plant. But we're going to move on to Syringa. I always call it lilac, don't you?
Oh, smell on it.
If you say to a lot of people, oh, we've got Syringa in our show, they're like, what?
Right, it's flowering.
I know.
Weird, right? That shouldn't be flowering right now, should it? Lilac is a spring flowering plant. That shouldn't be in flower.
Well, there's a secret to this one, and it's the clue's in the name, isn't it?
It is. It's the bloomerang. And bloomerangs come back. Not bloomerangs. Bloomerangs and boomerangs come back.
Yes.
And this is the beautiful thing about the bloomerang. So it first blooms in sort of May time, and then it flushes. It gives you flushes of flowers throughout the summer, and then it gives you a second crescendo in autumn. So if you want lilac in your garden, and we all want lilac in our garden because that gorgeous smell, surely you want one that's going to give you flowers for a longer period of time, and not just one that's in spring.
And I've got this one, and it's done exactly the same. It flowered in May time. It was really nice. It's just been looking nice from then onwards. But you know, it's pretty when it's just in foliage, but it's just beginning to bloom again. And again, just going back to having more colour in our garden for longer. Who would not want that?
Absolutely. Give it a little deadheading every now and then. Once those flowers start to fade, just trim those back. That'll help to prolong and encourage more flowers to come through. But other than that, it really is quite low maintenance. Just put it in a nice sunny spot.
Yeah, sunny spot, well, Jane. This one is a lot more compact as well.
Oh, yes. Yes, of course. Yeah, I mean, those great big lilac trees, you've seen them. We all saw them earlier on in the year, didn't we?
Yeah.
Massive they can get to. Good sort of, 3 metres high at least.
At least. I mean, God, I've seen them. We had one as a child. I mean, I suppose I was small at the time, so it may but I'm sure it was it was huge. We had lived in a bungalow, but it was certainly the height of the bungalow.
Yeah, definitely.
Massive.
They can get really
and the
big.
flowers were all at the top, so I couldn't really see them. I couldn't really smell them.
But this should only ever get to about 1.5 metres in height, and obviously a spread as well. So perfect
really
in a mixed border.
Honestly, if you love lilac, but you live in a garden, we're thinking, or I should say, live in a house with a garden, you're thinking, oh, my garden's too small for lilac tree. Go for this particular variety. And look at the price that we have got on this today at £9.99. We've got such a good show, Bex.
Yeah, really good. So loads of foliage, loads of colour, loads of deals, lots of bargains. That's what we like.
We do, but that really is incredible at £9.99. And that one, because it will only grow to about 1.5 metres, it would be great in a pot. Just sunny position, nice, well-drained soil. But they're amazing. And we say they flower in spring and then sort of like late summer, autumn, but sometimes you do get the odd random flower as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So that makes sense to me.
It does.
I
mean, if you... I'm never going to buy a lilac that only flowers once. Why? If you can get one that flowers multiple times, that's the one you want, surely.
Yeah, I'm with you, yeah. Unless you want a really big lilac. But again, if you can get it to flower twice.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you?
No, I'm with you. I'm totally with you. And that's why I've got that one in my garden, as it happens. Now, something else that's just coming into flower in lots of people's gardens. I went to see my mum last night, and she said, she calls this Iaxa for some reason. I don't know why. But she went, oh, my Iaxa's just coming out. She means hibiscus. Right. I don't think there is a plant called Iaxa. I don't know.
I've never heard of it.
No, but my mum's...
I'm going to search it up though.
Morning, Mum, by the way, she's watching.
Morning, Carol.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hope your hibiscus is looking good. But just coming to flower.
Iaxa.
And there isn't, I'm sure.
I'm going to search it. No, watches come up.
Yeah, there you go.
Watches.
But I'll give you the details for these because we have got a gorgeous collection of fully winter hardy hibiscus, but these are very special. Not only are they winter hardy, but these are doubles. They're called the chiffon collection.
Chiffon.
Chiffon collection.
I love the way you say that.
I know. I don't know why I do it like that. I always put on a French accent, but they are chiffon collections, and they are doubles, and they are absolutely the most magnificent flowers. And there is a... Oh, Ixia, no, yeah, not Iaxa. Anyway, these are hibiscus. You may have seen hibiscus in the Mediterranean, and there are some wonderful varieties there, but they are not winter hardy. These varieties are fully winter hardy. We said it's about -10. They flower late summer, so it's always kind of, normally speaking, July when they actually burst into flower. So July, August, into September time. And they are just stunning, aren't they?
They really are.
They're just
so
gorgeous.
Kind of exotic looking, almost tropical looking, but totally hardy. Winter hardy, probably down to about -10. Love the colour mix, the white, the lavender, the pinky colour. No? Yeah, pinky colour.
Blue, pink, white.
Blue, pink, white, basically. And they really work nicely together, don't they, those colours? Each of these can get to probably about 1.5 metres height, spread by about 1 metre. They grow really neatly as well. What I've discovered with hibiscus is they naturally grow into that gorgeous goblet shape.
They really do.
So they don't need much pruning and trimming in order to maintain that sort of shape. You can grow them in a pot as well if you don't want them to get that big. I grow mine in a pot because my borders just aren't sunny enough. So it's going to be smaller, but I'm going to get the flowers from it. It wants to be in the sunshine.
It does. I mean, my mum's got a few dotted around her garden, and the ones in full sun definitely flower more than the ones in part sun. Yeah. The ones in part sun, they get by, but full sun. And actually, my mum's in quite poor soil.
Yeah.
And they're still done really well. It's well drained, but it's not the best of soils. They are, one thing I always say is that they lose leaves in winter, and they sometimes can be very slow to come back into leaf. It can sometimes take till mid-May, but they will, because they're winter hardy to -10. So don't worry if there's still twigs in kind of April, early May, they will still be alive. But you just need to give them a bit of time because they normally come back into leaf kind of mid to late May. This year, because it was warmer, they came back into leaf at the end of April, I would say.
Yeah, mine quite early. There was no worries
but
about
don't panic. Very good, but I think they look very exotic. They look like they're going to be hard work, but they're not. But these are the doubles, and that is very important. We do sell single ones, but these are the doubles. I love hibiscus. All right, now just to remind everybody, if you've just joined us, by the way.
Hello.
I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. Hey, the weather's better.
Oh my word, it's going to be warm this week, isn't it? Have you checked the weather reports? It's looking amazing.
We're talking mid to late 20s.
I know.
Bex and I said the summer would come, didn't we, Bex? So Stu just said Bex is in her mid to late 20s.
I wish. They were some good years.
My best years were my 30s, I would say.
No, I was just pregnant and having babies. 20s
Wasn't that great fun?
Oh, yeah, loads. It was lovely, but for many different reasons to my 20s.
Yeah.
My 20s, I was young, I was single, I was having a lovely time.
I think we need to move on here, Bex, don't you? But lovely to have your company today. And do you know, one of the great things about gardening, just getting back on track here, Bex.
Sorry.
But I'm just thinking gardening, for many of us, it's something that I did from a child. I'm sure I'll continue to all my life. Some people come into gardening, you might have just got into gardening recently. But as a hobby, it never gets boring. And many of it, many of us have gardened for many years, decades. There's always something. I know that you and I will garden.
I will always, I mean, I didn't always. I wasn't into it when I was younger. My mum and my nan always were, and my mum always tried. And
She pushed you too hard, didn't she?
Just never really fancied it. But as I grew older and I got my own home, my own garden, then all of a sudden I found that joy, I found that love. But that is something now that I'm never going to lose. I'm always going to have it.
I'm the same. And even when I've been in rented accommodation, I still had loads of pots and plants that I moved with me. Even when I had a really small balcony, I still had it covered in plants.
I was out in the garden the other day and I was thinking about it because I do intend to move house at some point. We're not in our forever home. And it actually crossed my mind. I was like, moving my house is going to be horrendous, but moving all my garden stuff, that's going to be even... I mean, I was looking at it, all the pots and planters, and I was like, I'm going to need a moving van just for all of this.
You do, though. I did. I know when we moved, there was a whole van just full of pots and
I'll
plants.
be like that with the one that's moving the plants. Right, I need to supervise this one. The house stuff, crack on. I'm supervising this.
But whatever garden you've got and whatever level of experience, YouGarden are here to help. We really do bring you plants for every single type of garden and every level of experience. And our website is brilliant. It's got so much information about all of the plants. But our best-selling product, which we're going to talk about in a second, is our premium professional compost that will turn you into a better gardener overnight. Now, we've got somebody new in the group chat, Kev. I hope it's not your husband, Kev.
That is my husband's name. Apparently, it's not my husband,
Good,
though.
because you've been ready. Yeah.
He doesn't normally watch, so...
Actually, no, you've not said anything bad about Kev.
Not yet.
No. I mean, you did before we went live.
No, I know you did
before.
before.
I'm joking. But no, I'm only joking.
I love him,
But
really.
Good morning to Kev. Thank you for joining the
Good morning.
chat as well.
Same name as my husband.
Right, let's just talk about how you can get in contact with us. So if you want to share any pictures, any comments, you can email us, which is ygtv@yougarden.com. You can join in the group chat on, of course, YouTube or Facebook. But we would love it if you become part of the show. We'd love to just hear from you, what you're buying, what you're planting, what looks good in your garden. If you've got any questions, Bex and I should be able to answer those. Hopefully, if there's something we don't know, we'll just be honest and we would get back to you. But generally speaking, we should be able to, between us, answer all of your questions and all of your queries. But let's talk about our compost, because this is actually the most popular product that we sell here at YouGarden. And we must have sold millions and millions of litres of this over the years. And actually, for many years, it wasn't actually available to the customer. It was just the compost that we used on the nursery to grow all of our plants and our hanging baskets and our bare roots. But over the last several years, we have made it available to everybody, and that is such a good thing. Now, we'll talk about the ingredients, because, Bex, you've been taking out the slow-release fertiliser.
Yeah, so there's loads of these little green beads that you'll see within the compost, and this is the slow-release fertiliser, one of the fantastic ingredients that has been put into this compost. So those little beads, they sort of, the shells break down, they release that feed into the compost. That's then going to feed your plants, and it stays active. It'll feed your plants for a good maybe 5-6 months once you plant things in here. So this is fantastic that they can get hold of their feed as and when they need it, not just when we remember to give them their water-based feed, because we always start the year with good intentions. I'm going to feed them, I'm going to do it every 2 weeks, and then we forget, don't we? So it has that feed in there, and that's just one of the incredible ingredients. And I'm
going to be really honest with you, I have been a little bit lax with my feeding this year.
I have, again, always.
But it's time. It's always the last thing on my list. It's like, do the deadheading, do the lawn.
Yeah.
Water, not that we've had to do too much of that, but feeding is so important. But that's like your insurance. You've got that slow-release fertiliser. Now, the texture on this is amazing, and you'll know when you open up the bag, you've got this beautiful fibrous texture that's very even. You're not suddenly going to open up a bag and find lumps and chunks and big bits of twig and wood in there. So 50% of this is composted wood fibre, and it's composted to such a great level and degree. And what that means is that those roots, whether they be roots from a seed or roots from a tree or everything in between, they can very easily access oxygen and water and nutrients because of that fibrous texture. And you'll know when you feel this, it really feels good, doesn't it?
It feels good and it smells good.
Yeah.
That's the other thing. When you open the bag, you will want to stick your face in it because it smells so fresh, so good, which is very different to some of those other bags that I've bought in the past. When you open it, it smells dank and just, you don't get that from this one. Now, it is an enriched compost. It does have peat in here. We will all have to go peat-free at some point, but what we've done with this is we've reduced the amount of peat in here to the minimum level, so we're keeping up with those environmental needs, but we want those maximum results, and that's what we're getting with the peat content in here.
Oh, there's different types, the dark, the white peat. Some are renewable as well.
Yeah, there's a sphagnum moss peat in here, which is a renewable one, so that one's nice and easy.
Now, it's actually warm and dry right now in the UK. I know. So actually, over the next few days, if temperatures reach 26, 28, 29, maybe even 30, many hanging baskets and pots will dry out, and that can happen literally in a couple of hours. That midday sun, scorching hanging basket, and if that hanging basket dries out, if you don't use this compost, sometimes you've ever watered a basket of a pot and all the water has gone straight over the sides.
Yeah.
And it is so annoying, isn't it? You're like, you get soaked, the plants are still dry. This has got a wetting agent that means the water sticks to the compost pretty much instantly, so it rehydrates very quickly. So that is just so much more convenient.
Totally.
But it saves on your time and it saves on your watering as well. But it's one of my favourite, ingredients on this one.
And there's a pH buffer included in here as well. So certain plants like more acid soil, like your rhododendrons, azaleas, blueberries, those sorts of things. You need ericaceous compost for those. That's available on our website. The pH buffer in here puts it just somewhere around neutral, which means that this is absolutely perfect for the majority of the plants that you are going to plant in your garden. I was just having a little look round. Everything that we've got in the potting shed today is going to live the happiest life in this compost.
It is actually, isn't it? Yeah. Everything.
Even your houseplants work beautifully in here. If you want to add stuff in here, if you want to put vermiculite and, create your own specialised compost, you absolutely can. You don't really need to because this has all of those amazing ingredients, but if you are into it, you definitely can.
Now, you will get 2 big bags, 50 litres each. That's 100 litres. £24.98. Club members £22.48 is of course your club discount price. And even if you're just buying compost from us today, maybe Bex has just inspired you and you thought, I need to repot some of my houseplants. Get your compost in a separate order today. You will still get your free gift, that gorgeous plant member, that scabious, which is worth, did you say £9.99?
£9.99, yeah.
That is going to be free with every single order today, so do bear that in mind. Right. We're going to separate.
We are going to separate. I'll see you later.
I'll see you later.
Bye.
Be like that then, Bex. Bex is serious. She's going to come back to the ferns because they are flying today. And I'm going to remind you of the under £5 table today as well. So very quickly, Verbena bonariensis, one of my absolute favourites in my garden right now. It's a gorgeous plant. This one, honestly, promise me at home, if you haven't got this in your beds and borders, then order some today, because what this does, these can actually grow to 5-6 foot. They have this lovely kind of willowy form to them. They get covered in big, almost like purple pom-poms of tiny flowers. I mean, on that one there must be, 50, 100 little individual flowers. The pollinators love these, but these never take over. Now that border last year, and it's even better this year, actually. It looked so harsh before. It was because it just looked, you imagine, take those verbena away from that, and it is a very, very different border. But they are brilliant at complementing other plants, filling in gaps, giving you that height dimension. I left my dead flower heads on over the winter, and they have self-seeded beautifully. So if you want that one, totally recommend it. £4.99, 560 169. So I just love Verbena bonariensis. Then we brought you the buddleia. often known as the butterfly bush. It's a magnet for butterflies. Again, so important to get the bees and butterflies in our garden. But this one is compact. It will only go to about 80 by 80 centimetres. It's a gorgeous kind of ruby red colour. Very easy to grow, just needs a sunny spot. Just needs well-drained soil. It flowers on the new growth, so prune it right back at the end of February, March, and it grows really quite fast as well. And you get all of those stunning flowers. Normally flowers about July, August time on a buddleia, but just love that variety. Now, we've also got, I think, the best price we've ever done on the Euphorbia. Actually, yes, Stu, who's in charge of our technical team, who just said, would you get a glass of Merlot in my pub? Because me and my half got a pub, as some of you'll know. Would you get a glass of Merlot for $4.99? Not a decent size one, no. You really wouldn't. But this is going to give you, I was going to say, far more pleasure than a glass of Merlot. I don't know. But it will give you pleasure for longer, because these are evergreen. They're clump forming. This is from Bex's garden in flower, and you do get these amazing yellow flowers on the Miner's Merlot. They are extraordinary, actually. That contrast really, really works for me. Low maintenance, evergreen, winter hardy. They do form clumps, grow to about 60 by 60 centimetres. So really, really nice. And I will be honest, I think Euphorbias look really good grouped together. So you might even want to go for 3 of those. Grouped together, they would look absolutely amazing, but they're only $4.99 half price today. Then we've got our Psychocarpus. The popular name for this is Lady in Red. So, did I say Psycho? Yeah, it's not crazy. It's not like me. Physocarpus. Oh dear. I love it. I love it, the fact that we're live, don't you? But this is a gorgeous, gorgeous flowering shrub in your garden. It goes to about 1.5 by 1.5 metres. For me, it's all about the foliage. Having said that, when you get the flowers, a little bit remind me of like apple blossom, they look absolutely beautiful against that foliage. A nice, easy one to grow. And great for most types of gardens and soil types as well. And that is 5 to 1, 565. And then the Tulbargia is next. Now, this is one that I haven't grown. It's a new one to me. It is a perennial, but we class it as a tender perennial, so it may need some added winter protection. But I think it's adorable. It's really dainty. It's really cute. You've got these beautiful, very delicate star-shaped flowers. I think if you want a bit more of a natural garden, if you're going for that kind of country cottage garden, slightly less formal, it would look fantastic. And the leaves then remind me a bit of chives as well. It's absolutely beautiful, and only £4.99. So all of those perennials under £5 today. And don't forget, if you manage to get your order to over £40, then you will get free delivery as well. If your order is under £40, the maximum you pay is $6.99 per order. So that's my under £5 table. Bex, and you will get your free gift, by the way, as well. And that free gift, we say, is worth $9.99. It's the Nautica Macedonica. The reason why we're smiling, we kept saying Macedonia last week, but no, it's a type of scabious in this lovely kind of mauve colour, another perennial that is free with every single order. But over to Bex, who's got a buy one,
get one free! Yeah, I've got the whole table here, which is buy one, get one free. I've got 4 different types of fern. I've got a beautiful Rudbeckia at the end there as well. There's also a hosta as well, which is on a buy one, get one free if you want that as well. I've got your pictures. John, you've sent me some from Cornwall. Elaine, we've got some pictures from you. Olwyn, we've got some pictures from you as well. We will come to those. But let's first of all do the ferns, shall we? We've got the copper shield fern to start off with on this end over here. Now, copper shield fern, because what you get are some absolutely glorious copper colours as the plants grow and mature. So you can see on that one there, look, you can see where those tones of coppers and pinks and things are going to start coming in on this fern. So it's not just about green foliage, you are going to get some of those lovely colours happening on there as well. And so beautiful, beautiful fern for you. Hey, your camera's not working, Stu. He's coming. There it is, look. Look at the colours. And as this matures and grows, you are going to get even more of those beautiful colours on there. I love the way they unfurl as well. Can you see that one there? It's just sort of starting to unfurl. Absolutely beautiful. Now, this one's a slightly larger one. It can get to about 3 feet, so about 90 centimetres by 90 centimetres. So this is the kind of one that you're going to have at the back of a border. Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit on that one as well. Semi-evergreen, so it might keep its foliage or it might drop it depending on where you've got it. Some of these semi-evergreen ones, if you keep them in a nice sheltered area, then they will keep their leaves. Beautiful low maintenance plant now, absolutely perfect for those shady spots in your garden. Buy one, get one free. So put one in your basket. Use the code YGTV3024. We will put another one into your basket for you, and you'll get that free gift included as well. The next one is the Fortunes fern. I've actually got this one in my garden. I definitely want more of them. They look amazing. It's only £9.99 on a buy one, get one free. You are looking, I mean, we're quite crowded in here because they're all 2 litre pots, but yeah, that is what you will receive. Put one in your basket, enter the code, you'll get another one. Love the foliage on there. It looks brilliant en masse. It looks brilliant planted in with all of the other ferns that, I mean, a lot of people are buying all of these ferns, and I definitely recommend that. It's only £8.99 in the club, so it's £4.50 each when you break this down to the buy one, get one free. Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. Absolutely perfect for those shady spots, but can probably cope with a bit of sunshine as well. So you don't need to be too worried about where you're planting them. Just make sure that they're well watered, particularly if you are keeping them in pots. They're great in pots. Honestly, they make really beautiful features in pots as well. Gardeners of all abilities. That is what we're talking about with ferns. Then we've got the Painted Lady fern. So this is another one that's got that Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, but this one is going to be, it's not going to be evergreen, this one. So this is the colour that is going to appear on this plant as it matures and grows. When you look into there, actually this one's probably a better one. Can you see on that frond there? Can you see the kind of colours that are starting to appear on that frond? Now that's where you're going to get these gorgeous colours appearing. You get silvers, you get purples, you get greys coming through on there. And that is what's going to happen with this plant as it matures and as it grows. Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit as well. Super easy to grow. As I said, it is going to be deciduous though, but totally worth it for that one. Slightly lower growing, about 40 centimetres height, but will spread. This is about ground cover. So it'll spread by a good 3, maybe even 4 feet on that one. And then we've got the probably most compact of them all, and that is the hairy lip fern. So this one's only going to get to about 1 foot high and 1 foot spread. So this is going to be at the front of the borders. It's a true problem solver, and the same with all of the other ferns. Ground cover, put these into those gaps, make sure that those weeds don't grow through. This one is an evergreen one, so this one is going to look absolutely fantastic all year round. Front of the border, as I say, with this one. Do consider, if your budget will allow, going for all of these ferns, because en masse, they look amazing. And when you get loads of different varieties all planted together, that's where you get the really gorgeous kind of contrast and the different shades with the coppers and the silvers of the Painted Lady, and then the difference in the foliage of the Fortunes fern, and then you've got your hairy lip fern over here as well. Fantastic name. So all buy one, get one free. Put one in your basket, enter the code YGTV3024, and we will put the other one in your basket along with your free gift as well. If you go to YouGarden.com, that's where you can go to see our entire show. Click on the bit where it says live now. It'll take you through to the show where you can actually watch us on the website. Watching us already, but if you scroll down, that will also take you to our show selection, and that's all the plants we've got in the potting shed right now. But you can also shop the entire website. We've got thousands of products. There's the live now, so if you click in there and scroll down, that's where you'll find all of the plants we've selected for the show. But can you see all the bits at the top in the sort of dark grey bit where it says bulbs, flowers and plants, roses, trees and shrubs? You can go in there and shop the entire website. Just make sure you always use our code YGTV3024. It might unlock a secret deal that we didn't know anything about, but it will also put in that free gift that we've got for you today. The final item that I've got on the buy one get one free table, apparently you've gone crazy for this and I'm not surprised. It's a fantastic plant. This is the one that you want in your garden for those gorgeous bright yellow flowers, inviting those pollinators in. Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's so reliable, it's so easy, it will form clumps that you can divide as well, but it's also going to give you some gorgeous late flowers. So mine is just budding up right now. Elaine sent us a picture. A couple of flowers just opening. This will keep going right the way through to the end of summer and into early autumn. It's one of those gorgeous transitional plants, really keeping the summer alive.
Yeah, I was just thinking, Bex, that's a really wise choice.
It is.
It offers so much, and you know, the flowers are amazing, but you get all the pollinators. The colour of that, I think, is so vibrant as well. And if you can afford, you get a free one anyway, but if you might even want to go for 4 of those, 6 of them, because en masse, they look absolutely amazing.
They do, and I love it paired with my sort of purples. So I've
Yes.
got Verbena bonariensis behind it, I've got Bowles Mauve next to it, I've got a GM over to that side. It looks wonderful in a mixed border.
I'm with you there. I think oranges and yellows are great with purples.
They do, they look fantastic.
You might want to put a bit of white in there as well.
So
right,
go for 2 then.
just quickly, we just could not resist showing you our citrus collection next, because we both went on the nursery recently, saw these. The quality of them for the size that you're getting and the price is absolutely amazing. I mean, I was in a big garden centre last week. I didn't buy anything. No, well, I bought. I actually had a cheese and tuna panini.
Nice, yeah, lovely.
And a latte, but I didn't buy any plants. But I did see their citrus trees, and one of these in that nursery, very similar size and look, was $49.99 for one. Yeah. So what we're going to give you is an orange and a lemon tree and the citrus fruit. These are quite greedy, for £44.99. The club discount price is just over £40, and that's for both of these. You get an orange, you get a lemon, and you get the citrus feed. And I've got a couple of citrus trees. I've got them outside right now on my patio, and they're loving it there, and they've just burst into blossom right now. But I can honestly say they are just the most beautiful, beautiful trees to have in your home. And what we always say is put them outside in the summer. So right now they want to be outside, then enjoy all of this sunshine and the rain, everything like that, but you will need to bring them inside in the winter months. And you want a nice bright room, but you don't want them near the central heating.
No, so fantastic. In my conservatory would be perfect. It's not a heated one. Perfect. It'd be absolutely perfect in the conservatory. That feed, by the way, I was just reading, that is 150 grams, but that will make 75 litres worth of feed.
Wow.
So that's going to, if you're just talking about feeding these 2 trees, that's going to last you a long time.
They are the most beautiful. When you actually see oranges and lemons growing on these trees.
Oranges and lemons.
And
sorry.
These should. It's hard to say, but mine are getting sort of like blossom right now. I mean, they do sometimes blossom throughout the year, but normally it's kind of springtime. But they may still get blossom this year. But it takes about a year for the blossom to turn into a full-size lemon or a full-size orange.
Absolutely, yeah. So you can have blossom and fruit on the tree at the same time. They are relatively easy to look after, as you said. Just bring them indoors if you can. Do bring them indoors over the winter time. Massively reduce down the watering over winter, though, please, because that is the biggest problem that we find with fruit trees, with citrus in general, is that they get overwatered over winter.
But sorry, I'm just looking at these. So club members, you're going to pay just over £40. You'll get free delivery as well if you use that code.
Lovely.
So basically, for club members, a pair of those for just over £40, free gift as well, and free delivery, which is incredible. But do you want to see these on the nursery?
Yes, please. Oh no, it's not. It's break BT.
Oh, I thought you'd filled them on the nursery.
No. We both got that wrong.
I knew it wasn't me. Right, let's try that.
We both got that wrong.
Let's try that again. If you'd like to see this on the nursery, hopefully in a few weeks we'll show you.
Yeah, for sure. We might go out and filming this week, maybe.
That'd be great, wouldn't it?
Yeah, no, nice weather.
They do look great on our nursery. But would you like to meet our head gardener?
Yes, please.
There, correct answer. Here's Peter McDermott with a few little things to say about some of the plants and products that we have here at YouGarden.
Did you know we have a discount club? And actually, since we've launched it over the years, tens and tens of thousands of people have actually become members. And when you become a member, what do you get? Well, first of all, you get a discount. all of the plants you buy, you get 10% discount, and that's on top of any other discounts you may have. Additionally, you also get 4 vouchers that are each worth £5 when you place an order. So you can place 4 orders over the course of the year and redeem one of those £5 vouchers each time. And even when you think about those expensive capital items such as lawnmowers, garden machinery generally, etc., you get 5% off those items as well, just by being a member. The best way to join our discount club is to pay £5 per year on auto renewal, which means that at the end of your year, you don't need to take any action. We will automatically just renew your membership. The great thing about that is if you join today and you pay the £5, we guarantee we will never put your price up. So in 5 years' time, in 10 years' time, if you're still a member, still enjoying all of those benefits, you will pay no more than the £5 per annum that you sign up to on day one. One of the things I really love about our membership club is you can start using it the day you join. So if you're placing an order today, you literally can join today and get the discount off of that same order the very day you join. This is a great way for you to really buy products for your garden at the best possible prices, and we'll deliver them to you nursery fresh at exactly the right time.
Hi, I'm Stuart from YouGarden TV, and if you've got a smart television and you're not doing it already, you can probably watch our live shows on YouTube. There's a few ways of doing it. Let me show you how. So, if your TV is a smart TV, it'll have applications like iPlayer, like ITVX, and even if you've never used it before, you can use YouTube. All you have to do is open it up and search for YouGarden. So if you search YouTube using this magnifying glass here and type in YouGarden, it'll take us straight to the YouGarden channel. What you want to look for is that circle. Select that and we'll go straight to the YouGarden channel. And then if we're live, it's the first thing you'll see. Select on that and we're watching YouGarden TV. And if you're familiar with technology, you're slightly more advanced, you may even be able to send your picture straight from your smartphone to your TV. Once we've found the show on our smartphone, all we have to do is tap on the screen and look for that little symbol there. And that will show me if there's a television in my house that I can watch the programme on. Press on that TV and it'll broadcast it straight to my set. And the picture will appear on your big TV. Now, if this is all still a little confusing, or if you're not even sure if your TV can do this, just email us, ygtv@yougarden.com, and we'll do what we can to help you out. Thanks for watching.
For years, we have perfected the compost we use on the nursery. I mean, I've literally been in, I started my life in the horticultural industry when I was 15. Or just about 15, 14 and a bit. And I went to horticultural college. I lived and worked on my family nursery, so I've grown things for a living. Now I run this company, and we actually have a separate nursery to this nursery where we produce hundreds of thousands of plants a year. And that would be roses, it would be fruit trees, it would be perennial plants, lavender, you name it. We're growing those sorts of things in big volumes. This year alone, we'll grow somewhere close to 200,000 potted roses ourselves. And the compost we use is this. And the reason that we would use this compost is because in our experience it's the best. It gives the best results, it gives consistent results, and it does that because the makeup of the product. So you've got a peat including peat compost here, so 50% by volume of what's in my hand is peat. And you'd look at it and say, well, that looks just like all of it is, but it really isn't. 50% is, but the rest isn't. Of the peat that's in there, you've got a blend of sphagnum moss peat and sedge peat. So the sphagnum moss peat is light and airy and has lots of tubes within it. So sphagnum has got little tubes going down the middle of the strands, and that gives an air-water porosity ratio that plants find perfect. Because plants don't just need water, they need air and water, and for that to be in the right proportions. The sedge peat actually does the opposite. The sedge peat retains moisture, so it actually is a bit heavier, a bit claggier, so it will hold moisture. Then you've got the wood fibre. in it. Now you can see the strands of wood fibre, they're very short. And in fact, you can see the slow release fertiliser popping out. Oh, there we are, look, she's got it. There we are, Bex has got it. Loads of, now we put that in because it feeds the plants from the moment you plant them in there. And we make our compost fresh. So the reason we make it fresh, so when you get it, the nutrients that are in it have not yet started to deploy. So you can actually expect to get anywhere between 3 and 6 months of nutrients gradually drip feeding from that slow release fertiliser into the compost and feeding your plants via the roots. All of these things are considered carefully by us from a professional perspective, and we know that this gives great results. Now, we are trialling and testing other composts alongside this on a regular basis, and I can absolutely assure you that this year again, this spring again, we've done multiple trials. This compost is the winner. It's the winner for roses, it's the winner for fruit trees, it's the winner for lavender, it's the winner for, you know, all of the perennials we grow, from thousands and thousands of hydrangeas that we grow each year. Magical Matterhorn, if you bought that potted, or Magical Candle, if you bought that potted, that was grown on our nursery and is in this compost. So our confidence is high. You can use this product with confidence, and I can tell you it's the only compost I use at home. It really is.
That's our head gardener, Peter McDermott.
Hi, Peter, if you're watching.
Hello, Peter. We like Peter, don't we?
We love Peter.
Yes.
Peter's one of our favourite people.
Totally. I mean, he's great. No, jokes about, he's so knowledgeable. He really is.
He's very funny as well.
And he's very funny.
He cracks me up, honestly.
But he's actually just so passionate about the nursery,
yeah,
and all the plants. But if you have just joined us, a very, very good afternoon. Welcome to YouGarden TV with myself, Shaun, the lovely Bex Edwards. Gorgeous plants, great deals. Just to recap, we've got buy one get one frees. We've got plants under £5.
Absolutely, everybody gets a free gift,
which is
Nortia Macedonica Melton pastels.
Well said, Bex.
Which is just, it's a type of scabiosa. It is absolutely beautiful, really reliable perennial, comes back year after year.
Really
it's fabulous,
pretty,
yeah.
If you wonder what it looks like that. So one of those free with every single order
and they're
today.
worth £9.99. Normally we would be selling those for £9.99, but absolutely free as long as you use the code YGTV3024. If you enter that in to the offer code section when you place your order, then you will get one free in your basket.
Yeah, you really will. And all of the promotions that are running will be activated. So that offer code is like the magic key. It unlocks all of the different offers available. And if you do spend over £40, you'll also get free delivery. If it's under £40, we cap the delivery charge at $6.99 per order. But we're going to move on now to the Callistemon. I know this is the bottle brush plants.
Yeah, do you know, the fresh growth on that is so soft. The kind of new growth that comes through, and you can see it's got this lovely sort of fuzzy bit to it. It's really soft, like bunny's tail soft. It's so gorgeous.
So we saw these in kind of May time. They were in full flower then. They will have been trimmed, I'm going to suggest, since then.
Yeah, and you're getting that lovely new growth coming through. And so soft.
That's what they look like in flower. Now, with this new growth, these look likely to be flowering again soon, I would have hoped.
Yeah, you definitely would have thought so, absolutely. Dramatic crimson red flowers, look like the bottle brushes, which is why obviously it's known as the bottle brush plant. Super easy to look after, requires a little bit maybe of winter protection though, right?
Yeah, we see about hardly to about -4. They just don't. They want to be in a warm, sheltered spot. They would hate to be in a cold, windy setting. They don't want to ever be waterlogged, so they want nice, free draining soil or compost. But honestly, if you look after these, they will flower for many, many years, if not decades, and the pollinators love them. But even when they're not in flower, they're actually really attractive, aren't they?
Yeah, super attractive foliage on there. They are evergreen as well, so they will keep that foliage all year round. But very long-lived perennial. You know, you can get decades out of these with the right care.
And an interesting fact that they often like to share with you, these actually are native to Australia, and actually when there's ever a bushfire in Australia, and sadly everything obviously gets very badly damaged and burnt, these are one of the first plants to grow back.
Yeah.
Which is really interesting. And the reason being, I think it's the excess heat just opens up the seed pods, which can stay on there for quite a few years, and they're some of the first to germinate and grow back, which is lovely, isn't it?
It's a great fact. I love it, yeah.
But They're very unusual when you see these flowers, and the flowers to me look like they'll be spiky, but they're not. They're really soft.
Really, really soft, very dramatic. When you see it in full bloom, it is absolutely incredible, isn't it? I mean, it's got the Royal Horticultural Society badge of perfect for pollinators as well, which, I mean, you can see why, can't you? The pollinators are going to be attracted to that colour and everything to do with that plant. But the fact that they're evergreen and the fact that they're standards, I think, is what I love about them.
Yeah, and they're actually really big, so you've already got really well established callistemons. When we say standard, for those that are wondering, it's when you've got this lovely kind of lollipop shape. So often the plant will either have been trained to grow like this, or the top would have been grafted on a different rootstock.
Excuse me,
but
sorry.
It gives you that lovely lollipop shape. These are really, really well established. Really well established.
Really well established.
And these are trained.
These are trained.
Yes.
You can see there's no graft point on here. So these have been trained to grow like this, and that is not a simple process.
No.
That's taken years,
And
basically, from when it's a baby, in order to create this one stem here, and then this beautiful lollipop effect up at the top.
I've done it. I've created a few standards myself in my time, only with fuchsias. But it is an arduous process.
Yeah, it is. You've got to be on it every year, constantly pruning, trimming.
And then eventually you get this lovely shape. Now, if you use our offer code YGTV 3024, you will get this amazing deal. The club discount price is $49.49 for a pair, and you'll get free delivery, don't forget, as well, when you use that offer code. But they are beautiful. And again, we were talking earlier, if you want to create that kind of Mediterranean garden, remember, Bex cannot afford to go abroad this year. Do not forget that. She's fine about it, obviously, Bex.
I'm fine. Maybe next year.
You are going away, though, aren't you?
We are going away. We're having a little break, and we've had some days out and stuff. I just want to sit on a beach in the sunshine. Be guaranteed. Anyway.
Well, actually, where I live in Rutland, there is a man-made beach there.
Yes, but you're just not guaranteed of weather, are you?
You are this week. Down the beach in Rutland.
Off we go.
I'm taking my mum to Scarborough in a few weeks.
Nice.
I am.
Sunny Scarborough.
Yeah.
Why not?
Fish and chips on the beach.
Love it.
Wait. But these do give you that sense of the Mediterranean. They really, really do. They're absolutely glorious. And you will get the pair for under £50 for club members. Actually, do you know what? If you're not a club member, you save an instant £5 on these today. You might as well join the club right now.
Totally.
The club membership is a £5 for the year on auto renewal, and you'd save £5 instantly.
Yeah, and then for the rest of the 12 months that you're a member for, you will save 10% on every single order that you make.
Right, we're going to talk pots, aren't we?
We are. So the callistemon come to you in these pots, but we have paired them with our olive green planters, because it gives it that lovely look, doesn't it? Definitely give you that sort of Tuscan holiday vibe. But this is a fantastic deal because it's a double up on the olive green planters. They're normally $19.99 for one. There is a price tag on the bottom there that says $19.99. But actually, it's a buy one, get one free, basically. It's a double up deal. If you put two in your basket and enter the code YGTV3024, it'll be $19.99.
That's really good. And in reality, when these are potted in here, they'll be about that height.
Yeah.
By the way, when you are putting a plant like this in there, don't put the compost right up to the actual rim of the pot, because then every time you water, it
just comes over the edge.
So about an inch lower than the actual rim. But they are going to look amazing like that, aren't they?
They look absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
They do have a drainage hole in the bottom. I'm going to recommend you might want to put a few extra drainage holes in the bottom of there. Really, really simple to do. They look $19.99. That's the price tag. But super easy to put extra holes into plastic pots. You just take your drill and drill some holes in the bottom there. I would be nervous doing it in a ceramic glazed pot. Because one crack and that's it, that's the pot gone.
Yeah, I've done it.
Super easy in plastic pots though. So yeah, do put some extra drainage holes in there, but the look of
if
that,
you're not
the
good with the
finish is
driller, you
beautiful.
don't have one, just put some gravel in the bottom as well, because they do like it well drained. They don't want to be waterlogged. They hate to have like cold, wet roots. But they are absolutely stunning. But those planters, as Bex was saying, if you double up, they work out less than £10 each. If you're in the club, they work out about £9 each. Right, there is something that we really need to draw your attention to right now in terms of planters. If you're looking for absolute value, these are our Helix planters. And again, the callistemon would look fabulous in there. I mean, I'll be honest, I'd probably want to underplant them with something or put some gravel
Oh,
around.
I like that.
I like that.
That looks really nice.
See, I think the terracotta look looks even more Mediterranean. Now, we are doing an amazing multi-buy deal. One for $14.99. Great price. However, if you put 4 in your basket, you are going to get an offer. And these are on clearance, aren't they?
They are.
You're going to get 4 for $24.99. So they work out £6.25 each.
So if you want
That's
one,
amazing.
$14.99 is absolutely amazing. Do not buy 2 or 3 of these though, because 2 would be 30 quid, 3 would be 45, 4 is 25, $24.99. So look, we can see that we haven't entered the code yet. There's no free gift included in there. There's no free plants in there. So what we need to do is enter that code in the offer code box, YGTV3024, press apply code.
Wow.
Oh, this is where the magic happens. So we've got $19.99 for the 2 olive planters, yeah, so they break down to £10 each. We've got our free gift included, we've got a free Rudbeckia, and we've got a free painted lady fern, but that pot deal is what we need to look at.
Yeah, so at the moment, 1, right, as Beck said, if you put 2 in,
Nearly 30 quid.
no, we don't want that. 3,
Nearly
no, we don't want
45.
that.
No.
Watch this.
Oh! I
That is-
love that. And look at the savings. We can save a further £12 and 10 pence by joining the club here. So £5 to join, you're still saving an extra £7 on this first order.
I mean, that is a huge basket. When you
Look at
break that down,
68 quid for all of that and
I know.
saving over £100. That's incredible.
and that's an amazing collection of plants and
Yeah, I love
pots,
that.
isn't it? Really, really good. So, you know, Bex and I, we always try to save you as much money as possible. You know, every penny counts, and you know, we're all on budgets. And with gardening, you want to buy as much as you can, don't you? You want to make your money stretch as far as possible. But honestly, those pots, the Helix, they are on clearance. So when they're gone, they are gone. We also have a sign for clearance, shouldn't we?
Yes.
Yeah. Bex is good at making signs. She made that last week, don't forget. That was like, it was, it's good. Right, so those are Helix. In our opinion, that is one of the best offers. It is one of the best offers we've ever done with pots. And I love you've got that aged kind of chalky terracotta look to them. Again, lightweight, UV resistant.
Loads of drainage holes.
Yes. You don't need any extra ones there. You've got 8 on the channels.
Reinforcement around the rim.
They are really good. And actually, these are big enough for things like tomatoes. And your fruit. Yeah, I'm not being funny, but they're a similar size to our heavy-duty 30-litre pots. Can you reach that one, Bex?
Yeah, of course.
So these are the ones we normally recommend for kind of commercial planting.
Actually, they are incredibly similar size.
Yeah.
Look.
So these are about 25 litres. They're 30.
And that's about 30 litres. It's not much difference at all.
So what I would say is, if you're somebody that wants to grow fruit and veg, but you want it to look attractive, because the 30-litre pots, they're not designed for their aesthetics. So these are brilliant. I can honestly say tomatoes, raspberries, mini fruit trees would be very happy in there for a number of years.
I was just looking at it. I mean, any one of the ferns would grow nicely in there. The standards would... The Physocarpus would look amazing in here. You could grow the baby buddleia in here as well. The Miner's Merlot could go in here. These beautiful things could go in here as well.
Washingtonias.
The standard bays could go in there. I mean, honestly, there's so many plants that we've got that would work so well in these.
Yeah, but you do need to grab them today. We've got lots of you shopping with us live this Sunday. But if you do want those, they are on a clearance offer. Buy 4 and get them for $24.99. Work out at $6.25 each. We're live until 2 o'clock, by the way, aren't we?
Still got an hour and a half left.
Yes, and we
Lovely.
want to hear from you. So don't forget, you can message us, you can email us, ygtv@yougarden.com. You can chat on Facebook and YouTube as well. Right, we need to also remind you, another really popular item today has been the bowls mauve. And we've both got this in our gardens. And you know, I remember when we were told that it was going to flower for 9-10 months of the year. It sounds a bit too good to be true.
Yeah, I'm not sure I believed it at the time.
No, I was like, oh, really?
Yeah, whatever.
But it does.
It does, genuinely.
Yeah.
And we're not just talking a few flowers, we are talking lots of flowers for that period of time. It starts nice and early. It definitely starts around February, March time. It has loads of flowers all the way through, right the way through to sort of October and into November. Mine still had flowers on it in December and January as well. Just a couple, but there were flowers every single month of the year. It's fantastic. No maintenance, just a little bit of deadheading.
Yeah.
And it really rewards.
If you're, and I use the word lazy gardener, that's not right. If you're a smart gardener.
Smart gardener, for sure.
It's really smart to have something that will just flower its socks off for 8, 9, even 10 months of the year, even more potentially. is just a win-win for any gardener. And I love the colour of these. I love the fact that they're evergreen. I love the fact that they are low maintenance, but they just keep flowering. And I don't really know any other plant in my garden that's flowers as long as these.
No.
And it's so easy to grow.
Really, yeah, really easy.
I put this alongside geranium Roseanne, but they die down in the winter. So your hardy geraniums flower for several months, but they all die down. They don't do anything in the winter. What else flowers as long as these?
I really don't know. I don't think there is anything that flowers for that long.
No.
I don't know, maybe there is, but this one is definitely valuable for every single garden.
I don't know anything that flowers quite as long as this. And it's a lovely colour. Today's offer, by the way, you get 3 9cm pots, so exactly what you're seeing right now, for £9.99, £8.99 for club members. What was that?
Stu was saying something about the colour of the pots. If you get a grey pot or a black pot, those are the ones that you can reuse, or you can take to the recycling centre. These ones, the new beige ones, oh, you can recycle in your recycling bin.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either.
Great.
That's fabulous.
Yeah. So the new beige pots can go in your recycling bin.
Brilliant.
Great.
I didn't know that.
Mind you.
Why didn't I know that?
But do you know what? I'm going to be honest. I never throw a pot away.
No, I don't either. I've got stacks of them.
No. Honestly,
stacks and stacks of pots.
I never throw a pot away. I just can't do it unless it's broken. Yeah, I just store mine in my greenhouse. I can always find a plant for a pot.
Totally.
I can always find some seeds to grow and put in a pot. I've grown some plug plants. But
it's like Jenga, though, isn't it? When you're trying to stack them all up.
Yeah, and then now and again you have to tidy everything up, don't you? But really busy for those. They are the a gorgeous bold mauve there, type of wallflower, but perennial, and they flower and flower and flower for many, many months of the year. The Ericium bold mauve 560069. Right, it's getting hot here, Bex.
It is. It's starting to warm up. It's definitely got to midday. I'm starting to feel it get a bit warmer in here.
Yeah, but let's not complain about the weather.
No, I'm not complaining.
No, it was too hot.
It's lovely.
Now, don't forget also the eucalyptus. This is the Gunnii azura. It's a beautiful eucalyptus. If you love eucalyptus but feel you don't have the space, this particular breed and variety is the one to go for. Now, it makes a gorgeous cut foliage display, so don't forget that. But this will only grow 3-4 metres, maybe at a push 5 metres. But if you grow it in a pot, it will be even more compact. It will never grow to those huge eucalyptus trees that you get that become a bit of a nuisance. It has been bred to be compact. Even the leaves, the foliage is slightly smaller. And it's also bred to be super, super hardy, pretty much in any part of the UK. Hardy to -20. It's a lovely eucalyptus, great in containers, beautiful foliage all year around. 510 161. Then we were talking about getting more colour in your garden. This is an absolute winner. It's a lilac, it's this ringer, and it's called Bloomerang because it's a bit like a boomerang, Bex, isn't it?
Yeah, it comes back, so it'll give you that amazing first bloom. When lilacs normally bloom around May time, you'll get of flowers throughout the summer, and then you'll get a second crescendo in sort of early autumn, sort of September, October time. It's a fantastic one, and of course you get that gorgeous fragrance.
Yeah, and then we also brought you a Divine. Oh, by the way, you're loving the Bowls Mauve. Absolutely loving that. But we brought you a Divine collection of hibiscus. Now, these are very special. They are fully winter hardy in the UK. They are really compact in the way they grow. In fact, Bex was saying earlier, they grow into a natural goblet shape, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, and it's the chiffon collection, so you get the double flowers here, and they are winter hardy. Winter hardy down to about -10. There are other hibiscus out there. They are not winter hardy. They need that extra protection, but not these.
No, and they, again, we're talking about buying plants that flower for longer. Choice of a single or a double hibiscus, you would probably always want to go for the double because it's just a bit more beautiful. It's a bit more petalicious.
More petalicious,
yes.
And 3 beautiful colours in that collection for you as well.
Don't forget, they are deciduous, they'll lose the leaves in winter. They're a bit slow coming back into leaf, do not panic. But I promise you, they are one of the best late summer flowering plants that you can have in your garden. They are absolutely amazing. I've got those, my mum's got them, and they are superb. Now, we love it when you're part of the show, getting lots of people chatting and messaging us and emailing us. Some of you are on fire with your garden.
Yes, you are. Elaine, I'm so pleased it's happened. The flame lily is here.
Yes! Your garden is on
Look
fire.
at
That was worth waiting for, wasn't it?
I love it so much. I'm sure somebody sent a picture of a flame lily earlier that I haven't shown, so I might have to scroll back and have a little look.
Elaine, I remember you buying that. We both remember you buying that.
Yeah.
And I know you're a bit worried. Is it going to flower? Is it going to grow?
It's amazing.
I saw those at Chelsea. There was a display of those at Chelsea.
Was
The
there?
yeah. And they are just they're out of this world, aren't
They're
they?
beautiful, honestly. Here it is. Dingo.
Morning, no, so
I've
afternoon,
scrolled
Dingo.
back. Hang on. Dingo said, morning, Bex and Shaun. Bex, look, my fire lily has taken off, just waiting for it to flower, and my lobelia is coming on, and Japanese muck orange gone mad. Cheers, Dingo. So there we have. Is that the flame lily there? That tall one. It does look like it, doesn't it?
I mean, I've not grown it this year, Bex, so...
It certainly looks like it. I love that, though. Look at that bar. How cool is that?
yeah.
Love that.
Really? Oh, that is such a lovely corner of the garden, isn't it?
And then his other picture. Oh, yes. Lobelia is looking amazing. Look at that.
Now, I've got to say, that's, for me, that lobelia, the Queen Victoria Speciosa, isn't it, is absolutely stunning. And I think what you're showing there, that bronze foliage with the red, looks incredible.
I saw a planting display of somebody who got the pampas grass, actually, with loads of the lobelia around in front of it, and it looked really good. Not a combination I would have instantly thought of, but having seen it, it looks amazing together.
Just remember that one, it's hardy to about -5 in the winter, so just bear that in mind.
Right, Olwyn. Photos from Olwyn. Let's see what Olwyn's sending us. Oh, those look very cute. Look at those. Little geraniums in there.
With a bit of fuchsia.
With a bit of fuchsia.
I really love that combination.
Yeah, that looks really pretty, doesn't it?
And
Those blue planters are pretty.
I love the zonal geraniums. I think the foliage there looks so good.
The fragrance you get from them are absolutely incredible as well. I just walked out my door the other day, didn't even touch the plants, and the fragrance, so pretty. Julia, morning, Bex and Shaun. A few pictures of how my plants...
Should say afternoon now, so it took a while to get back to Julia.
Sorry, Julia. Yeah. The busy lizzies have grown in a week. Ooh, Verbena bonariensis, first of all.
Yes. I will always support the
lovely
Verbena.
hydrangea behind as well.
I was thinking, although we've had, we know we've not had the best summer, but many plants have loved it, haven't they?
They really have.
Yeah,
They've liked all the sort of wet weather, and now we're coming into the sunshine.
I remember 2 years ago we had that glorious summer. It was 40 degrees, but loads of plants got wrecked. They got scorched. We couldn't keep up with the watering, so every cloud certainly has a silver lining.
More from Julia. We've got some gorgeous fuchsias going on here. These look like mallows at the front, don't they? Some erigeron, maybe. Looking really... What's that pink one at the front there? That's what I was thinking. Looks like a mallow of some kind. Fuchsias are looking beautiful, though.
I can't see the foliage.
I know, me neither.
No.
That looks lovely.
I can see the delphinium at the back there. You've got
I think my delphiniums got
sea of blossom there, the Mexican flea bane.
My delphiniums didn't come up this year. I think it was the snails.
Do you know
the snails
what?
had them.
Yeah, my mum's have been bad this year. Oh.
Yeah, that's pretty. It's Busy Lizzies, look at those. It's a bit blurry, the picture, but it is really pretty.
Busy Lizzies, I think I've had a good run this year.
Yeah, really
Yeah, my mum's are again amazing.
I think it's a blurry picture, Stu, not that it's not loading. We've got lots of pictures here. Oh, this one's a better one.
Yeah, that's better. Thank you,
Julia.
There you
go. That one's a bit more in focus. Look at that colour display, though, from Busy Lizzies.
That's really amazing.
It's really pretty.
I can't quite work out what the growing up are on, can you?
No,
but I love the tiering there and the height. Great.
Right, going back to Olwyn. Olwyn sent some more pictures. Oh, she sent the same... Oh, no, these are different pictures. Begonia apricot shades there.
And again, we were saying those of you that did buy the begonia apricot shades from any of the begonias, they've done phenomenally well, haven't they?
Yeah,
they just
really
don't mind
good.
the wet.
Look at that fuchsia.
Yeah.
Look, they're so pretty.
And I'll be honest, I don't know about you at home, but my fuchsias were a little bit late coming into flower, but it's been worth the wait. And I got the American jumbo ones, and they are just phenomenal. They're huge flowers.
What else have we got? Oh, those are more geraniums.
Yeah,
we've seen those ones.
The Fire Queen there.
More fuchsias. Hang on. What else we got? Same picture.
Yeah,
all right, I'm
more
going to go on to
Fire
Tony's one. Right, Tony, just a few pictures and a question. Hang on, we've had this one. Also, could you please advise me on how I know the pot is big enough for the plant. By the way, makes I think I'm beating you with pots. I have 120 and more to do. Tony, I don't know if you weren't watching earlier on, but we did do this earlier on, and we spoke about the pot. It very much depends on the on the plant that you're planting, but as a general rule, what we said was you never go too much bigger than the pot that it's already in. So if it's in a 20 centimetre pot now, you'd probably go no bigger than a 25 centimetre pot for the next one.
Yeah, maybe 30 at a push.
It's a general rule, but it depends really on the plant and what you're doing. So if you've got a specific plant, let us know and we'll see if we can advise you better. But generally, just go a little bit bigger than the pot it's already in.
I think the main thing to bear in mind is how vigorous, how fast-growing is the plant.
Yeah.
If it's something that grows really quickly, you can afford to put it in a far bigger pot initially. But if it's something slow-growing, or if it's something that likes its roots contained, like an agapanthus, you've got to be a bit careful. It does depend on the plant, but as Bex was saying, generally speaking, I mean, what the nurseries do, what we do here, something in a 1 litre pot would then be planted onto a 2 litre pot, and then be planted onto a 3 litre pot, and then maybe from a 3 to a 4 or a 5. So, but generally speaking, don't go too big too quick.
And we did show the picture of your hanging baskets against the fence earlier, but I do want to show this one because this is looking fantastic at the moment. The gorgeous Corydalis. I love that you've put it in a pot on its own. This is exactly what I've done with mine as well. You're still getting flowers on there. Mine has actually started flowering again, so I've got several of those gorgeous bright blue flowers on there. That is looking really pretty,
and
Tony.
It does look like a little bit of sensible strulch has been put on there to stop the slugs and snails.
Very good, well done. Let me see if there's any more, because Tony, you've put loads of pictures on here. Hold on.
By the way, thank you to everybody. Thank you for all your messages. Thank you for your emails. Don't forget, we are live today until 2 o'clock this Sunday on the 28th. Geraneum Roseanne.
It's a nice little planting combo.
Oh, no, it's not Roseanne. No,
I don't think
it
is,
it's not.
Is it?
No.
I don't know what variety it is, but I love the colour. And I love it with those. Is that...
Gerbera?
No, the Gerbera are there, but the foliage at the front, is it Dianthus?
Yeah, it looks like Dianthus.
Looks like Dianthus.
Don't know which one. Could be Baby Doris.
Very nice, though. Loads of strulch going on there, Tony. Well done. That's going to keep those slugs away.
Yeah,
all right, I think I've shown lots of pictures. Thank you so much for sending them in.
Now, bog off. No, when I say bog off, no, not you lovely viewers.
Stay here.
Stay here, but we've got a whole section now of buy one, get one free, which we nickname a bog off, but it's a buy one, get one free. So all of these plants from the Rudbeckia, the different types of ferns, the ferns have gone crazy today. Ferns are very on trend right now, and they're sensible gardening because slugs don't like them. They are not on the menu for slugs.
Nope.
They love, generally speaking, a moist environment, and they just do so much in terms of filling spaces, giving you interest, giving you architecture. And the prices today, because they're huge, are amazing. But we're going to start off with the Rudbeckia Goldstrum, which is a perennial that you've got in your garden, many of you have got in your garden. And it is a bit of a winner, isn't it?
Total winner, yeah, absolutely. It's a no maintenance plant at all, to be perfectly honest with you. I have done nothing to mine. I have just planted it and I've let it do its thing. Those beautiful bright yellow flowers and then that really dark, cone in the centre is just beautiful. You get those reflexed petals happening on there as well. It definitely is a winner. Bright yellow colours, but what happens is it's only just starting to bud right now. Elaine sent us her picture and there's couple of flowers just starting to open on hers. It's great because it comes into flower just that little bit later in the summertime, but it keeps going into early autumn as well.
And if your garden isn't looking its best right now, maybe a lot of things have died back. Maybe a lot of the other perennials have already done their thing. Definitely Rudbeckia is one to go for. And I often think, because we never know what the summer's going to be like, you really want, sometimes we get a great May, great June, great July, great August. You want your garden to look good throughout the summer for as long as possible. And I think these look great en masse. I mean, Adam Wilcott, one of our garden designers that works with us, he's done a massive border just with Rudbeckia.
Yeah.
The whole border. And it looks amazing, doesn't it? It
looks absolutely incredible, yeah. I've got mine planted and it's got a Verbena bonariensis behind it, and I've got my Bowles Mauve next to it. The purple and the yellows work really nicely together. It's got the award of garden merit. You get multiple flowers per plant. Elaine's picture, we counted, there was 20 flowers and buds on that one plant. You get loads of them.
And I love the way that the petals, they just kind of bend down, reflexed, isn't it?
Yeah.
So we call it reflexed. So I'm laughing.
Not droopy, like I called it.
But when they kind of reflex down, it just opens up that cone, and honestly, the pollinators, that is just like a massive landing pad for them. But they're beautiful, beautiful perennials. Come back every single year, and it is a buy one get one free today. Yours are very likely to arrive in bud and maybe flower.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we don't guarantee it, but these are picked from a nursery earlier this week, and you can see the buds coming. But they flower like July, August, so very likely to flower this year because they're already in 2 litre pots. Right, you've gone absolutely crazy for the ferns today. We've actually got 4 different varieties, all on a buy one get one free, and actually some people are buying all of them because ferns look great en masse. And the selection we've got for you, we've got everything from the front of the border right the way through the middle and then into the back as well.
Yeah, I totally recommend it. You know, if you've got those shady spots, you could go for 1 each of these and you will fill that gap. It's kind of what I want to do. I'm going to have a look at it and see if I can afford it. I can. It's a buy one get one free. £12.99 for your hairy lip fern. If you put 1 in your basket and enter the code YGTV 3024, we will put another one in your basket. This one is front of border. This one's the more compact. This is about 1 foot by 1 foot. So I'm going to put this at the front of the border. Actually, it's great as ground cover as well. It's great at suppressing any weeds, isn't it? Because if you put these into your borders where there's a gap, you'll stop those weeds from growing through.
And most ferns like a really kind of damp spot. Most ferns love shade. This is the odd one that loves sun, but these are actually fine in sun or shade. But this one doesn't mind it dry either, does it?
No, this one's more drought tolerant actually. Plus, it's evergreen as well, so this one will keep its foliage and it will look fantastic all year round.
So if you've got I've got I talked earlier about my eucalyptus tree. It's really hard to get things to grow underneath it. It's a constant labour of love.
It saps a lot of
it takes
out of the
everything.
ground,
It takes all the nutrients, all the water. So it's difficult. And obviously it's shady, but something like this, if you've got like a big tree and you can't get anything to grow underneath it because it gets too dry, this is one of the more drought tolerant ones. I'd still keep it well watered till it establishes, but it is one of the more drought tolerant ones as well. And it's beautiful. Named after me, hairy lip.
And really easy, no maintenance really required on this at all. Plant it, let it do its thing.
Yeah, but they are, and when you look at the size of these, 2 litre pots, buy one, get one free. So it's the Cheilanthes lanosa, or I prefer the popular in the hairy lip fern as well.
Yeah. So that's gorgeous. 1 of them, and you will get 2 as long as you use that code.
Right, our next one.
I think this is my favourite.
Is it?
Well, look, they all work brilliantly together, but I really like the colours that you're getting on this one because it's kind of you get loads of different shades on here. Now, I know the picture looks different to the plant, but that's what it's going to mature into. But you will get lots of different colours. You'll get those lovely silvers, you'll get purples, you'll get some greens, and you'll get some sort of red tones in there as well.
And I'll be honest, Bex, when I've got this one, and I thought twice about buying it because it does die down. It's herbaceous. It dies right down in the winter time, and I thought, is that going to be okay? But it's worth it because in the summer, when it is say in leaf with all these fronds, it is rather magical, and there's a lot more to it than some of the other ferns. Yeah,
and it works well. It plays well with the others, doesn't it? Because of the colours, you're getting that lovely contrast. This one's going to be more to the front of the border as well. It should get to about 30 or 40 centimetres high, but it's going to spread by probably 3 or 4 feet, a metre 20.
But what I would say from my own experience, if you are going for those, place it with some other evergreen ferns, so you've not got a whole empty area.
So go for the hairy lip and go for this and plant them because they're similar heights. So plant those together and that will work beautifully.
But I mean, the price again, absolutely amazing. Now we want Bex to get good fortune. She needs to pay for a holiday.
Yes, please.
So she's planted the fortune fern.
I've planted the fortune fern. I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
But again, we've both got this one, and it's got very different foliage.
Yeah, it is very different, and this is again why if you can stretch to it, this is why I think you should try and go for all of the ferns that we've got available here today. I love this one. This one's going to go mid-border, so this one's slightly taller, get to a couple of feet in height. It doesn't spread too far, maybe by about 40, maybe 50 centimetres, but it has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's semi-evergreen. Mine kept its foliage all year round, so it's in a nice... I think the shady spots tend to be quite secluded and sheltered areas, don't they? So chances are, if you've got it in that shady spot, it will keep hold of its foliage.
I always think that if it's in a more exposed spot and the winds are really cold, then
that's when it...
Right. I mean, it's still come back, but semi-evergreen. So mine, generally speaking, do keep all of the lovely fronds.
Yeah.
And I think
I like the sound of this one.
I've got to say
nice.
again,
Love
it only really occurred to me after chatting. There was a big article in the news last week about slugs. Slugs invading the UK. But there's a real problem with slugs this year because it has been so wet. And actually, if you follow the weather, the last several years, the UK seems to be getting warmer and wetter. So you do have to think about what you're going to plant in your garden. If you're having a problem with slugs, if you've lost plants because of slugs, ferns are brilliant. For some reason,
They don't
slugs,
eat 'em.
they're not bothered.
Not bothered.
They're not, I mean, there's things that I like, put a massive pile of sprouts on my plate, I won't touch them. So
Do you like a sprout?
I only like it if they're like cooked with pancetta and loads of butter.
Yeah, lovely.
I'll have them then, but a boiled sprout on a plate. And if my mum had done it, she'd have boiled it to death.
Yeah, it's boiled it to death, yeah.
Mushy boiled sprout.
I don't mind a sprout.
I like it when it's all
Quite
fancy.
partial to a sprout.
Come on, I'll bring a plate in for you next week, though. I won't be standing too close to you.
Yeah, not for too long afterwards.
But the slugs don't touch ferns, generally speaking. They really don't like them. So they're really good for the shady, difficult spots. And then finally, we have got the copper shield. This is gorgeous in terms of colour.
Yeah, really like the colours that you're getting on here. So, where's
Look
my
at
one?
this. Yeah. Oh.
Those are the kinds of colours that these are going to turn into. So that is as it ages, I believe, the foliage turns into those gorgeous colours. So you'll get those shades of green, but you'll also get those shades of coppers and some slightly pink tones included in there as well. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. It's a semi-evergreen one. So depending on when you plant it, where you plant it, you might keep hold of some of that foliage.
And again, value-wise, I know I keep saying it, but masses of you have gone for these from YouGarden. It is a buy one, get one free. And they are big established ferns in 2 litre pots. They're amazing. And there's been a massive demand for ferns this year, and a lot of that is down to climate change. Ferns do, generally speaking, they do great in moist environments. You always want it well drained but moist, and for those difficult shady spots, fantastic. Right, you've loved the Rebecca. See, I was thinking you went over this.
I know, Rebecca.
Yeah. Rebecca, I do. And it's one of your favourites, isn't it?
I do, I love it. Very good, yeah. And it is still a buy one, get one free, just like all the ferns. So put one into your basket, enter that code YGTV3024, and we will put another 2 litre pot of Rebecca into your basket, absolutely free of charge.
They just make me smile looking at those
love them.
big,
I can't
bold.
wait for mine to flower. The buds are there, I can't wait.
And another one that's been really popular has been the bulbs mauve. The Ericium bulbs mauve. This is a wallflower, but it's a wallflower that flowers for 9-10 months of the year. You both of us are saying that even in like December, sometimes you got the odd random flower, do you? Evergreen, winter hardy, repeat flowering, low maintenance. What is not to like about those? And you get 3 of them. One thing I've been looking in my garden, and I'm not. Yeah, I think I've done a reasonable job of my garden, but 3's definitely work. The areas where I've put 3's in does look good.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I've just put 1 in, I still love. There's no rules to gardening, but sometimes 3 does look good. It really works. Right, all this table, by the way, under £5. We're all £4.99.
Yeah, so we've done our buy one, get one free table. Now it's the under £5 table.
No wonder we've been busy today. I mean, when you see plants at these kind of prices. And what's really nice, sometimes when we do perennials, we give you a triple pack or a duo, but sometimes you might just want one, or you might just want to try something. So this is a really good opportunity to just buy one of these, one of those. Don't forget, you get free postage if you spend over £40. But we're going to start with one, the Tobagia Purple Eye. I've never grown this, it's a new one.
No, I've not put it in my garden either, but it is really sort of dainty and delicate and beautiful. I say that, I mean, it can take a bit of a beating. You've got those lovely sort of tall stems on there, those beautiful flowers rising up, that sort of chive-like foliage down at the base there. Beautiful sort of tubular, star-shaped flowers on the end there. Slightly scented, not so much that I think you'd massively notice it, but it does have that Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. So proven performer, totally garden worthy, and a decent flowering season as well. It can start flowering quite early, from around April time, and it can keep going right the way through to sort of September as well.
It's so pretty, it's so delicate, isn't it? You do potentially have to protect it in the winter. We class it as Tender perennial. So you might need to put it into a more sheltered spot, put some mulch over it, put it in the greenhouse. But I'm going to give that one a go.
Mild winters, it might come back, but if you want to ensure it, just mulch it or keep it in a pot.
Hello to Catherine, who's watching, by the way.
Hi, Catherine. Oh, she said Strulch didn't work in her garden. Super mega killer slugs, Stu's saying. Has anyone got any other suggestions for keeping slugs away?
There's so many.
Well, in pots, copper wire around the pots, that definitely does work. They just don't like it at all.
What are the slugs attacked? Which plants? Just let us know what the plant is. That might help us as well.
Yeah.
But my friend had a real problem with slugs, and you had to put the copper tape around the pots.
Yeah, it really works.
I'll be honest, they double insured because they actually used Strulch and the copper tape. So it was like a double defence.
I mean, people use beer traps. They get those beer traps going on. The slugs will go into the beer traps.
Some people say eggshells.
Yeah, she was saying the eggshells don't work either, apparently.
Upside down, we used to use grapefruit skins.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Get yourself a hedgehog.
Get
yourself a couple of pet hedgehogs. They'll go around and eat all the slugs for you.
So I live in the country, and I think I do have quite a lot of hedgehogs.
You've got lots of wildlife.
And birds,
Yeah. This is the thing about creating that ecosystem, isn't it? It's about having loads of different... Oh, hostas and dahlias. Yeah, they love them.
They do.
They do love them. I mean, my Strulch is working in the most part on my dahlias and my hostas. My hostas did get a little bit munched, though, earlier on, even with the Strulch in there, so I put some more in, and that seems to have made the difference.
What I'd say is both dahlias and hostas, they work great in pots, and I still use the Strulch, but I would put the copper tape around them as well if they are in pots.
Yeah.
It's been a bad year for slugs.
I think that's your fail-safe, to be honest.
Yeah. There have been some... I mean, a lot of people saying, oh, slugs seem bigger than ever. And there's more of them. So it's been a difficult year. But also, it may make you decide to grow slightly different things next year. Say, if the hostas, if you don't get success over a period of time, try things like the ferns instead. But Strulch does normally work, doesn't it?
It does normally, yeah, absolutely.
Must be these super varieties of slugs this year, a bit like antibiotics. They normally work, don't they? But now and again, something comes along and it's like, they're not quite working like they used to. Right, something that I can pretty much guarantee is going to be successful in any garden, in a nice sunny spot. It's got to be the Verbena.
And I think this is quite... I mean, mine have never got munched by slugs and snails, have yours?
No.
So I think this is quite resistant to those. So if, slugs and snails are an issue for you, Verbena bonariensis, I don't think you'll have a problem. They don't seem to get eaten, do they?
And actually, and again, I'm not going to guarantee it, but I've also had no problems with disease with Verbena bonariensis.
No, that's true.
Again, it could happen, but they don't seem to be that susceptible compared to some other plants in my garden. They are fast growing. They were planted last year in March. They were about, I'd say, 15 centimetres tall when I planted them, and that's what they did in the first year. And I just love what they do because they're not plants that invade, they don't take up lots of room, they add height, but they don't add bulk. So whatever else you've got in your garden, they just kind of pop through the gaps and just add interest. They're beautiful, and I'm really passionate about these, but they're my favourite plants in my garden this year.
I love them so much, and you said earlier, even in a really full, packed border, you can find space for the Verbena bonariensis. It's borders without barriers, as Stu always calls them. It gives you that height, it gives you that gorgeous interest, but it doesn't create a screen. You can still see through them. They're tall, they're willowy, the pollinators absolutely adore them. The Royal Horticultural Society have given them their Award of Garden Merit, as well as that badge of perfect for pollinators. They're just a fabulous all-round doing plant. And
I went to... we had open gardens at our garden club a few weeks ago, and one lady, and I'll be honest, she'd had help designing this certain border in her garden, and she had Verbena bonariensis with white hydrangeas.
Boom! That's a nice combination.
I went back to my beds and borders like,
I better do that.
Yeah, seriously. So, because the hydrangeas were really full, beautiful, white, various ones, but all white, and then these were amongst them at the back, and honestly, it was like,
I'm thinking that border where my lavender is, because I'm digging it up. I'm thinking I might put hydrangeas in there.
Can you imagine? Yeah.
And then a few verbenas in there as well. Ooh.
I know. We will give you this advice free of charge, by the way. No, but do what you want with them because they tend to work pretty much with everything. But yeah, that against white did look rather spectacular.
I'm going to do that.
There you go.
I'm going to get some bare roots once we get into bare root season. I'm going to plant the bare roots.
What, bare root hydrangeas?
Yeah.
I did that last year. Did you buy the? It was a candlelight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a bare. It was the first time we did
Limelight.
Limelight. Close. There is a candlelight one, isn't there?
Magical candle.
Yeah, that's how I got. Yeah.
They're both quite similar, though.
They are. Yeah, it was a limelight, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I grew that as a bare root, and yes, flowered in its first year.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
I'm going to do it this year.
Yeah. So anyway, look out for bare root hydrangeas. We'll be doing this probably.
Normally around October we start doing those.
Yeah. Yeah.
Got a little bit longer to wait.
We might even do more this year. Right. So it's the heat getting to me back.
I know, it's getting warm.
It is getting warm, isn't it?
Yep. I'm glad I put my dress on.
Wish I put my shorts on.
Yeah.
Anyway,
moving on.
we're not complaining about the hot weather, are we, Bex?
Not at all.
No.
Having a lovely time. We're
I tell
moving
you,
on to.
We're live till 2 o'clock, but like you lovely viewers at home, we'll be going back to our gardens and enjoying this summer's evening. And
Absolutely.
I hope you have a lovely evening out in the garden, a lovely afternoon. But stay with us because we're live till 2 o'clock. Right, Buddleia next, the butterfly bush.
Yes, little baby Buddleia, this one, okay? So little ruby in the 9cm pot, gorgeous colour. This isn't the bog standard purple Buddleia, which we've all seen and we're all bored of. This is the beautiful ruby colour that you're getting here, but it is a compact Buddleia. So this is not going to get out of control, out of hand like your standard Buddleias. This should only ever get to probably about 70 or 80 centimetres height and spread. So if you've got a smaller garden, you can't put a Buddleia in there because it just gets too unruly. This is the one to go for.
And what an amazing colour that one is, isn't it?
Love the colour.
Oh, and the flower, I mean, yours may well arrive in flower because they flower kind of July, August. What I love about Buddleia, you don't really have to think too much about them in terms of pruning. Late February, March, you can cut them right back if you need to. They always flower on the new growth. Sunny spot is ideal, well-drained soil, but, to try and kill a Buddleia is quite a feat.
That sounded like the start of a book. To kill a Buddleia, like to kill a mockingbird. To kill a Buddleia.
But honestly, I know I've told this story before, but my mum moved house several years ago. There was a massive Buddleia in the wrong place. You couldn't even park your car because it was going over the driveway. And she said, I want rid of that Buddleia. And I just can't get rid of plants. I was like, no, Mum, if I move it over there in the autumn, she's like, I want rid of it now. So I dug it up in... But Mum, it was a hot day, she wasn't, in the best of mood. So I dug it up in the middle of July, broke off one of the main roots, and I was like, oh, this is going to die. But I moved it. Now, it looked terrible for a couple of months. It literally, all the leaves, it flopped, it lost all its leaves. But I kept it well watered and it survived.
Yeah.
And that's the worst thing to do. You shouldn't move really any plants in July. Too warm for them. But it survived. But this one is a lot more compact, a lot more beautiful. But best of all, it is going to be a magnet for the butterflies. It really is. And we need to get those butterflies and bees in our garden. Right, Euphorbia, minus Merlot next to it. I never forget the name of this one. Yes,
you like a red wine, don't you?
I love a Merlot.
A Merlot, in fact.
And this happens to be probably my favourite Euphorbia, not because of the name, but it is really striking. And I bought this last year because I had Euphorbia in my garden, but I suddenly saw this one and thought, oh, that's so much more interesting.
Yeah, it's
And you had yours before me, didn't you?
Yeah, I genuinely think this is a fantastic plant for any garden because these are a bit like the Buddleia, completely bulletproof.
Yep.
I moved mine earlier on in the year when it was in full flower, just like that. Just had to move it. It didn't like it. It wasn't happy. It went all floppy. But it is come back. It is looking absolutely luscious. Look at the colour combination you've got. Those beautiful dark Merlot-coloured, wine-coloured foliage, and then those frothy lime green flowers on there. The combination of those two colours is incredible. But then the combination you get with the plant with the other foliage in your garden is incredible as well. And the amount of butterflies that plant brings into your garden, not butterflies, ladybirds. The amount of ladybirds that you will find on your Euphorbia minus Merlot, I promise you it's mind-blowing. And we want those ladybirds because they eat the aphids and stuff.
And something I was thinking about, quite often when we're planning a border, we maybe don't plan it well enough. We have too many things that just die down completely in the winter. You know, I did one of my borders and there were just too many things that were herbaceous, died down over the winter. There were too many things that lost their leaves, were deciduous. That looks good all year round.
It does.
Really, so you've got that, imagine you've got that beautiful Merlot coloured foliage all year round, but then you do get all of those fabulous yellow flowers from spring through to the summer as well. Now we're going to stay with gorgeous foliage.
Not Psychocarpus.
Physocarpus.
I prefer Psychocarpus.
I do.
I think that's a better name. Yeah, this is the Physocarpus lady in red. Again, you've got that beautiful colour of the foliage. It's sort of bronzy tones that you're getting in there, but you also get flowers and you also get berries on here as well. Now, this one is deciduous. It is going to drop its leaves over the winter time, but it's going to look fabulous when it's in leaf. And when you've got those flowers and you've got those berries on there, absolutely incredible. The berries are going to invite the birds in. They're going to eat the slugs for you. Fantastic. It's all about getting that wildlife going on in your garden. But the contrast that this is going to give you, those darker coloured foliage plants, we always bang on about it, but it's so important to get that in your garden.
It is, and if everything's just a similar shade of green, it all merges into one, but having these distinctive colours, breaking up your beds and borders, and that at the back of a border goes about 1.5 metres, doesn't it? About 1.5 metres, so mid to back of the border, depending on the depth.
But you can prune it. It will actually cope with really quite hard pruning. So if you don't want it to get that big, you don't need to worry. You can prune that back really happily.
But I love exciting foliage in the garden. That is just beautiful. I mean, it's beautiful right now, even though it's relatively. It's probably about 40 centimetres, so relatively young in the 9 centimetre pot. That still looks gorgeous, doesn't it?
It really does.
And you could, as Beck said, you could put that in a decent container.
Yeah, I mean, our Helix planter, or the large Durham, or the extra large Durham, that would work beautifully. Yeah.
But I'm very tempted with that. I think that's on my list today. So only £4.99. Remember, all of this table is under £5. And just very, very quickly, I know loads of you have ordered the Bowls Mauve today.
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. The Ericium here. Flowers for 9-10 months.
It is beautiful, honestly. It flowers for such a long time. Very little that you need to do to it. I would recommend deadheading. Not too often. You don't have to be out there every single day doing it, but I would recommend a little bit of deadheading.
Yeah, no, definitely.
But other than that, you can pretty much leave it alone to do its own to do its thing. It's evergreen as well.
I mean, I tend to, again, because it's just such a top performer, I always think the plants that demand the most attention, get the most attention, don't they? This doesn't. But as Beck said, I mean, I do deadhead mine, but I tend to do it every now and again, and I do it en masse.
Yeah, that's pretty much what I did with mine.
Yeah.
So, I went round and I was like, do you know what, it's starting to get a bit straggly, so I basically just trimmed the whole thing back. It's taken a couple of weeks, but it's now starting to come back into flower again. It's going to look amazing for the rest of the summer. I
cannot recommend this highly. And the price today, you're going to get all three. They're going to give you continuous colour for most of the year for just £9.99. They're normally nearly £10 each, so one of the best buys and one of the most popular items on the show. Now, we've still got a few items to show you. Thank you so much to everyone that's ordering today. Thank you so much for watching as well. So we're live until 2 o'clock today. And any questions you can come through, you can email us ygtv@yougarden.com. But let's remind you of some of the highlights that we've had so far today. Now, we had 2 different size Washingtonias. So the biggest one is this one here, which is, it rises up to 90 centimetres tall, and it comes in a 20 centimetre pot. Now, these are beautiful palms. I've got these myself. They're often called the cotton palm, because as the big leaves open up and divide, you get almost like little strings of cotton that the birds love to make their nest. Now, in a hotter country, this is what they'll become. But having said that, even in the UK, they can grow to a really good size over many, many years. If you need to contain them, just grow them in pots. I've got 3 of these in my garden. I've had them about 15 years, and they really are absolutely magnificent. We say hardy to -5. When they're established, they can be hardy to even lower temperatures than that. The other option that we've got is Same plant, just a little bit less mature. So it will arrive in a 14 centimetre pot, but I tell you what, it is only £8.99, which is amazing value. But again, could grow into the most fantastic cotton palm for you. 680024. Then we have got a very, very keen price on our citrus collection. Do you know, I always love to try new things, different things. Maybe you've never grown orange and lemon trees. Now, you actually get one of each. Really beautiful, they're big. They arrive in 5 litre pots. So you get one orange, one lemon. You'll also get the citrus feed. That is important. Orange and lemon trees, they are actually really hungry. They do, particularly in the summer months, they really benefit from the weekly feed. So you get all of that included. Now, they love to be outdoors in the summer, so give them a summer holiday, put them outside. They'll enjoy the rain, they'll enjoy the sunshine, but do bring them inside in winter. They want a bright but a cool room in winter. But what you'll find with both the orange and the lemon, the blossom and the fruits are on the tree at the same time, because from the blossom to become a lemon or an orange, it can actually take 12 months. So often you'll get both full-size fruits, medium-sized fruits and blossom at the same time, and they look absolutely beautiful. And that price for club members, just over £40, is absolutely incredible. But I've got my citrus trees on my patio right now, and they give me so much pleasure. And the blossom smells amazing, I should add as well, as does the foliage. At 680021 for the citrus tree collection. That is phenomenal value. It really is. So if you want to try something different, definitely order those today. Now, also on the show, we had the bay trees. This is what your bay trees could become. So they're going to arrive as standards. When we say standards, they're that lollipop shape. They've been grown to have this lovely tall stem. So they'll arrive about 80 centimetres tall. But what will happen over the years, the stem will get thicker and stronger, the head will get bigger and rounder, and they will look absolutely beautiful. I always think bay trees, they've got an elegance to them, they're a classy plant. They're often used outside restaurants and spas and things like that. We class them as winter hardy, so they have got the lifetime guarantee as well. Bay trees are expensive as standards, so the price that we've got today for club members under £50 is incredible. And as I said earlier, if you're not a club member, it's £5 for the year on auto renewal. So actually you get your money back just on your first order of those. 680235 for the pair of standard bay trees. And we have got the deal of the week for you. Now, do not miss out on this. The Cortaderia pampas grass, the king of grasses, and they really, really are. You get all 3 of these. These can grow to 2 metres, to 50 metres. They will produce these massive plumes late summer into autumn. You can dry those out and use them as indoor displays as well. But they are dramatic, they are beautiful, they are a show-stopping grass. There's no other grass that I know that has the drama of a pampas, and you get all 3 for £7.99. You can even grow those in big pots, of course, as well, but they would need to be really big pots. Then we brought you a very well-bred eucalyptus. When I say well-bred, this is a more compact variety. So it's not going to grow to the heights of a regular eucalyptus. It will only grow maybe 3, 4, potentially maximum 5 metres. The foliage is just as adorable, but it's slightly more dainty than some of the other varieties out there. It gives you all year round interest. It's completely evergreen, and it is fully winter hardy down to -20, that one. So it's a really, really hardy eucalyptus. And then finally on this little review, we did bring you the lilac that flowers at least twice in the year. So unlike regular lilac that flowers in May and then that's your lot, this will flower May but also in autumn, and you may even get little flushes in between. Not only will it flower more often, but it's a lot more compact as well. So this one will only grow to about 1.50 m. So it's not going to grow to 4, 5 metres like some lilac trees can. It smells divine. And I would say the colour of it is maybe a little bit lighter than some of the other lilac trees out there. It's absolutely beautiful and an amazing price, half price at just £9.99 or £8.99 for club members. But good afternoon, welcome to YouGarden TV with myself, Shaun and Bex Edwards, live from the YouGarden nursery in our potting shed.
In the potting shed, in our happy place. It is like a sauna, Steve just said, in the sauna. We could turn it into a massive sauna, couldn't we?
We could. You don't want to see that. We have got some air conditioning coming though.
I know. I'm quite excited about that. It's going to be a heater in the winter as well, which is going to be brilliant.
So we can.
Do you remember in the winter how cold it was in here? We were coming in layers. I had hand warmers in my pocket.
It was a bit chilly, but you know what?
It was fun. I didn't mind.
We've always loved being here, haven't we?
Loved it.
Whatever, we are very lucky. We're surrounded by beautiful plants. We're on an 11-acre nursery, so when we arrive, you can see all the plants out there.
Yeah, no complaints here. Absolutely
the people here are lovely. And actually, most importantly, our viewers, you wonderful people, you are great, and you chat with us, you follow us on social media, you show us your gardening journey, so it's a lovely community. And we're about to celebrate our first anniversary of YouGarden TV as well. A couple of weeks' time we'll have been broadcast.
Yeah, it's only a few weeks away.
Yeah.
The whole year.
And we do all sorts of other things in the potting shed as well. So we do a lot of online content for our website. We do a lot of social media filming here. We do our TikTok lives as well, don't we?
Yeah, Amazon, TikTok. We're doing it all, aren't we?
Yeah, so we do an awful lot here. But we really appreciate you tuning in. And we're live again. I'm not with you this Thursday, but you're live, aren't you?
I'm here on Thursday. Are you not here on
No.
Thursday? No, I'm here on Thursday. Is Adam with me on Thursday then, Steve? Steve's gone quiet. What? He thinks you're here. All right, we'll fix that. I will definitely be here on Thursday. It is Adam. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Me and Adam, we're here on Thursday.
No, I'm at QVC on Thursday.
Are you? Okay.
Yes. Yeah, so Adam's here, don't worry.
Adam's coming in. Woo!
So you're going to get Adam.
You really scared Stu then.
I know, I was like, can't be two places. But we're both back next Sunday, aren't we?
We're both here on Sunday.
Yeah, so Thursday is 10 till 1, isn't it?
That's right.
Next Sunday, we will be back live 10 till 2. Don't forget that if you ever miss any of the shows, you can always catch up. They're all uploaded onto YouTube and on our website as well. You know, quite often, my mum will be in the garden and she'll miss the show or she'll forget about it. But I'll say, don't worry, we can catch up later. So it's not a problem. But always use the offer code. And that changes every week. This week's code is YGTV3024. And don't forget your free gift today as well. I'm just going to mention it because it's a live plant. It is the Nautica macedonica, and we call it, well, it's Scabiosa scabious, but it's a beautiful colour.
It is a beautiful colour. Lovely pin cushion flowers you get on those. Really reliable perennial, and it's absolutely free with every single order you make. If you place 3 orders, you'll get 3 free gifts. Worth £9.99. So I love it. Even if you just buy one of the... Right, if you bought one of the $4.99 plants...
Yes.
You would get this free of charge as long as you enter the code YGTV3024. So you'll spend $4.99 on a plant. You'll have to pay $6.99 postage, but you'll get a free gift worth $9.99 as well.
So we really try and give you the best value possible, and always try and save you money. We do, when we shop, we're always like
play with the basket, work out which is the best deal.
Yeah. And quite often, I mean, there's one week where I got, I think it was 9 or 10 free gifts. I did. It was a crocus last year.
Yeah, absolutely.
I went and I thought, right, I need loads of crocus bulbs.
So I'm just going to put it in separate orders.
Yeah, so it's up to you, but it just depends what you buy. Right, back to the Hosta Wide Brim next. And again, this is a buy one, get one free. We both love Hostas, but this particular variety, I said earlier, Bex, it's like an artist has painted the middle with his brush and swirled it around, but then you've got that gorgeous kind of limey green cream on the edge of the leaf there.
Yeah, they're beautiful, and you can sort of see the sort of deep veining that you've got in the leaves as well, so that adds that extra bit of interest. We love hostas for the amazing foliage. We love hostas because of those beautiful lilac, tall spikes of flowers that you get coming from them. We love hostas because they work in those gorgeous shady spots, though you can put them in a sunny spot as well. This one actually has that Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, so proven performer. Doesn't get massively tall, gets to about 45 centimetres, but it'll spread spread by at least double that. So this is fantastic for ground cover.
God, they do look beautiful on mass. They really, really do. But it's a buy one, get one free. Now, don't forget, they will die down in the winter. Do not worry. They'll have a little sleep on the ground. But they come back bigger and stronger and bushier every single year. 561261 for the Hoster wide brim there. Amazing value. Right, we have got a very unusual azalea for you next that's called Star Style. And I've got these in one of my, I've got an ericaceous border, an acid-loving border. And these do really stand out.
They do
They're
stand
really unusual.
out. When they're in bloom, they look absolutely fantastic. And these bright pink flowers that you get on here, the shape of them match the shape of the foliage. It's
they're
so
almost
incredible.
like ribbons. And I remember you looked into the breeding of this one. 18 years ago, didn't you?
18-year breeding programme, yeah. I mean, it's absolutely incredible, and this is the result that we've got from it. You do need the ericaceous compost, as Shaun said. If you need some, it's on the website. Do grab hold of some. But these are just very show-stopping, quite unique, totally hardy, and very low maintenance.
And what I love, they're not massive in terms of height. They're more... I'm not going to say ground cover, but they only grow to about 45, 50 centimetres, but they spread width-wise.
Yeah, double that.
So if you've got them with other azaleas, maybe you've got lots of azaleas that are a lot taller and bigger, then these are great for the front of a border and that great sort of like, almost like a ground cover. But I went out recently on the nursery to check out.
I wonder if you're wearing the same T-shirt.
I think I could be. I'm not known for my Star Style in terms of fashion, but let's have a look at the Star Style azalea. This is an extraordinary azalea. It's called Azalea Star Style, and it really does have star style. First of all, just look at the foliage. It doesn't really even look like an azalea, but these on the nursery, really, really healthy, really compact. And actually it stays compact, so it will only ever grow to about 40 centimetres in terms of height, so it's really quite low to the ground. Spreads to about 1/2 metre, but in springtime, so you imagine next spring, this bursts into flower. You get these lovely kind of pink or white flowers that are like stars, and they really stand out. And they almost mirror the foliage. So very similar shape. So it doesn't even really look like an azalea, but it is. It has been meticulously bred, very easy to grow. I always think azaleas do best in part shade, nice well-drained soil, fully winter hardy, we say to -10, so really, really robust. But it really does have style. And when it flowers, it would look magnificent. And if I was you, I'd maybe think about going for a few of these and having in the beds and borders. One little thing, it is an acid-loving plant. So make sure if you put it in the ground, mix in some ericaceous compost. What a lovely T-shirt.
It is a lovely T-shirt.
Yeah, I like that T-shirt.
Have you got multiples of it?
I should wear it more often. Oh dear. But the Star Style has got proper style, looks amazing, and an azalea that really, really stands out. There's nothing else like that. Right, something. Did you buy these the other week or not?
No, not yet.
They're still on your list?
No, I do want to grow banana plants at some point. I need to make some more space in my garden. My garden is being overrun by pots, basically, and it's driving my husband a little bit mad. He can't get to the washing line because all the pots are in the way.
Well, at least he's trying to get to the washing line.
At least he does the washing, so that's the thing.
Absolutely.
I will do banana plants at some point, and this collection, I think, is a fantastic collection. Because you're getting 3 different varieties, absolutely fantastic varieties included in there as well. There's the red Abyssinian,
this one here,
which is that one, which I think is my favourite one. It has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, and that's the only one that's going to require a little bit of extra protection.
Yeah.
That one's the Protect from Frost.
Yeah,
bit
so
of winter resistance on that one.
That definitely does not want to be outside in the winter.
No. And then you've got the other 2 varieties, which we're going to say are hardy down to about -5. Both of those are going to be down to about -5. So potentially you could leave them outdoors, but also potentially these could be easily grown in pots and then brought under cover in winter, just to ensure that you're getting those.
I mean, I do bring mine inside the greenhouse in winter time because I just want to protect them. I wrap them in fleece. I make sure that they stay nice and warm. What is amazing when they come out of the greenhouse, and I'll be honest,
they look shocking. They don't look great, do they?
Sometimes at the end of the winter they don't look that great. But when it warms up, the speed that these can grow at in the height of summer.
They can get to about 1.5 meters in height, can't they?
Yeah, I'd say potentially even more in a really good summer.
Yeah.
But
and
the
those
paddle
big
leaves, look at them.
Oh, I think they're incredible. That's a definite tropical feeling, isn't it? Really holiday feel.
It is. Now, you won't get bananas.
No bananas, I'm afraid.
But you may well get a flower like this.
Yeah, that one's beautiful, isn't it? And that flower, which one does that come on? It's the...
I thought it was the Musu Bijou, isn't it?
Is it the Musa Bijou or the Chinese Hardy? I can't remember which one it comes on, but it can last for several months, can't it?
Yeah.
Like 3-4 months that flower can last for.
Mine hasn't flowered yet, but I'm still hoping.
You never know. You never know.
I mean, it happens on a mature plant. These are, I will be honest, right? These need repotting straight away.
Yes.
And I would with these. I'd actually put them in a fairly big pot because they're vigorous.
So would you go for the Helix?
I would.
I think Helix is a great one for this one. Obviously, we've got a deal on the Helix. They are 4 for £24.99. So 3 of those you could use for these banana plants, and then you'll have 1 left over. And that would be a great size.
Honestly,
they'll live in there, won't they?
And at this time of the year, I mean, mine have literally gone bananas recently. They have. But if you want to go for those 4 for £24.99. So, as we're saying, we've selected 2 of these because they are 2 of the hardiest banana plants to grow in the UK, down to about -5. This one here, the red one, is not frost hardy at all, so it would need to be brought inside in the winter months.
They make great conservatory plants as well, don't they? You can keep them in conservatories.
Yeah. Sorry, we had a conservatory built recently.
Yeah.
So, mine can go in there now.
They can go in there, absolutely. They could go into the conservatory.
Hang on, Stu said everyone's knocking them down. No.
Yeah, I'd like to knock mine down.
I was jealous that Bex turned her conservatory into a massive greenhouse. So,
well, not being able to convert it, which is what I would love to do, and have that lovely sort of L-shaped kitchen dining area, I've turned it into a greenhouse.
Which I think is brilliant.
Perfect.
Yeah. So I just want loads of indoor fabulous plants.
Put your banana plants in there.
Yes. So I'll just give you the details. If you want the planters, 130602. If you want the fabulous banana plants for you, then we've selected 3 wonderful varieties. 2 have got the RHS Award of Garden Merit, so Chinese Hardy, Red Abyssinian, and you've got the Musa Bijou as well.
Can I show a picture?
Yay!
Hazel has sent a picture, and what she said is, here is my skyscraper lilies, 2 bulbs given to me free from YouGarden. Why only 2 bulbs? I thought we did those in packs of 5. Anyway. Oh, maybe you only planted 2 in this pot.
Okay.
Absolutely. There you go. Thank you, Stu.
So we normally give away more than that.
I know, right. Yeah. So 2 of them are gone into this pot. 51 flowers opening or ready to open. Love it. Of 2 bulbs.
Oh,
whoa!
My word. So that's in their first year?
Yeah.
I mean, I expect that maybe year 2, year 3.
Look at that.
Surely
there's more than 2 bulbs in there. Excuse me.
And do you know what? Those against the wall there, that colour stands out magnificently. See, again, I think it's been a good year for lilies.
Yeah, my lilies are fantastic.
Yeah.
Really good.
Yeah.
I think they're opening a little bit later than normal, but they are fantastic.
But we definitely, I think because they've been well watered, they've definitely got the height this year.
Yeah.
But thank you for that. Amazing.
Love that. And they were free, Hazel. That is the beautiful thing. They were absolutely free.
Now we're going to move on to Lavatera next, the mallows. And again, this is one of my absolute favourites in my garden. They grow really quite quickly. I mean, mine's been in about 3 years, and this year it's probably about 4.5, 5 foot by 5 foot. They grow really quickly. They tend to flower pretty much all summer long.
Yep.
Mine started maybe end of May, June. It's in full flower right now.
Yeah, and it'll keep going through to September time, won't it?
Yeah. And you can again, it's another one that flowers a new growth. So springtime, you cut them really quite hard back, but the new growth will flower, grow and flower at a really rapid rate. But what I love the colour selection, don't you?
Colour selection is gorgeous. Works really nicely together. You could plant these quite close to each other as well, because they don't grow really dense and thick, do they? They'll sort of mix and meander into each other. They'll meander into the other plants around them as well. They're drought tolerant once they get established, so definitely not one you need to be out there watering constantly. And of course, those flowers, the pollinators adore them. They're really nectar rich.
And if you are looking for something that, say, is very easy to grow. I mean, mine are in a sunny spot, well-drained soil. My mum's got one. Hers has been out actually only 2 years, and it's really big.
Yeah. You can grow them in pots as well, though, can't you? You could put them into borders, but you could grow them in pots if you want to.
But they are kind of, as you said, Bex, quite a loose habit.
Meandering.
They're not formal. So to me, country cottage garden, with a lot of the other perennials that we've got on the show, they look absolutely fantastic. And do you know, I'm just going to be really blunt. I would not buy, personally speaking, a Lavatera that's a lot bigger and more expensive because they grow so quickly.
Yeah, what's the point?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I mean, certain plants are really slow growing. Acers, for example, and sometimes you want to buy an established acer. Because if you buy a small one, it's going to take a long time. These, no, I buy this size because by next year, the year after, they are going to be filling a massive part of your garden. And say a lovely, easy floriferous plant that will flower all summer long. I've never had any problems with mine.
No.
Do you know what? It's in the same border as my peonies. And my peonies were here and gone in a heartbeat.
Worth it, but they do disappear very quickly.
They are worth it because they were beautiful. But this kept flowering and flowering and flowering. So I highly recommend those. Have you got that?
Haven't got any Lavatera, no. Gorgeous though. Love the fact that you're getting all three of those included as well.
I do. Amazing value at just £19.97. Then we're just going to remind you one of the most popular items on the show. We've both got this. It is the Bowls Mauve that will flower, we reckon, 9, maybe 10 months of the year.
Absolutely, and when we say that, we're talking about a really good amount of flowers for that long. I had flowers every month of the year, only a couple, obviously, over sort of December, January, but then it really comes into life from February onwards, right the way through to October and into November. These are mine. These are all videos I've done in my garden of my beautiful Ericium Bowls Mauve.
Oh yeah, we'll just put the details on if you can.
I think it is the most gorgeous plant. It's just so easy. The purple is beautiful on a bright day or even on a dull, dark day as well.
And I'll tell you what I love about that video. You see all those other plants come and go.
The tulips. That was about April, May time. The alliums came and went. Yeah, it's beautiful.
But the Ericium, the Bowls Mauve, it just kept flowering and flowering and flowering. Now, we do recommend deadheading. We do recommend feeding, but in honesty, it needs such little care and attention. Sometimes I forget about mine for months, and it just keeps flowering and flowering and flowering. It just wants to please in your garden. The colour is amazing, and we are doing basically 3 for the price of 1 today. So these are normally £9.99 each, but you are going to get 3 of them for just £9.99. Where's that £3.33 a plant? And I was just thinking about, I love summer bedding and things, but sometimes you buy a geranium and you buy it in full flower from a garden centre and it's $4.99 and you put it in a pot and then the frosts come and it dies. These will flower for 9-10 months of the year for many, many years. So the value, what they give you back for the little bit of money that you're spending is incredible. I even thought, because I look after our pub garden in the village and we've got like 5 massive planters. And I do every year put summer bedding in. And then I change it to winter bedding. Then I do it all again. And I did consider recently thinking, should I just put all of Bowls Mauve in there? That would save me a lot of time and trouble, wouldn't it?
I think you should put some Bowls Mauve in and some Rudbeckia. The purple and the yellow.
That would
You'll
look
have
good,
the Bowls Mauve, and then a little bit later on, the Rudbeckia would start to come through, and then you just got a little bit. I think that'd be beautiful.
That could be good. And then maybe I could just put a little bit of white bedding in there.
I was just thinking something white.
Yeah.
Just a little bit of lobelia, or just something a little bit white, just to break it.
But they just look repeat performers. So we're busy planning gardens here. But they honestly cannot recommend those highly enough. Really popular today, and they're working out just $3.33 each. Discount price for club members is £8.99. These have been 2 of the favourites actually: the Ericium, the Bowls Mauve, and the Rudbeckia Goldstrum.
Yeah,
these kind of neck and neck.
These I adore. Both of these plants, long flowering, loads of flowers per plant as well. I planted one, just one, I need more, but on the first year I had 15 flowers on there. This year it's all starting to bud up. I didn't count them earlier when I was out in the garden, but there's loads of flowers on there. And it's a slightly later flowering one, so it's just starting to bud right now. But this is great because then it flowers for the remainder of summer and into early autumn as well. So transitioning as all those flowers start to fade from the summer months. This one helps us to transition through to autumn.
And you know, sometimes just to see that mass, that carpet of the same colour, it looks amazing.
Stunning.
I mean, those are the most gorgeous flowers. And sometimes simple flowers en masse can just really work. And it is a simple flower.
It is,
It's
yeah.
not a complex flower. It's very different from the flame lily that we saw, really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a simple flower that just works, and the pollinators love it. Comes back every single year, and today you're getting a buy one, get one free. Really love those.
Yeah, so that pot there, that's a 2 litre pot.
And these are big.
You will get 2 of those. So put one in your basket, enter the code YGTV3024. Another one will appear in your basket along with the free gift of the Nautia Macedonica. Oh, Julia's been in touch. She wants us to explain the banana deal again. Sure.
We certainly will.
No problem at all. You're going to get 3 plants, Julia. You're going to get 3 amazing varieties. So we've got one there. Which one's this one called?
I'll be honest, these two...
That's the Musa Bajou.
They look quite similar in terms of foliage, those two, don't they?
And this one is the... That one's Musa Bajou. I think we've got 2 of the same.
You get the Chinese hardy and you get the Musa Bajou.
Oops.
But those two are hardy to...
They do look similar, even when we've got the right plants, by the way. But you get 2 different ones. You'll get a Musa Bajou and a Chinese
And was it right in
hardy.
saying it's a Musa Bajou that flowers?
Sure it is.
I think it is.
Yeah, you might be right.
And I mean, it will only flower as a mature plant, but
Yeah.
the flower that it could get is absolutely amazing. Now, those two can be hardy to about -5. I would still give them some winter protection. I do with mine. I bring them in the greenhouse. I wrap them in fleeces. You know, they're hardy down to about -5. I mean, the bigger and more mature they get, the more they can withstand those frosts. But for the first few years, I would definitely give them winter protection. And this one will not withstand any frost whatsoever.
Yeah, so this one definitely needs that extra winter protection. This one
Totally.
is absolutely gorgeous, though. It's called the Red Abyssinian, and look at the colours that you're getting on those massive, great big paddle leaves that you get on there. All of these can get to a good sort of 1.5 metres in height, and they do give those lovely shade-creating, massive, great big paddle leaves. Definitely a gorgeous tropical architectural feel in your garden. Very exotic.
Now they love a sunny spot. I would try and avoid a windy exposed area because that can kind of rip the leaves a little bit.
Yeah, shred the leaves a bit, can't it?
So you want a sunny but a sheltered area. And I will be honest, they need a lot of watering in the summer when they're in pots.
Yeah, definitely.
They grow so quickly.
Keep them well watered. So yeah, 3 9-centimetre pots, all for £19.99, saving £9.98, and 3 different varieties.
I remember a very famous gardener that presents on a very famous gardening show. He's got one of those in one of his gardens, and he just wrapped the whole thing up.
Yes.
And then reveals it, and there's a real kind of status to a big banana plant.
Love it.
They're amazing. They really are, and they're a lot of fun as well.
Yeah.
Right, so we're staying Mediterranean, because remember, Bex cannot afford a holiday.
He's a wind-up, he is.
So we're bringing
I'm going to create my own holiday feel in my garden, and that is a way that you can do it by having these lovely holiday-feeling plants.
We joke about it, but I used to jet off all the time. When you could get flights for 30 quid.
Yeah, can't get that anymore, can we?
No. So try and create a tropical area in your garden, and this one is one of my favourite palms. I've got 3 of these actually in my garden, the cotton palm.
Yeah, I don't have the cotton palm. I love it though.
Oh, they're just
love the
fantastic.
cotton bits that come off here, and I love the fact that the birds will come and pick these off, and then they'll go and line their nests with them. So
Yeah.
you're inviting those birds into your garden as well.
The more mature these get, the bigger the leaves. They can grow absolutely huge.
Yeah.
And actually, the main trunk of the actual plant here, that gets thicker and bigger over many, many years. And mine now, I've had mine about 15, 20, maybe, I don't know, at least 15 years. Mine about 5 foot high. Not quite like that, but they're getting there.
Yeah, they can get nice and tall if you've got them in a nice place. I mean, if you keep them in a pot, they're never going to get that big, so you will restrict the size of them. If you've got them in a, if you live sort of a bit further south, you will get some really nice height out of these. But really, we wouldn't expect these to get more than a couple of metres in height. But if you have got them in a favourable position and you want them to, they can get a bit taller.
And I just love the sound they make when it rains.
Yeah.
Of course, I'm quite used to that recently. And what's really nice in the winter, some of the leaves will get a bit tatty. They will. They'll get affected by frost.
Just chop them off.
Yeah, take them off, and that will form a bigger base. And then the new growth just comes through absolutely beautifully. And that's a great price for a Washington cotton pan.
$8.99. That is a great price. Brilliant.
Right, loads of you have ordered today. Thank you so much. We are live until 2 o'clock today. Any questions, or if you want to see anything again, we've got about another 20 minutes, so we would love to that. Loads of deals on our planters as well. So the olive ones that we've got here, it's a double up deal. So it's one for $17.99, two for $19.99. And for club members, it works out $17.99 for two, but you've got to put two in your basket. And why it's so lovely, you look at these, and you think, oh, that's a ceramic, it's a glazed ceramic pot, it's going to be heavy, it's going to maybe be damaged by frost, but these are actually man-made. They're very strong.
I've just proven they're not ceramic.
Yeah, they're really
they
strong.
are plastic, they're UV stabilised, they're frost resistant. You wouldn't do that with a ceramic pot because you would smash it and you would break it. But these have been designed to last for many, many years.
What I love is they look, I mean, if that was ceramic, you'd probably be talking, I would say, £25, £30.
At least.
But they're not. They're man-made. They're lightweight, they're UV resistant, they're frost proof. They are absolutely superb. How many times do you go to a garden centre? Stu's just said this.
Yeah.
But
you do that thing where you go round and you tap them. There's the pots, and you tap them, and it's got to make that lovely sound. If it makes a deadened sound, there's a hidden crack in there somewhere. It's a top tip. You can do
I
that.
normally do this, pick a pot up, and if I actually turn it around 360 degrees, the amount of times that pots in garden centres are chipped and damaged.
But sometimes there's a hidden crack that you can't see, and that honestly is a top tip where you go and you tap it, and if it makes a ringing sound, it's fine. If it makes a deadened sound, it means there's a hidden crack somewhere. Anyway, you don't have to worry. We don't want you to buy those ceramic pots and things because they crack, they break. These don't. They're designed to last for many years.
And if you double up, put two in your basket, $19.99. That would be $17.99 for club members. But one of the absolute must-have products to buy from YouGarden and YouGarden TV is definitely our premium professional compost. It's our best-selling product. Here's the head gardener to tell you more.
We describe this as premium professional compost. And the reason for that is it is the compost that is known, this formula we have perfected over decades. So I've been using it for decades. We have perfected it over decades. You've got a blend of the best peats plus wood fibre that you can imagine. Now, by volume, approximately 50% of this compost is wood fibre, and the balance is made up of a blend of peats, and there are 3 different peats. So you've got things like sphagnum moss peat, which is renewable. You've got sedge peat, and then you've got darker sphagnum as well in there. So you've got 3 different peats. You've also got, you can see actually just there, there's slow release fertiliser. These little green, what look like little eggs, you'll see those dotted among the compost when you're planting it. That's slow release fertiliser. One of the most expensive ingredients in any compost is fertiliser. You can see there's another one just down below. That is amazing because that will deploy nutrients to the roots of whatever you grow in this compost just when they need it over the next 6 months. You then got what's called a buffer. Now, peat in particular is naturally acidic. And plants like to be just on the acidic side of neutral as a generality. There are exceptions, so things like rhododendrons and azaleas, they love to be properly acidic in terms of the ericaceous soil or compost they're growing in. But most things like it just on the slightly acidic edge of neutral. So that's what this is designed to give you. So it's got a pH buffer to keep it in exactly that zone. The wood fibre keeps the sort of perfect air-water porosity ratio, which is what we talk about in the trade, all these complicated terms. But it's, what plants need is they need a jungle gym to grow in. So they need a jungle gym for their roots, which is called growing medium. They need some water, and they need some air, and they need nutrients. And when you've got the perfect compost, it blends the air and the water and the constituents of the compost. It all blends together to give the perfect environment. That's what this particular compost does, which is why it's trusted by us. We will be growing approximately 150,000 potted roses on this nursery this year. That's roughly what we grow most years. We'll be growing, I don't know how many hanging baskets, but our pre-planted hanging baskets that will be available later, you will have bought them in the autumn and last spring as well. They grow in this compost. We will grow countless perennials, whether they be in the 9 centimetre square pots or the 3 litre pots or the 5 litre pots, plus fruit trees. And this is the compost we use for all of those things. So we trust it, the trade trusts it, and actually based upon the well, literally hundreds and hundreds of thousands of bags of this particular compost that you've bought over the years, you definitely trust it as well. And, you know, and actually, peat is a thing. We need to think about peat. Not me. I happen to also be peat, but it's the peat that's in here that we're talking about. We can still use peat in our gardens right now, and actually the alternatives, generally speaking, are a bit iffy. So if you want to get the best results, in my view, use this particular compost for as long as you can. It's got 50% other material in it, which is the lowest level we could get to and still have a professional quality product for you and for ourselves. So we've been as eco-friendly as we can, and we jumped onto that particular that approach years and years and years ago. So this is the same formulation that we've had for at least the last 6 or 7 years, with 50% other material to bulk out the peat, and it still works better. So I would say this is, in my opinion, it's the only compost I use at home. It's the compost we use on the nursery. I can't recommend it highly enough.
Yeah. I'm glad we're not wearing those jumpers today.
Oh, you can tell that wasn't filmed in the summertime, can't you?
It wasn't. But it was our wonderful Peter McDermott, our head gardener here at YouGarden, and so passionate about our brilliant compost. So if you've never tried it, honestly, we believe it makes you a better gardener instantly. Great for everything, as Peter was saying there, seeds through to trees. Anything it's not suitable for are acid-loving plants, but it's a brilliant compost. And I always think if you're spending money on plants, you want to give them their best chance, their best home.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I used to think just buy any old compost. I genuinely thought it doesn't matter, any old compost will do. I've obviously learnt my lesson as far as that is concerned. And a lot of our viewers, our regulars, they have learnt with this as well, you know, and we've got so many reviews on that.
It's one of the most talked about things. I'm in a garden club, as some of you might know, and you know, I try and get all of our club members to buy our compost, and a lot of them do now, but it takes a bit of time because we're like, oh no, I always use so-and-so, or oh, I'm not sure, but honestly, it is a brilliant, brilliant compost, and you just need to try it, and you need to see what results you can get. Right, we are nearly at the end of the show, and guess what? Our buy one, get one free table, this has been the most popular part of the show. These have been the most popular plants. Right now, everyone is talking about ferns. There were a lot of ferns at Chelsea, weren't there?
Yeah, you saying it was called the Chelsea Foliage Show
rather
than the Chelsea Flower Show?
Yeah, well, some of the press dubbed it as the Chelsea Foliage Show because there were so many gardens where the planting was underpinned with ferns and grasses, and a lot of that is due to climate change. We are getting wetter seasons in the UK, and you know, your ferns in general respond to that lovely moist environment. But there are so many wonderful varieties you can grow in the UK, and all of these ferns, and somebody did go for every single one of these. Yeah. They're all on a buy one, get one free. But we're going to start with the Painted Lady. Basically, you need to put one in your basket, put in the offer code YGTV 3024, and you'll get your extra one free. If you're on the phone lines, just let them, the customer service team, know that you've got that offer code waiting, which is YGTV 3024. Painted Lady, probably one of the prettiest ferns in terms of colour, this one.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can start seeing that colour coming through on a few of the fronds that you can see here, but it will mature and it will give you this colour-changing display. You will get silvers, purples, greens, reds coming through on there. It has that Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit, and this one doesn't get massively tall, about 40 centimetres in height, but it's going to spread by probably triple that, a good sort of 3 or 4 feet. So this is one for front of border. It is herbaceous, it is deciduous, you know, it will lose its foliage over the winter time, but this one is a fabulous one. And as Shaun was saying, mix this in with some of the evergreen or semi-evergreen ones so that when it does disappear, it's not leaving a massive gap behind.
I wasn't sure about buying it because I thought, I like my ferns to be evergreen, but it is worth it. And I just did exactly what Beck said. I mixed it with some evergreen ones. So there's not a huge gap when it dies down, but when it comes back into growth in kind of March time, and then into summer, it's magical. It's beautiful. Does stand out, the Painted Lady. She's adorable. She really is. And don't forget all of the ferns today. They're big, they're established, they're in 2 litre pots, but they're a buy one, get one free. And if you don't already know it, the free gift today is this gorgeous Nautica Macedonica. Actually, we've got it right today, haven't we? We kept calling it Macedonia last week. But it's a type of scabious, and it is beautiful, and it's a perennial that will flower every single year. But that's a free gift with every separate order today. But you need to use the code YGTV3024.
Well, you need to use the code for all of these buy one, get one free offers anyway, so you will get that free gift included. Put one of these in your basket, put the code in, another one will appear. This one is the Copper Shield fern. The Copper Shield name is all about the colour tones that you're going to get with the foliage on there. I mean, honestly, you can get these beautiful kind of copper tones, pink tones that you can see on the picture behind. You can even see it, I mean, on that front there, look, you can see those copper tones starting to come through, but you get those different colours going on there. This one has the Royal Horticultural Society Award of Garden Merit. Back of the border for this is one that gets a bit taller. This is going to get to about 3 feet in height and will spread by that much, and it is a semi-evergreen.
God. Buy one, get one free, so you're going to get 2, look at the size, they're in 2 litre pots, £9.99. And I know I've said it quite a few times, but slugs do not eat ferns in
No,
they don't like them.
They don't like them.
Yeah, so if you've got, because often slugs are drawn to the moist, damp, shady areas. That's where they love it. You don't see slugs like out and about sunbathing, do you? They don't do that. They love it when it rains. They love the dark, damp corners, but they don't like ferns.
No.
They really don't. Not on their menu. Then we're going to move on to the Fortunae right now, and we've both got this one. It's a stunner, isn't it?
It really is.
Oh.
It's absolutely beautiful. I just want to move that out so you can see the foliage on here, because it's a little bit different to the other ferns.
Different in terms of the shape, but also I think this one has a brightness to it. It's like a bit of a limey colour, isn't it, in places?
Yeah, it's lovely, especially after it's got wet, after it's rained. It really does shine and sort of illuminate. It looks very glossy. I love going around and watering it because it just looks really pretty afterwards.
But you've not had to do that often this year.
Not often, no. Buy one, get one free, £9.99. You'll get one of those. Enter the code, you'll get a second one put in. This one is mid-border. So we've got the Copper Shield is going to go back a border. This is going to go mid-border. It'll get to about 2 feet in height.
And don't forget, if you are sick of weeding, if you've got areas that are constantly getting weeds growing in them, ferns are brilliant. They're great in between shrubs, filling in those gaps, suppressing the weeds. And then finally, we have got, we love the popular name of this one.
The hairy lip fern.
Yeah.
It has got little hairs on it, and the hairs are there because it actually helps to retain moisture on this one. This one actually is a little bit more drought tolerant than some of the others as well. So this one can, it was this one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it is this one, yeah. Yes.
Yeah, this one can cope with slightly drier areas. A lot of them can cope with more sunny positions as well, but we do recommend ferns for those shady spots.
If you've got, like I was talking about a massive eucalyptus tree, it's really hard to grow things underneath it because it's dark and it's dry. So out of all the ferns on today's show, this one, the Chelanthus lanosa hairy lip fern's a better popular name for it, is the best for a drier area. So, you know, get it established, but once it's established, it is more drought tolerant. And again, evergreen as well.
Yeah.
And compact, that one.
Yeah, a bit more compact, so that's front of border, about a foot in height and a foot spread on that one. So we've got your whole border sorted out here. It's like somebody thought about it.
So many of you know, we're getting towards the end of the show, so many of you placing your orders, but that offer is time limited. So don't think, oh, I'll order those in 3-4 weeks' time. Do it today. It's a buy one, get one free. And also on the buy one, get one free is our Rebecca Goldstrom. I think one of the most popular perennials we've ever brought here on YouGarden TV.
It is, and actually we didn't even pay attention to the fact that it was buy one get one free. We've only got one to show you, but if you put the code in, you will get another one of those pots. And I love the idea of planting this en masse. I've only got one planted in my garden. It gives a beautiful display, and it's getting bigger and better every year. But a couple of these, or even if you multi-bought and got 4 or 6 of these, that en masse, wowzer, that would be beautiful.
And they are kind of late, when I say late summer flowering, end of July into August, and that is a time where certain things have done it. They've died back. They've already flowered. They've gone over. But this suddenly lights up the garden in late July, August time. The bees absolutely love these. As the petals reflex down and that big cone is revealed, the bees, they just bounce in there.
They do, and you get loads of flowers on each plant. I mean, 15 I counted on my one last year. I'm expecting 20 plus on it this year because it does just get bigger and better. It'll form clumps as well, which you should be able to divide.
You cannot go wrong with that one, can you?
No, totally not.
You really can't. And it is available on a buy one, get one free today. Now, don't forget another absolute winner today. If you want more flowers for longer in your garden, and I think gardening's a journey, and we're all always learning. And I started with a YouGarden about 4 years ago, and it's taking time to get every area established. But I think sometimes you plant up a border, then you realise it only looks good for a few months. Yeah. You're like, that looks amazing, and then a couple months later, it's like, it's all done. So it's really important to have those plants that flower for longer if you can. And we don't know any plant, and messages. Do you know a plant in the garden that will flower for as long as Elysian Bowles Mauve? Because we're saying 9 or 10 months of the year.
9 or 10 months. I mean, mine had flowers on for 12 months of the year last year. Admittedly, only a few over the winter, but it did have flowers on the plant every single month. But for 9 or 10 months of the year, you will have so many flowers, beautiful purple colours, graduating in colour as well, and very little maintenance for you. A little bit of deadheading is going to help, but other than that, let it do its thing. And of course, you have that evergreen foliage as well.
And they are just the most beautiful colour.
Love them. Yeah. They illuminate even on a dark day. That purple really stands out.
And my mum's gardened all her life, but I put some of hers in her border last year, and she just loved them. They see there, and they just keep flowering and flowering and flying. They're low maintenance. Yes, deadhead them when you can, give them a feed if you remember, but they are pretty resilient things. And do you find they do well in kind of like semi-shade?
Semi-shade, yeah. The one I put in the sunny border really isn't very happy, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to survive. I don't think it likes a full sun position. It wants a bit of shade in the daytime. That border gets after sort of late afternoon, evening sun. It's so happy there.
And don't forget, you are going to get 3 of these for £9.99.
Yeah, £3 if you're in the club.
Yeah.
£3.33 if you're not. That's a great price.
And they do very nicely in pots as well.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah, flowering for, say, 9, 10 months of the year. Now, we are nearly out of time. So, Bex, you're going to be back on Thursday with Adam.
I will. I'll be back on Thursday with Adam. A brand new show. There might be some repeats coming in, but we will have lots of new items to show you. Haven't even seen the show yet, so I'm quite excited to get those details.
I'm at QVC on their My Garden Escape show on Thursday. I'll be there
5
between...
o'clock, 6 o'clock, do you know?
I think it's 5 o'clock off the top of my head. We also have completely different deals and products there. And then we're both back together live next Sunday at 10 o'clock. I want to say thank you to all of the new club members that joined us today.
That would suggest we've got new viewers today, because I think anybody who's been watching a long time, they're already a club member, so that's brilliant.
Yeah, and also that club discount, you're going to get 10% off all the plants, the composter pots, every single time that you order. Really worth doing, and so we always have some fantastic deals on the shows. And if you've just watched today for the first time, you can catch up on previous shows on YouTube. They're all there, all the recent ones. Some of the old offer codes might be valid as well.
Yeah, you never know. It's always worth trying them, but it's a good place to go onto the website and have a look at everything that we've got available, because it's not just the items that we've selected for our show that you can buy. You can actually shop the entire website. Just always use that code there, YGTV 3024. You'll get your free gift. Sometimes it unlocks a deal that we don't even know is there, so it's always worth putting that in.
And if you've got a basket open at the moment, maybe it's at £30, if you can get it to over £40, I mean, all these items are £4.99, don't forget. So if you're just a bit short of getting over £40, getting free postage,
get one of these.
Yeah, get a few of our perennials. Some of you maybe just ordered one of these. Maybe you want to order for the first time. Just go for one of these and check out our delivery and our service as well. And if you have just joined us, maybe been out doing your gardening.
Yeah, we're about to go. But if you're on YouTube, you can rewind the show.
All the way back.
There's a whole 4 hours for you to be able to look at, so you could just rewind it and start at the beginning if you want to.
But a massive thank you. We've had a lovely time as ever. What are you doing this afternoon?
I'm having a cold shower.
After that?
I'm going to do a TikTok live.
Are you really?
Yeah. If you're on TikTok, come and join me. I'm going to be talking houseplants at some point later on today on TikTok Live. Just search for Bex Edwards My Garden.
Well, I'm going to be lazy and just lie out in the garden.
Are
I
you?
think.
I'm tempted to go and buy some beers and have a little beer in the garden.
I've got the day off tomorrow, so I'm thinking a nice little barbecue and a few beers. But whatever you're doing, happy gardening. Thank you so much for being part of the YouGarden community. And we will see you very soon here on YouGarden TV.